echoed as he reset Huang Yang's elbow joint. Huang Yang, ungrateful, retorted. I don't need your charity. Zhou Yuqin shot him a cold glare. The technique I employed to dislocate your joint is unique. Even a master of traditional Chinese medicine would struggle to remedy it. Should they attempt to forcibly reset it, you would likely emerge a cripple. Are you certain you don't want my help? Huang Yang hesitated, stubbornly insisting. Who are you trying to intimidate? Huang Yang, cease your bravado. Can you not see that this gentleman is an extraordinary martial artist? Gao Xiaomei chastised Huang Yang before turning to Zhou Yuqin. Sir, I implore you to set aside past grievances and heal his leg. Zhou Yuqin hooked Huang Yang's right leg with his foot, grasped his ankle, and with a few more sharp sounds, restored Huang Yang's ankle joint. After returning, I applied a medicinal ointment for treating injuries to my elbow and ankle for 3 days. And that resolved the issue. Gao Xiaomei quickly expressed her gratitude, saying, Thank you. Zhou Yuqin looked at Gao Xiaomei and remarked, No wonder you disdain him. His emotional and intellectual quotient is remarkably low. I must say, I am quite astonished. Laughter erupted unexpectedly from the crowd at Zhou Yuqin's sudden comment. Huang Yang's face flushed with anger as he pointed at Zhou Yuqin, stating, We shall see about that. With that, he stormed off in a huff. At that moment, Zhou Yuqin's phone rang. Upon checking, he saw it was a call from Shen Jingyan. He promptly answered, Dad, where have you been? A sweet voice chimed in his ear. Zhou Yuqin's previously stoic expression transformed into a radiant smile as he gently replied, My dear, why are you awake so early? Did you not sleep well last night? I slept well. I wanted to wake up early for breakfast and then go out to play. All right, Daddy will be home shortly. Witnessing Zhou Yuqin's transformation from a cold, domineering figure into a gentle, affectionate father surprised Gao Xiaomei. After ending the call, Zhou Yuqin intended to return to his room when Gao Xiaomei hurriedly inquired, May I ask your name, sir? Zhou Yuqin, residing in room 6010, he replied. Gao Xiaomei sincerely stated, Mr. Zhou, I sincerely apologize for this morning's incident. As a gesture of goodwill, our hotel is willing to waive all charges for you and your family during your stay. I hope you will grant us this opportunity for compensation. Zhou Yuqin gazed deeply at Gao Xiaomei and praised, I have never met Mr. Gao, but from your demeanor, I seem to witness a hint of his grace. It appears the Gao family has achieved their stature for reason. Ms. Gao, I accept your sincerity. A brilliant smile finally illuminated Gao Xiaomei's face as she replied, Thank you, Mr. Zhou. Chapter 224. Establishing a trust fund. Zhou Yuqin smiled back at her and expressed his gratitude to everyone present before leaving the gym. Gao Xiaomei exhaled softly. For reasons unknown, an invisible pressure emanating from Zhou Yuqin made her feel quite uncomfortable. Only after he departed did she feel a sense of relief. In truth, Gao Xiaomei's discomfort stemmed from Zhou Yuqin releasing the formidable aura of a martial arts master. It resembled the trepidation ordinary individuals experience in the presence of a high-ranking president. Zhou Yuqin's physical prowess and mental state had transcended that of the average person, akin to a second evolution, when he let go of his reservations. Ordinary individuals could hardly withstand his pressure. Upon returning to his room, Zhou Yuqin found Shen Jingyun attending to the little girl as she woke up. He recounted his encounter at the gym. After listening, Shen Jingyun inquired, Is that Ms. Gao very beautiful? Zhou Yuqin paused, seemingly taken aback by her question, and replied, If you were 100, she would be around 95 or 96. Shen Jingyun chuckled, Your response reveals your exceptional emotional intelligence. Zhou Yuqin shrugged, saying, I am not deliberately flattering you. I am simply speaking the truth. Shen Jingyun continued, And who is Huang Yang? Will he seek revenge and trouble us later? I am not certain. However, the audacity he displays in pursuing the daughter of the Gao family, one of the 6 prominent families, indicates he is not of ordinary standing. Then why provoke him? He has already crossed the line with me. If I do not show some resolve, what kind of man would I be? It is truly an unwarranted disaster. Indeed, let us not dwell on it. We should enjoy ourselves. Today, I will handle the trust fund. And you can take Xiaoya to the Green Apple amusement park. After I finish, I will join you. In the previous life, Disneyland was globally renowned, while in this world, the most famous amusement park was the Green Apple amusement park. Both originated from a company in the land of the free. In the entirety of Summer Country, there was only one Green Apple amusement park located on the island. Xiang Zhuiyue was exceptionally astute. She understood that when a family of 3 went out to play, the most crucial member was undoubtedly the child. To ensure the parents had a delightful time, the child's enjoyment was paramount. Therefore, Xiang Zhuiyue designated the Green Apple amusement park as their first destination, planning to spend 2 full days there. After the family finished breakfast, Xiang Zhuiyue arrived punctually to pick them up. En route, Shen Jingyan asked, Miss Xiang, will there be many people at the Green Apple amusement park today? Xiang Zhuiyue replied with a smile, It is currently summer vacation, so the visitor numbers are exceedingly high, ranging from 40,000 to 60,000 each day. However, you need not worry. We have purchased super VIP tickets, and park staff will guide us, eliminating the need to queue for any attractions. Shen Jingyun recognized the clever use of influence and nodded in agreement. Xiang Zhuyue then pulled out a small booklet from her bag and handed it to Shen Jingyun, saying, Ms. Shen, this is an introduction to the various attractions at the Green Apple Amusement Park. You can familiarize yourself with it alongside Xiaoya. Shen Jingyun accepted the booklet and began to review it with Xiaoya. Since the little girl was not yet 4, she could only partake in half of the attractions. Nevertheless, even this half would take at least 3 to 4 hours to experience fully. Compared to the Disneyland of the previous life, the Green Apple Amusement Park was significantly larger and offered a greater variety of attractions. The vehicle first arrived at the headquarters of the Xinyo Group, where Zhou Yuqin alighted before heading straight to the Green Apple Amusement Park. It was not yet 8 in the morning, and there was still over half an hour before the Xinyo Group's workday commenced. Zhou Yuqin took out his phone and dialed the number of a manager he had previously contacted. Within just 5 minutes, a robust man in his 30s, dressed in a professional white shirt and black trousers, hurriedly approached Zhou Yuqin, gasping for breath as he asked, I am Yuan Chun, the deputy manager of the trust department at Xinyo Group. Are you Mr. Zhou Yuqin, who just called? Zhou Yuqin extended his hand, saying, Hello, Manager Yuan. I am Zhou Yuqin. Yuan Shen quickly shook his hand, apologizing. Mr. Zhou, I apologize for the oversight. Zhou Yuqin smiled. This is not an oversight, but rather a demonstration of your commendable attitude towards clients. As a lighthearted jest, you should really find time to exercise. Yuan Shen wiped the sweat from his forehead, chuckling. You are correct. Mr. Zhou, please follow me. Before long, the two entered the elevator through a side door and ascended to the 16th floor of the trust department. Zhou Yuqin submitted all the necessary documents and materials to Yuan Shen, who, after reviewing them, asked, Mr. Zhou, are you certain you wish to pursue the most conservative trust method? You must understand that money will inevitably depreciate in the future, and the interest you would earn is too low, even insufficient to cover the annual management fees. I personally believe it would be prudent to allocate a portion of your funds for higher yield investments. Zhou Yuqin had already contemplated this matter and was confident in his decision. You mentioned it over the phone. After some reflection, I agree that this trust method is indeed overly conservative, so I have decided to reallocate my approach. Yuan Shen inquired. What method do you prefer? Zhou Yuqin replied. The safest currency in the world has always been gold. At the very least, its intrinsic value will not change in the coming decades. My intention is to invest 80% of the funds, which amounts to 800 million, in gold, while the remaining 200 million will still follow the most conservative trust method. Yuan Shen furrowed his brow and remarked, the price of gold has risen significantly in recent days. Zhou Yuqin replied with a smile, I am considering the next 20 years, not just this fleeting moment. Yuan Shen inquired, is this your final decision? Zhou Yuqin nodded affirmatively, saying, indeed. Yuan Shen responded, very well, I shall proceed with the necessary formalities for you. Should you wish to alter your investment strategy in the future, such as selling gold at a peak, feel free to contact us directly. At the same time, as Zhou Yuqin was arranging a trust fund for the young girl, Huang Yang, who had just received a scolding, was at a Hungar martial arts school applying medicinal patches when it comes to muscle, joint, and bone injuries. Some reputable martial arts schools outshine external traditional Chinese medicine clinics. A sprightly, elderly man in his 60s, bald and vigorous, placed a patch on Huang Yang's ankle and grumbled, Where have you gotten yourself into trouble again? Huang Yang, resigned, replied, Grandfather, could you refrain from viewing me through the same old lens as my mother? I have changed. I no longer engage in fights like before. A robust middle-aged man nearby, around 38 or 39, chuckled, Dad, I can attest to this. Yang has indeed improved quite a bit. Chapter 225. The little one went wild. It turns out that the elderly man is Huang Yang's maternal grandfather, Li Zhendong, once the foremost martial artist in Hong Kong 3 decades ago, who had defeated over 20 martial arts schoolmasters with Hungar. The middle-aged man is Li Zhendong's eldest son, Li Ongran, Huang Yang's uncle, who has inherited Li Zhendong's legacy and mastered Hungar to an extraordinary level. He once defeated a foreign boxing champion in the ring, and the globally renowned action star Miao Jie is his disciple. Li Zhendong asked, if you have changed, then why are you still getting injured? Huang Yang explained, recently, I have been going to the gym at Li Mei Hotel every morning to find Xiao Mei. Today, I clashed with an inland man over a treadmill. Uncle, I believe his skills surpass yours. Li Ongren laughed heartily. You're clever, learning to provoke him. Huang Yang insisted. I'm being serious. Li Ongren inquired, how formidable is he then? Huang Yang recounted his duel with Zhou Yuqin. Li Zhendong and Li Ongren exchanged solemn glances. Li Ongren asked, are you certain that he merely shook your arm and ankle to restore your joints? Huang Yang assured him, Uncle, many people witnessed it. I am not deceiving you. After a moment of silence, Li Zhendong stated, Yang, If that is indeed the case, you should be grateful for his mercy. Huang Yang questioned why. Li Zhendong replied, dislocating a person's joint is easy. Any individual with a basic knowledge of joint techniques can manage that. However, restoring a joint in the manner you described is no simple feat. It requires profound knowledge of human anatomy and exceptional control over one's own strength. Huang Yang asked, Grandfather, can you do it? Li Zhendong shook his head. I couldn't do it even at my peak, let alone now. Li Yongren added, I could manage it with difficulty, but the success rate is low. I cannot perform it as effortlessly as he did. Haha, a worthy opponent is hard to find. I must meet him. Huang Yang felt elated and said, this Zhou Yuqin must be here on vacation. I'll have someone keep an eye on him at the Limei Hotel. As soon as he returns, I'll notify you. Li Yongren cautioned, let me make it clear. I intend to meet him as a fellow martial artist, not to seek revenge for you. The conflict between you two was initiated by your own actions. Huang Yang pressed his lips together and acknowledged, I understand. After completing the arrangements for the young girl as trust fund, Zhou Yuqin went to the Qingping Apple amusement park. He accompanied the little girl in her exuberant fun until 9 in the evening when the park was about to close, and only then did the family of 3 emerge. In the car, Xiao Yeye remained exuberantly animated, exclaiming, Dad, Mom, the Qingping Apple amusement park is incredible. I want to play more. Zhou Yuqin wiped the sweat from her forehead and smiled. We shall return tomorrow. Xiao Yeye's eyes squinted with delight as she exclaimed, That's wonderful. Shen Jingyun asked, Are you hungry? Xiao Yeye touched her belly and nodded. I'm hungry. Mom, what delicious food shall we have? Shen Jingyun replied with a smile. Today we will enjoy Cantonese cuisine. Xiao Yeye asked, What is Cantonese cuisine? Shen Jingyun, unsure, immediately cast a pleading glance at Zhou Yuqin for assistance. Zhou Yuqin explained, Cantonese cuisine is one of the 8 major culinary traditions in our country, encompassing Chaozhou cuisine, Cantonese cuisine, and Donjiang cuisine. Throughout the journey, Zhou Yuqin elaborated on the origins and development of Cantonese cuisine, sharing fascinating historical anecdotes that captivated not only Xiao Yeye, but also Shen Jingyun and Xiang Zhuiyue. Xiang Zhuiyue remarked, Mr. Zhou, you are truly remarkable. I eat Chaozhou cuisine daily, yet I had no idea it held so much history and storytelling. Zhou Yuqin chuckled. I remember some of it from my culinary studies, where I often read about the various cuisines. Xiang Zhuiyue exclaimed in surprise, You're a chef? Xiao Yeye proudly stated, My dad's cooking is the best, no one can compare. Zhou Yuqin gently flicked her nose, saying, No need for you to boast about your father, little one. Soon, the car stopped in front of a restaurant emblazoned with the words classic Chaozhou cuisine. Though it was nearly 10 o'clock, the place was still bustling with activity. Xiang Zhuiyue led the 3 of them into a private room she had reserved earlier. Within 15 minutes, the waiter served 8 dishes and a soup. Zhou Yuqin inquired, How are the brothers outside faring? Xiang Zhuiyue replied, They are in the adjacent room. Zhou Yuqin nodded and instructed, Add 2 more dishes for them. And charge all expenses to my account. I do not wish for those who accompany me to pay for their meals. Deeply touched, Xiang Zhuiyue responded, Thank you, Mr. Zhou. You are the best guest I have ever hosted. I will go add 2 dishes for them right away. After a day of play, the little girl was genuinely hungry. As soon as the dishes arrived, she began to eat voraciously, praising the flavors and clearly relishing the meal. This relieved Xiang Zhuiyue, who had been observing the family throughout the day and had concluded that their happiness revolved around the child. Only when the child was satisfied would Zhou Yuqin and Shen Jingyun be content. After a hearty meal, the trio returned to the hotel. Upon entering, Xiao Yeye immediately clamored to swim in the pool. The 3 of them changed into swimwear and entered the water, where Xiao Yeye splashed about joyfully. Shen Jingyun settled beside Zhou Yuqin, resting her head on his shoulder as she watched the little one frolic gleefully, saying, Darling, thank you. Zhou Yuqin wrapped his arm around Shen Jingyun and replied, Dear, please refrain from saying thank you. It's my duty to do anything for you too. Shen Jingyun planted a kiss on his cheek, saying, That's your reward. Zhou Yuqin laughed. I find your actions far more delightful than mere words. Shen Jingyun couldn't help but smile. The following morning, Zhou Yuqin returned to the gym. Noticing that all the treadmills were occupied, he retreated to a corner and began his 3-body stance. Meanwhile, Gao Xiaomei, drenched in sweat on her treadmill, inadvertently caught sight of Zhou Yuqin's movements. Her eyes widening in astonishment, she switched off the treadmill and walked over to Zhou Yuqin, observing him closely. Although his movements were simple, they exuded a sense of grandeur, elegance, and steadiness. Zhou Yuqin was certainly aware of Gao Xiaomei's gaze, yet sensing no malice from her, he remained focused on his practice. After completing the Santi posture, he transitioned into the Tai Chi stance, which conveyed an aura of naturalness, tranquility, and inclusiveness. Chapter 226, The Clash of Experts. Gao Xiaomei, a beauty fond of physical activity, had witnessed numerous martial arts masters practicing stances, but none had ever allowed her to perceive such profound and far-reaching essence. At that moment, Huang Yang entered with a middle-aged man. Gao Xiaomei's expression shifted, and she hurriedly approached them. "Uncle Li, it's been a while." "Ha ha, Xiaomei. You are becoming more beautiful by the day." The middle-aged man, Li Angran, who was Huang Yang's uncle, replied. Gao Xiaomei had witnessed Li Angran's prowess in the ring, where he had defeated a formidable boxer in merely 3 moves, a master of Hung Gar Kung Fu. Huang Yang's invitation to Li Angran was evidently aimed at recovering the face lost the previous morning. Li Angran's arrival drew the attention of several guests, some of whom were well aware of the conflict between Huang Yang and Zhou Yuchen. Soon, everyone was informed of the situation, halting their workouts to watch with keen interest. "Uncle Li, what brings you here so early?" Li Angran turned his gaze to Zhou Yuchen, stating, "To make friends through martial arts." Unlike Gao Xiaomei, the moment Li Angran's eyes fell upon him, Zhou Yuchen felt a strong surge of stimulation, causing goosebumps to rise on his skin. With a downward press of his palms, Zhou Yuchen gradually exhaled a breath of stale air, turning to face Li Angran with a sharp gaze. "Is this master here to seek revenge for Mr. Huang?" Li Angran shook his head, replying, "It is not for revenge, but rather an apology. I am Li Angran, Huang Yang's uncle. This rascal is always causing trouble. What happened yesterday morning was his fault, and I apologize on his behalf, while also expressing gratitude for your mercy." Zhou Yuchen raised an eyebrow, and then Li Angran continued, "I have heard from Huang Yang about your capabilities and recognize you as a true martial arts expert. Thus, I have come to seek your guidance." Zhou Yuchen replied nonchalantly, "I practice martial arts for health, not to engage in reckless contests." "You have mistaken the person." Li Angran clasped his fists. "I have practiced Hung Gar for over 30 years, entered the realm of Ming Jin at 18, and mastered the hidden strength by 28. Yet I have never encountered a worthy opponent. Today, I am fortunate to meet a fellow practitioner. I ask for your indulgence, Mr. Zhou." Zhou Yuchen frowned. "Mr. Li, what era are we in? Does it hold significance for you to compete with me?" Li Angran replied, "Martial arts have waned, and worthy opponents are hard to find." Huang Yang shouted, "Zhou Yuchen, do you have the courage to face my uncle in a match? If not, just say so." Without hesitation, Zhou Yuchen responded, "I lack that courage. Is that satisfactory?" Huang Yang was momentarily speechless, exclaiming, "What kind of man are you?" Zhou Yuchen smiled. "Whether I am a man or not is for my wife to determine. Others' opinions matter little." Laughter erupted among the crowd, with Gao Xiaomei unable to suppress her amusement. Huang Yang, flustered, declared, "Admit that inland martial arts are inferior to our island's techniques, and you may leave." Before Zhou Yuchen could respond, Li Angran rebuked Huang Yang. "Be silent. Your grandfather is from the mainland." Huang Yang retorted, "I am provoked by him. Mr. Huang, whether from the mainland or the island, we share the same ancestral bloodline. Why must you drive a wedge between us? I truly wonder what your intentions are." Zhou Yuchen shot back before turning to Li Angran. "Mr. Li, let us see the extent of your Hung Gar." Li Angran's eyes brightened, and he clasped his fists, saying, "Thank you for your indulgence. I beg your pardon." With a stomp of his right foot, Li Angran advanced 3 steps, launching a punch toward Zhou Yuchen's chest. The sound of the wind from his punch was deafening, creating a crackling noise in the air. "Wow, incredible. Is this a movie? The air can be shattered, truly impressive." The onlookers in the gym gasped in awe. Huang Yang crossed his arms, boasting, "Xiaomei, did you see? My uncle will surely defeat this Zhou." Gao Xiaomei cast him a sidelong glance, internally scoffing. Is he a child calling for parental intervention? At over 20 years old, this is quite juvenile. Confronted with Li Angran's forceful punch, Zhou Yuchen employed the Tai Chi principle of yielding to overcome rigidity, swiftly grasping his wrist and deftly neutralizing the force with a couple of shakes. How swift! Li Angran was taken aback by Zhou Yuchen's speed, realizing he had caught his wrist, and promptly shifted tactics, raising his leg for a sweeping kick. Zhou Yuchen stepped back, extending his arm to execute a single whip from Tai Chi, striking at Li Angran. With immense power infused into the strike, Zhou Yuchen's arm resembled a heavy iron whip, delivering powerful blows that echoed around them. Bang, bang, bang. Li Angran gritted his teeth, exerting all his strength to endure 3 strikes. By the 4th, he was nearly exhausted. His face pale, drenched in sweat, and heat radiating from his head, a clear manifestation of his chi reaching its peak. Zhou Yuchen refrained from delivering a 4th strike. He withdrew his hand, placing it behind his back, and remarked, "Few can withstand 3 strikes from my single whip, Mr. Li. Your skills are commendable." This was no exaggeration. Zhou Yuchen's strength and speed surpassed the limits of an ordinary person, and even those with similar skills would not stand a chance against him. Li Angran, possessing hidden strength, managing to withstand 60% of his power in 3 strikes was indeed remarkable. Plopping down, Li Angran sat on the ground, chuckling ruefully. "After practicing martial arts my entire life, I now realize how far I am from true experts. Zhou Yuqin replied, you forcibly absorbed my 3 strikes, which has likely disturbed your internal organs. Seek a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner for a few days of recovery, Mr. Li. I wish you a swift entry into the realm of hidden strength. With that, Zhou Yuqin clasped his fists in farewell and departed with a flourish. An expert indeed. Today has been an eye-opener. The single whip from Tai Chi is astonishing. This cannot be a dream. Anyone who claims Tai Chi is ineffective will surely face my ire. The crowd buzzed with chatter. Huang Yang and Gao Xiaomei assisted Li Ongran to a nearby chair, only to discover his legs had turned to jelly, unable to support him. Uncle, what has happened? Why can you scarcely walk? Huang Yang showed his first sign of panic. Li Ongran waved his hand. It is merely the muscle shock from Mr. Zhou strikes. My bones feel weak. A few moments of rest will restore me. Chapter 227. Shun Jingyun's jealousy. Gao Xiaomei, astonished, inquired, Uncle Li, how could this happen after less than half a minute of fighting? Li Ongran sighed. The disparity between us is insurmountable. The first strike dispersed all my strength, and the subsequent blows were merely my stubbornness in enduring. I never imagined someone so young could possess such extraordinary skill. He is truly a prodigy. Ayong, do not provoke Mr. Qin again. If he wishes to harm you, he can easily unleash a hidden force into your organs, and within a month, you would meet your end without a soul doubting him. Huang Yang's face turned pale with fear, lamenting, how can such a formidable person exist in this world? Li Ongran responded, your grandfather is right. The martial arts world is teeming with hidden talents, and I underestimated the heroes of this realm. Hearing their conversation, Gao Xiaomei's beautiful eyes sparkled with intrigue for the mysterious Zhou Yuqin. However, upon recalling that he had a wife and children, a sense of loss washed over her. It was the first instance of such an emotion in her life. In the following days, Huang Yang ceased to trouble Zhou Yuqin. Instead, Gao Xiaomei would engage in conversations with him each morning after her run. With her beauty and grace, Gao Xiaomei was indeed exceptional, and Zhou Yuqin sensed her growing affection, which provided a slight boost to his vanity. Little Yaya had a delightful time. After spending 2 days at the Green Apple amusement park, they visited the ocean park, where the myriad of bizarre marine creatures captivated her attention. Other attractions, such as Lantau Island, Victoria Peak, and Chengqiao, each boasted their unique charm. Whenever they had free time, the family would indulge in shopping sprees, returning home with several additional suitcases. Mr. Zhou, Ms. Shun, we look forward to welcoming you back to our hotel, the staff remarked. Upon learning that Zhou Yuqin was leaving, Gao Xiaomei personally came to bid farewell. It was her first encounter with Shun Jingyun, and she was taken aback by her beauty. Though Gao Xiaomei was a stunning woman in her own right, she felt a sense of inadequacy in Shun Jingyun's presence. Zhou Yuqin said, Miss Gao, thank you for waiving our bill. When you visit Yunhai, do call me so I can extend my hospitality. Gao Xiaomei nodded in agreement. At the airport, after bidding farewell to Xiang Zhuiyue, the 3 of them boarded the plane. Honey, I feel that Miss Gao seems to have a bit of interest in you, Shun Jingyun suddenly remarked in first class. Zhou Yuqin chuckled. Did you notice that? Shun Jingyun, slightly taken aback, replied, you knew? Zhou Yuqin nodded, of course. I am not a fool. Haha, see? Your husband is quite charming. Shun Jingyun gave him a peculiar look and said, I wanted you to explain, yet you're boasting instead. Zhou Yuqin shrugged. What is there to explain? For every man who likes you, there are at least 8,000 who would like me. Should I explain each one? Don't be ridiculous. Oh, darling. You're not feeling jealous, are you? Shun Jingyun candidly admitted, I confess, I am jealous. Zhou Yuqin, surprised, remarked, you seem to lack confidence in your own allure. Shun Jingyun countered, Miss Gao is beautiful, graceful, and worth billions. She can aid you in your career. If she is interested in you, how can I not be anxious? Zhou Yuqin smiled. First, she is indeed beautiful, but she is still somewhat lacking compared to you. Second, I require no support in my endeavors. I cannot live off others. So, rest assured, I shall marry no one but you in this lifetime. Shun Jingyun laughed. Well, you certainly know how to speak. Zhou Yuqin continued, honestly, I am quite pleased that you feel jealous. Shun Jingyun shot him a playful glare, saying, you're insufferable. As they exited Yunhai Airport, it was already 6 in the evening. Due to the numerous suitcases, Shun Jingyun called Shun Shiyin to pick them up before boarding. Are you moving house? Shun Shiyin remarked. Noticing Zhou Yuqin with 4 large suitcases and Shun Jingyun with 2, he hurriedly took the 2 from Shun Jingyun. Zhou Yuqin chuckled inwardly, realizing this young man was settling a score from when he had not helped him with his luggage. Shun Jingyun, holding one suitcase with her left hand and clasping little Yaya's hand with her right, explained, these are all from Hong Kong. Shun Shiyin asked, is there anything for me? Shun Jingyun replied, what do you think? Shun Shiyin grinned, there must be something. The 4 of them arrived at the underground parking lot, where Shun Shiyin placed 3 suitcases into the trunk of his newly purchased S-Class Mercedes, saying, sister, little Yaya, You both can ride in my car. Shin Jingyun glanced at Zhou Yuchen, who smiled. Go ahead. Experience the difference between this car and my Maybach. All right. Shin Jingyun nodded, embracing little Yeya as she boarded Shin Shiyan's car. Shin Shiyan raised an eyebrow, casting a smug look at Zhou Yuchen. Zhou Yuchen found it amusing. What was the big deal about riding in his car? After getting into the car, Shin Shiyan did not wait for Zhou Yuchen and drove off. Sister, what was that about? He asked. Shin Jingyun, confused, replied, What do you mean? I told you to get in the car with little Yeya. Did you need to seek Zhou Yuchen's approval? Where did your previous nonchalance go? Shin Shiyan expressed his discontent. Shin Jingyun smiled. In any relationship, be it dating or marriage, mutual respect is fundamental. When you find someone you truly care for, you will understand my perspective. By the way, do you still keep in touch with Qin Yuyu? Shin Shiyan responded, Of course. Recently, we often go to dance halls together. Shin Jingyun inquired, Just the two of you? There are over 10 of us, all wealthy heirs from Yunhai City. As he spoke, a look of envy crossed Shin Shiyan's face. These guys are incredibly wealthy. I need to figure out a way to borrow some from them. Shin Jingyun's expression darkened as she asked, What do you need to borrow so much money for? Shin Shiyan replied proudly, To invest in gold futures. Sister, I've already made 96 million so far. Shin Jingyun furrowed her brow. What leverage are you using? Though she was not well versed in futures, she understood that gold futures do not fluctuate significantly. With only 1.8 billion in capital, making 96 million suggests his leverage was alarmingly high. Chapter 228. Conflicts with Hello Game Company. Shin Shiyan raised 2 fingers, saying, I'm using 20 times leverage. Shin Jingyun exclaimed, Have you lost your mind? Shin Shiyan chuckled, Fortune favors the bold. Don't worry, I won't go bankrupt. Sister, why not persuade Zhou Yuchen to invest 2 or 3 billion for me? After all, he has plenty of money. Shin Jingyun remained silent for a long while before saying, I cannot agree to your brother-in-law investing in you because you are taking too great a risk. Stop right there. Sister, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm well aware of the risks involved in investing in gold futures, so please don't try to dissuade me. Furthermore, this matter is only to be shared with you. Please do not mention it to our parents. Shin Jingyun said, As long as you lower the leverage, I will not inform them. Shin Shiyan chuckled. I reduced it to 5 times leverage in the early hours of yesterday. Sister, I am not a fool to recklessly use 20 times leverage. Shin Jingyun eyed him suspiciously. Really? Shin Shiyan affirmed, Indeed. Shin Jingyun insisted, Then show me your positions. Without hesitation, Shin Shiyan replied, Not a chance. That's my most private matter. Shin Jingyun expressed her dissatisfaction. You are just toying with me. Shin Shiyan smirked and fell silent. As they traveled partway, Shin Jingyun noticed something amiss and asked, Where are we headed? Shin Shiyan responded, To the government housing complex. Our parents are waiting for you at home. Shin Jingyun hurriedly inquired, Did you inform your brother-in-law? Shin Shiyan raised an eyebrow. I forgot. You are such a scatterbrain. Shin Jingyun scolded him, quickly dialing Zhou Yuchen, only to find the line busy. Reluctantly, she sent him a text message. At that moment, Zhou Yuchen was engaged in a conversation with Wang Yaoting, the newly appointed supervisor at Hello Game Company. During his time on Hong Kong Island, Hello Communications Group had executed extensive internal reorganizations within the game division. He Changsheng, accompanied by several key personnel, had caused quite a stir at headquarters. But Ma Xinqing merely presented documents detailing their embezzlement and easily dismissed them. Fang Qingxian had anticipated this outcome. As soon as Wang Yaoting took office, he submitted his resignation. In a show of feigned admiration for Fang Qingxian, Wang Yaoting accepted his resignation. To Wang Yaoting's astonishment and ire, that afternoon, over a dozen core technical personnel and several dozen programmers from Hello Game Company submitted their resignation letters. With their departure, the entire company would surely collapse. Wang Yaoting promptly reported this to Ma Xinqing, who permitted him to increase all employee salaries by 10%. Unfortunately, this increment held no allure for the programmers. They declared that regardless of whether Hello Game Company accepted their resignations, they would leave in a month to join Yueqin Game Company. Only then did Wang Yaoting realize that Fang Qingxian had secured a new position long ago. Mr. Zhou, do you not find such actions quite unscrupulous? Zhou Yuchen, already aware of the situation from Zheng Tong, smiled and replied, Mr. Zhang, I admit to having contacted Mr. Fang Qingxian privately. He is an experienced R&D talent. And as a newly established game company, we greatly need such seasoned expertise. You dismissed him, and we welcomed him. Pray tell, how is that unscrupulous? Mr. Zhou, you feign ignorance. I am not referring to Fang Qingxian, but to the 72 game development programmers. Oh, I have heard from Zheng Tong. Your company has yet to approve the resignations of those 72 programmers. Thus, we have not signed any contracts with them. In truth, this matter is quite simple. While the HR process is incomplete, you can find ways to dissuade them from resigning. Rest assured, as long as you do not release them, we will not accept them. Wang Yaoting easily discerned Zhou Yuqin's jest, replying, Mr. Zhou, are you mocking Hello Game Company? Zhou Yuqin smiled. Hello Game Company ranks among the top 3 in the industry. We barely make it into the top 30. What grounds do we have to mock you? Mr. Zhang, let me reiterate, should they wish to return, I will not hinder them. We shall see. Wang Yaoting scoffed and abruptly ended the call. What a farce, Zhou Yuqin thought, a hint of disdain curling his lips. Employees departing without reflecting on their own shortcomings, attempting to pressure other companies, was truly laughable. Oh, a message from my wife. Zhou Yuqin glanced at Shun Jingyun's text and promptly replied with a simple okay. He paid no mind to Shun Shiyan's petty antics. Upon arriving at Shun Qinggong's residence, little Yaya was in the living room regaling her grandparents with tales of her experiences in Hong Kong. Though her articulation was not entirely clear, her animated gestures and exaggerated expressions elicited laughter from Shun Qinggang and Daiwan. Seeing Zhou Yuqin enter, Shun Jingyun smiled. Darling, Daddy is home. Let us wash our hands and have dinner. Little Yaya obediently replied, okay. During the meal, Shun Qinggang asked, Xiao Zhou, was everything smooth? Zhou Yuqin nodded. Yaya's trust fund was completed in just one morning. I divided it into 2 parts. The majority was invested in gold for value preservation and appreciation, while a smaller portion was allocated to safer financial products. By the time Yaya turns 18, she will receive about 20 to 30 million annually. Shun Qinggang was delighted, saying, it seems the little girl will never lack for money. Daiwan also beamed with joy. Shun Shiyan scoffed, if you entrusted that 10 billion to me, I could turn it into 100 billion in 15 years. Shun Qinggong's expression darkened. It could also become 0. Shun Shiyan retorted, I'm not that incompetent. Zhou Yuqin chuckled, Shiyan, when you have children in the future, you will understand that even the slightest risk is something parents would never allow their children to bear. Daiwan nodded. A parent's love for their child leads them to plan far ahead. Feeling his parents' educational intent, Shun Shiyan quickly silenced himself. After dinner, Shun Jingyun opened the 2 suitcases she had brought, revealing gifts for her parents and brother. Daiwan complained, since you went out, you should have enjoyed yourself for a few days. Why buy so many things? Zhou Yuqin smiled. Hong Kong is known as a shopping paradise. If I don't buy something, it feels like a loss. Daiwan inquired, did you buy anything for your parents? Zhou Yuqin replied, of course, I wouldn't forget. But just to clarify, these are all selected by Ms. Shun Jingyun. If they dislike them, please direct your complaints to her, not me. Shun Jingyun playfully hit him, exclaiming, you are insufferable. Chapter 229. Gratitude towards Zhou Yuqin. Once the items were distributed, Shun Shiyan carried the bags and said, there is only 1 suitcase left in my car's trunk. Your vehicle should have enough space, right? Zhou Yuqin nodded. It should fit. Daiwan asked, Shiyan, where are you off to? Shun Shiyan responded, I'm meeting some friends to discuss starting a business. A mother knows her child best. Upon hearing this, Daiwan recognized he was likely lying. However, as the child grew, he had his own social circle, and Daiwan refrained from saying much, hoping he would not act recklessly. Once downstairs, Shun Shiyan retrieved the suitcase from his car and set it down before driving away. Shun Qinggang expressed his displeasure with his son's attitude, stating, this rascal is becoming increasingly thoughtless. Zhou Yuqin chuckled. He is upset that I did not give him and his friends the respect he desired before. Shun Qinggang huffed, respect is earned. If you wish to be held in high regard, you must strive to make a name for yourself. Otherwise, you will only invite ridicule. Zhou Yuqin remarked, Uncle Shun. Shiyan is quite capable, though he lacks a bit of composure in his demeanor. As he gains more experience, I believe he will improve. Shun Qinggang sighed and remarked, I hope so. Shun Jingyun said, Dad, Mom, we are heading back. Daiwan advised, drive slowly on the way. Watching the car gradually depart, Shun Qinggang remarked, that kid is truly impressive. Daiwan shot him a glance and replied, he is better than you. He managed to secure a trust fund worth a staggering 1 billion for his daughter through his own capabilities. And you? You can't even afford an apartment and have to let Jingyun take out a loan herself. A hint of embarrassment flickered across Shun Qinggang's face as he responded. It's simply a matter of different paths. He added, if I had ventured into business when I was young. Daiwan interjected, then our family would have gone bankrupt long ago. Shun Qinggang chuckled, that is indeed a possibility. Daiwan continued, old Shun, have you noticed the recent changes in Jingyun? Shun Qinggang nodded, I have. This girl used to only share happy news, always coming back with a bright smile, but her expressions and eyes betrayed her true feelings. At times, it pained me to see her like that. However, ever since she began dating Xiao Zhou, her demeanor has transformed completely, a remarkable turnaround. She still wears a smile, but her face and eyes radiate a genuine warmth, making it clear that her happiness is heartfelt. Daiwan nodded. It's all thanks to Xiao Zhou. We should truly express our gratitude to him. Shun Qinggang raised an eyebrow. What is there to be thankful for? It is merely his duty as a father. Daiwan countered. And what about you as a father? Shouldn't you also address Shida's issues? He is my greatest concern right now. Shin Qinggang sighed, helplessly stating, I have no way to handle that kid. Daiwan adjusted her glasses. I don't know why, but I have an unsettling premonition lately. Shin Qinggang replied, you are overthinking it. Daiwan nodded. I hope I am just being overly anxious. Upon returning home, Zhou Yuqin opened the window and began mopping the floor. Shin Jingyun organized the items they had purchased. Noticing the time nearing 10 o'clock, she hurriedly took the little girl to the bathroom for a bath. After washing up, she lay on the bed, and within 5 minutes, the little girl was fast asleep. Darling, what are you busy with? Shin Jingyun asked curiously as she entered Zhou Yuqin's study, seeing him typing away on the computer. Zhou Yuqin smiled. I plan to visit the Longhun drone group in a few days, so I am preparing the development materials for the drone flight control chip in advance. Although Shin Jingyun was completely unversed in the field of chips, she understood that chip development could not be done in isolation. How can you be sure the flight control chip will succeed without any experiments? Zhou Yuqin replied with pride. The flight control chip is not particularly complicated. The design concept is already clear in my mind. They will conduct the necessary experiments, and I will merely provide technical support. During his time on Hong Kong Island, Zhou Yuqin utilized the hard-earned 4.5 million popularity points to purchase relevant materials for the drone flight control chip technology from the system. In comparison to high-end mobile phone chips, the development and manufacturing of drone flight control chips were considerably easier, and thus the system's prices were significantly lower. Even so, Zhou Yuqin found his popularity points dwindling to less than 100,000, leaving him unable to purchase anything further. Therefore, he planned to take a break from his busy schedule in the coming days to continue recording songs to earn more popularity points. All right, you are impressive. Darling, I'm quite tired today, so I will go to sleep now. Zhou Yuqin opened his arms. Come here for a hug. Shin Jingyun smiled, sat on his lap, and bestowed upon him a long French kiss lasting 2 minutes before getting up to leave. Zhou Yuqin glanced down at his trousers, revealing a faint smile of resignation. Brother, don't rush. That day is approaching. After a night of diligent work, Zhou Yuqin finally completed the relevant materials for the drone flight control chip by around 4 in the morning. After meditating for over 2 hours, when Zhou Yuqin opened his eyes, it was already 6:40 in the morning. With no time to practice boxing, he quickly washed up and headed into the kitchen. As usual, the three of them finished breakfast, and Shin Jingyun went off to work while Zhou Yuqin took the little girl to school. After dropping Xiao Yeye off at kindergarten, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the headquarters of Yueqin Game Company. After tidying up his office, he heard a knock on the door. Come in. The door opened, and Zheng Tong entered with a middle-aged man. Mr. Zhou, you have finally returned. Zhou Yuqin smiled. Old Zheng, are you implying that I have been neglecting my duties? Zheng Tong quickly waved his hands. I didn't mean it that way. Zhou Yuqin replied. You better not mean it that way. You are the future helmsman of Yueqin Game Company. If I have to handle everything myself, you might as well find a cooler place to relax. Zheng Tong shrugged. All right, you are right. Mr. Zhou, let me introduce you. This is my old friend, Fong Qingxian. Zhou Yuqin extended his hand with a smile. Teacher Fong, welcome to our Yueqin Game Company. Fong Qingxian promptly stepped forward to shake Zhou Yuqin's hand. Mr. Zhou, you honor me. It is my privilege to join Yueqin Game Company. Having heard the friendly exchange between Zhou Yuqin and Zheng Tong, Fong Qingxian felt reassured that he had come to the right place. Chapter 230. First encounter with Fong Qingxian personally pouring tea for Zheng Tong and Fong Qingxian. Zhou Yuqin said, yesterday, the supervisor of Hala Game Company, Wang Yaoding, called me, expressing dissatisfaction regarding your collective departure along with dozens of highly skilled programmers to Yueqin Game Company. Fong Qingxian chuckled wryly. It is more than mere dissatisfaction. Last night, I and over 10 colleagues were placed on Hala Game Company's blacklist, accused of betrayal and disloyalty. And they are rallying all game companies in Xia country to collectively blacklist us. Seeing Zhou Yuqin's surprised expression, Zheng Tong explained, they announced this at 10 o'clock last night. Zhou Yuqin asked in confusion, Hala Game Company seems to be going a bit crazy, doesn't he? Teacher Fong, does your departure have a significant impact on them? Fong Qingxian nodded. The brothers who joined us are the core and backbone of Hala Game Company's development department. To put it bluntly, with our departure, nearly all of their projects will have to be suspended for a while. Zhou Yuqin understood. No wonder. Old Zheng, have the brothers' onboarding processes been completed? Zheng Tong replied. Hala Game Company only approved Old Fong's resignation. They did not approve anyone else's. According to Xia country's labor laws, if an employee voluntarily resigns and the company does not respond, they must wait 30 days before leaving. If they leave directly, it will have a detrimental effect on their careers. Zhou Yuqin asked, is there any way to handle this? Zheng Tong replied, if Hala Game Company does not relent, we will have to wait a month. There is no other solution. Fong Qingxian added, in fact, what Hala Game Company is doing is detrimental to themselves. The statement they released last night is essentially a slap in the face. Industry insiders know very well that Hala Game Company owes its current success to people like us. The ridicule would ultimately fall back on Hala Game Company. Currently, they refuse to approve our resignations. Therefore, we shall refrain from any work, merely adhering to our scheduled hours. After a month, the Hello Game Company will undoubtedly suffer significant losses. Zhou Yuchen's mind stirred, and he inquired, "Do you usually work overtime? Do they compensate you for it?" Fang Qingxian replied, "Overtime is a common occurrence, yet we receive not a single cent for it. At most, we are given a boxed meal." "Perfect," Zhou Yuchen exclaimed. "Gather your evidence of overtime and present it to Wang Yaoding. Inform him that should he refuse to approve your resignations, a month hence, upon receiving your salaries, you will pursue legal action against Hello Game Company for violating labor laws." Zheng Tong's eyes lit up as he remarked, "This plan is excellent. Our legal department has yet to engage in any litigation since its establishment, and this would be a perfect opportunity for them to gain some experience." Zhou Yuchen rolled his eyes and said, "Our goal is to expedite our brother's entry into the company, not to engage in a legal battle with Hello Game Company." Zheng Tong chuckled, "I was merely jesting." Fang Qingxian asked, "What if Hello Game Company remains obstinate and refuses to comply?" Zhou Yuchen coldly replied, "Then we shall play with them. This month, aside from receiving salaries from Hello Game Company, our Yueloing Game Company will also provide an additional 20,000 as a relocation allowance." Upon hearing this, Zheng Tong and Fang Qingxian both expressed their admiration for Zhou Yuchen's strategy. Everyone works to support their families, and to earn 2 salaries while idling at Hello Game Company for a month is akin to a windfall. After leaving the president's office, Fang Qingxian promptly informed the brothers who were idling at Hello Game Company about Zhou Yuchen's decision. Upon receiving his message, everyone felt invigorated and began to organize their evidence of overtime. Zheng Tong smiled and asked, "Old Fang, how was your meeting with President Zhou?" Fang Qingxian gave a thumbs up, stating, "He is a person of great ambition." Having worked at Yueloing Game Company for 3 days, Fang Qingxian found the treatment and environment to be exceedingly satisfactory. The company not only boasts a free cafeteria but also provides a gym, encouraging everyone to exercise. Having worked in the gaming industry for many years, this was the first time he had encountered such a benefit. Most importantly, the salaries are generous. Even the most ordinary employees earn 20,000 a month. With the addition of overtime pay, it could reach 30,000, making it the highest in the industry. Zheng Tong remarked, "President Zhou is a results-oriented individual. Even if you were to stay home every day, as long as you complete the assigned work within the stipulated time, he would deem you an excellent employee." Thus, you see a variety of activities within the company, yet the work efficiency is the highest I have ever witnessed. Fang Qingxian nodded and noted, "I have reviewed the company's employee code of conduct. The requirements for discipline are minimal, with no strict regulations regarding tardiness or early departures. Yet the expectations for work performance are exceedingly high." Zheng Tong confessed, "To be honest, the pressure of my job is immense. President Zhou has transformed Yueloing Game Company into the world's most renowned mobile game company in just a few months. If I, as the CEO, cannot maintain this success, I need not await President Zhou's admonition. I would resign and disgrace myself." "Resign and disgrace?" Zhou Yu emerged from around the corner of the hallway, grinning as he said, "Zheng Tong, are you preparing to relinquish the CEO position?" Zheng Tong rolled his eyes and retorted, "What? Do you harbor ambitions for the CEO position?" Zhou Yu confidently asserted, "An employee who does not aspire to be CEO is not a good employee." Zheng Tong chuckled, "First, focus on completing your responsibilities for Plants vs. Zombies. I must inform you, President Zhou places great importance on this game. If you mess it up, not only will you lose the CEO position, but you may not even retain your current title." Zhou Yu confidently replied, "Game development is already on track. In no more than 4 months, we will undoubtedly complete it with both quality and efficiency." Zheng Tong asked, "Then why are you not working diligently instead of loitering about?" Zhou Yu responded, "President Zhou rarely visits. So I am here on behalf of the 3 development teams to showcase the game's progress and seek his guidance on a few issues." Fang Qingxian raised an eyebrow and said, "May I join you in observing?" Zhou Yu pointed at Zheng Tong, saying, "Old Fang, you must ask him." Chapter 231. Successful battery development. Fang Qingxian, a well-known veteran in the industry, was warmly welcomed by Zhou Yu and his colleagues. Just a few days prior, they had shared a grand feast together. Zheng Tong smiled and said, "Of course, that's no problem. You will be responsible for the development of War Elite from now on, and you are welcome to attend all meetings." Fang Qingxian joyfully replied, "That's wonderful." 10 minutes later, Zhou Yuchen earnestly reviewed the progress of Plants vs. Zombies, Temple Run, and Honor of Kings, commending their development while also providing numerous suggestions for improvement. Fang Qingxian recognized Zhou Yuchen as an exceptional game development expert. His insights were remarkably precise. And what was most impressive was his ability to offer one or more perfect solutions to each issue, showcasing extraordinary prowess. After reviewing the development status of the 3 games, Zhou Yuqin convened a meeting with several key project leaders. Each leader presented the challenges they faced, and together they collaborated to discuss solutions, resulting in most issues being effectively resolved. In an effort to demonstrate his own expertise, Fang Qingxian contributed several valuable ideas, earning the team's recognition. For the few issues that remained unresolved, they were entrusted to Zhou Yuqin, who effortlessly managed to address them without hesitation. Fang Qingxian appreciated this collaborative work style and realized that although Zhou Yuqin did not frequently visit the company, he was indeed the core presence within it. After the meeting concluded, Zhou Yuqin stated, "I have an announcement. Fang Laosher is now a part of our company, and soon over 70 more colleagues will join us. Due to Hello Game Company's refusal to release them, the exact timing of their arrival remains uncertain, but it will not exceed 1 month. Once they arrive, they will be responsible for developing our 7th game, War Elite, as seasoned employees. I hope you all will extend your support and assistance to help them acclimate to their new roles swiftly." Zhou Yu raised his hand and suggested, "President Zhou, I propose we host a grand welcome banquet for the over 100 brothers who joined us last time and the 70 brothers coming from Hello Game Company. I believe that after an evening of festivities, everyone will become acquainted, and our work will naturally become more efficient." Zhou Yuqin nodded, saying, "I will discuss this with old Zheng, and he will take charge. In the future, we can gather every quarter." Excellent. Applause erupted from the crowd. Once the clapping subsided, Zhou Yuqin added, "The expenses will be deducted from your salaries." "What?" The crowd gasped in unison. Zhou Yuqin laughed heartily as he turned and exited the conference room. Zhou Yu touched the back of his head and said, "Could Qinggu really deduct our pay?" Hua Haiyang replied irritably, "Can't you tell that Qinggu is joking?" Zhou Yu chuckled, "I think so too." Exiting the Moon Qin Game Company, Zhou Yuqin headed straight to the Kuanping battery manufacturing plant. Upon reaching the laboratory entrance, he was greeted by a tremendous cheer from within. "Fantastic! We did it! The experimental results fully meet the standards." Hearing their words, Zhou Yuqin felt a surge of joy and entered. Zhao Ku, with a beaming expression, announced, "President Zhou, we have developed a battery with a capacity of 4,000 mAh. After testing, both the performance and safety of the battery are impeccable." Zhou Yuqin joyfully exclaimed, "Show me the experimental data." Zhao Ku promptly handed over the data to Zhou Yuqin. After reviewing it carefully, a radiant smile graced his face. He set the data aside and gave a thumbs up with both hands, declaring, "You all are amazing. Hooray." The crowd cheered once more. Zhou Yuqin's demonstrated capabilities and expertise had long been acknowledged by all the researchers. Receiving his praise stirred immense excitement among them. Zhou Yuqin said, "Professor Zhao, the 66W high-power charger has already been completed. Now that we have the battery, let's commence experiments at the earliest." Zhao Kun nodded, replying, "We will start the experiments this afternoon." "President Zhou, everyone has been quite exhausted during this period. Are there any reward measures from the company?" Upon hearing this, all the RD personnel looked at Zhou Yuqin with eager anticipation. Zhou Yuqin smiled and said, "I believe I previously promised that as long as we successfully developed the high-capacity battery, I would double the bonuses for everyone. Now this promise is void. I will triple the bonuses instead." "Excellent. President Zhou is so magnanimous. Long live President Zhou." The cheers in the laboratory grew even louder at the prospect of receiving 3 months' worth of bonuses in a single month. At noon, Zhou Yuqin had lunch in the company cafeteria, accompanied by Wang Guangzhong and Zhao Ku. "Old Wang, our battery development has succeeded. The next step is to modify the production line. Is that feasible on your end?" Wang Guangzhong replied, "I've already made the necessary arrangements. The PR and marketing departments are also well prepared. Once you give the order, I assure you that the entire Summer Nation will know we've produced the world's largest capacity battery and the fastest charging charger." Zhou Yuqin nodded, "Very well." Zhao Ku inquired, "President Zhou, what should our RD department focus on next?" Without hesitation, Zhou Yuqin stated, "Let us keep up the momentum and develop a 6,000 mAh battery and a 120W high-power charger." Zhao Ku asked, "Is that even possible?" Zhou Yuqin smiled, "I have an idea. If it succeeds, we are highly likely to achieve it." Zhao Ku quickly asked, "What idea?" Zhou Yuqin waved his hand, saying, "Don't rush. After everyone has had a chance to rest, we will discuss it further." Zhao Ku agreed, "Okay." Just then, Zhou Yuqin spotted his old classmate, Zhang Xia. She entered the cafeteria, chatting and laughing with a few colleagues. Zhang Xia had joined the company the previous Monday, and Zhou Yuqin had only mentioned it to Wang Guangzhong. So no one else was aware of their connection. Zhang Xia noticed Zhou Yuqin, smiled at him, but did not greet him. After lunch, Zhou Yuqin returned to the laboratory, where he and the researchers conducted charging experiments on the battery using the 66W high-power charger. In just over 20 minutes, the The 4,000 milliamp hours battery was fully charged. The researchers conducted a safety test and confirmed it to be 100% safe. Zhou Yuqin felt no surprise at this result. After all, this was technology that had been utilized for countless years in his previous life, making failure inconceivable. As time drew near, Zhou Yuqin left the company, preparing to pick up his child from school, and happened to run into Zhang Min downstairs. Zhang Min, how are you adjusting to work? It's good. Everyone is very nice to me, but I feel a bit idle. Zhou Yuqin chuckled. With the successful development of the high-capacity battery, your leisurely days will soon come to an end. Really? Zhang Min's eyes lit up as she joyfully exclaimed, that is fantastic. Congratulations, President Zhou. Zhou Yuqin replied. Hearing you call me, that feels a bit strange. Oh, I can't chat with you any longer. I must hurry to pick up my child. Zhang Min smiled. You truly are a wonderful father. Zhou Yuqin remarked, I'll take that as a compliment. After leaving the battery manufacturing plant, Zhou Yuqin hurried to the school and picked up little Yaya. Sweetheart, what's wrong? You seem a bit unhappy. In the car, Zhou Yuqin turned to the silent little Yaya and asked. Little Yaya pouted, angrily saying, that Zhang Hua is so annoying. What happened? The snacks I brought this morning were supposed to be 1 pack each. But Zhang Hua snatched Xiaomei's snacks and made her cry. That little rascal is quite mischievous. How about this? We still have plenty of snacks at home. You can give Xiaomei another pack tomorrow. Little Yaya bit her lip, feeling embarrassed, and said, Daddy, we don't have many snacks left at home either. Zhou Yuqin couldn't help but chuckle. Didn't you say Xiaomei is your best friend? You wouldn't want to share just 1 pack? Little Yaya thought for a moment and replied, Fine, I'll give Xiaomei another pack tomorrow. Zhou Yuqin said, That's what a good friend should do. Come on, let us head home. Daddy, do you like me? Of course. Then can you buy me an ice cream? Well, on the way home, the father and daughter stopped by an ice cream shop. At 8 in the evening, Zhou Yuqin and Xin Jingyan took little Yaya for a stroll in the community. Honey, do you have time tomorrow afternoon to pick up little Yaya? I can leave as soon as I inform my superior. Is there something going on? I need to go to Sioux City. I probably won't be back until the evening. To Longhun Drone Company? Yes. During lunch preparation that afternoon, Wei Nanbei called Zhou Yuqin, asking when he could come by. Zhou Yuqin initially planned for Wednesday, but unable to resist Wei Nanbei's enthusiastic invitation, he moved it to the next day. Are you really considering investing? That depends on Wei Nanbei's capabilities. I have high expectations for drones. If his products do not meet my standards, I certainly want to invest. Conversely, if they do meet my expectations, I will do everything in my power to assist Wei Nanbei in making the drones a global success. Do you really believe there is great potential in the drone industry? The potential is beyond imagination. All right, I hope you are right. Zhou Yuqin smiled, saying, Rest assured. I never engage in battles without confidence. Before the rise of Tianjiang drones in his previous life, it was difficult for the average person to envision the market scale of drones. It was only later, when Tianjiang Group's annual revenue surpassed hundreds of billions, establishing itself as the global drone leader, that everyone realized how vast the drone market truly was. Compared to his previous life, the development of drones in this world was even more sluggish. As long as Wei Nanbei produces an exceptional product, it will be hard for the company not to succeed. At 10 o'clock the next morning, Zhou Yuqin arrived alone at the headquarters of Longhun Drone Company. Similar to the Moon and Stars Gaming Company, the Dragon Soul Drone Company has rented an entire floor in an office building. Zhou Yuqin recalls that in his previous life, the Tianjiang Group was founded in a modest 20 square meter basement. In contrast, the conditions at Dragon Soul Drone Group are remarkably favorable. Upon exiting the vehicle, Zhou Yuqin immediately spotted Wei Nanbei standing at the entrance of the building. Beside him stood 3 young men, approximately the same age as Wei, all possessing rather unremarkable looks, with the most handsome among them being eclipsed by Zhou Yuqin himself. Brother Chen, welcome to our Dragon Soul Drone Company. Wei Nanbei approached with a smile and extended his hand. Zhou Yuqin shook it and replied, I am primarily here for a tour and to learn. I hope Dragon Soul Drone can present me with a grand surprise. Wei Nanbei confidently responded, I believe you will be thoroughly satisfied. Zhou Yuqin glanced at the 3 young men behind him, prompting Wei Nanbei to introduce them. They are core members of Wei Nanbei's entrepreneurial team, named Yu Bo, Zhang Jiani, and Geng Yinyang. The 4 are university classmates who ventured into business together in Suzhou after graduation, enduring 6 to 7 years of hardships, and are finally starting to see some progress. In recent days, Yu Bo and the others have often heard Wei Nanbei praise Zhou Yuqin, describing him as an extraordinary individual with deep expertise in chip development and drone technology. Originally, they had assumed Zhou Yuqin to be a middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s, but upon meeting him, they were surprised to find him younger than themselves, which left them somewhat disheartened, though they did not show it on their faces. Taking the elevator to the 16th floor, Wei Nanbei guided Zhou Yuqin on a comprehensive tour of the Dragon Soul Drone Company. Dragon Soul has a total of 63 employees, all young men. the oldest not exceeding 35 years of age. Perhaps due to Zhou Yuqin's status as a significant investor, everyone had tidied up, though the cleaning was not entirely thorough. Zhou Yuqin could still discern the disarray in their documents and belongings. However, for him, the environment of Dragon Soul was secondary. What truly mattered were their patented technologies. Wei Nanbei instructed Yu Bo and the other two technical leaders to provide introductions to Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin listened intently, posing numerous questions, each one incisive and pertinent. The five technical leaders initially believed Zhou Yuqin would be easy to handle, akin to previous investors, but upon witnessing his profound knowledge of drones, they became visibly tense. An hour later, beads of sweat adorned their backs, as Zhou Yuqin's inquiries had delved so deeply that some questions left even them stumped, resulting in significant embarrassment. Wei Nanbei cleared his throat and suggested, "Brother Chun, it's noon. Shall we go for lunch?" Zhou Yuqin glanced at the time, nodded, and replied, "All right." Nanbei, mere words without action are futile. This afternoon, I wish to see the tangible products you have developed. No problem, Wei Nanbei assured him. According to the original reception plan, Yu Bo and the others were supposed to join for lunch, but after Zhou Yuqin's intense questioning, they all hurried back to their laboratories to prepare for the afternoon's evaluation. Arriving at a nearby hotel, Wei Nanbei awkwardly remarked, "Brother Chun, I apologize. They were a bit nervous upon encountering someone of your caliber and worried about being caught off guard this afternoon, so they returned to prepare." Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "Did you often bamboozle investors before?" Wei Nanbei replied helplessly, "What can we do? They lack technical understanding and are the type to only believe in tangible results. As a research and development company, we can't present concrete results, so we have no choice but to embellish our visions." Zhou Yuqin nodded. Many high-tech companies have traversed this path. Wei Nanbei then inquired, "Brother Chun, what are your thoughts on our company?" Zhou Yuqin smiled slightly. "I shall provide you with my evaluation after this afternoon's inspection." Wei Nanbei suddenly appeared nervous. "All right." After lunch, the two returned to the Dragon Soul Drone Company, where Zhou Yuqin spent the afternoon probing and conducting experiments, thoroughly assessing their capabilities. Once the evaluation was complete, everyone convened in the conference room. Yu Bo and the others had shed their previous disdain, looking at Zhou Yuqin with admiration and awe. Zhou Yuqin stated directly, "I would rate you a 60 out of 100. Wei Nanbei furrowed his brow. "Brother Chun, what areas do you believe we have fallen short in?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "I can only say that your technological foundation is quite solid. When combined, the drones you manufacture could lead the world. However, there remains a considerable gap between your products and the top-tier drones I envision." Wei Nanbei asked, "What does your ideal top-tier drone look like?" Zhou Yuqin promptly recited the specifications of the most advanced drone model from his past life as Tianjiang. Hearing this, Wei Nanbei chuckled wryly. "That's simply unattainable." Zhou Yuqin's eyes sparkled with confidence and determination. "Nanbei, we are in the 3G era. In a few years, the 4G era will arrive, making many seemingly impossible things achievable." Wei Nanbei responded, "Perhaps. Brother Chun, will you collaborate with us?" Yu Bo and the others were taken aback, collectively turning their gaze towards Zhou Yuqin. Scanning the room, Zhou Yuqin's serious expression finally softened into a smile. "I had initially intended to undertake this alone, but since you have come this far, let us collaborate." An audible sigh of relief swept through the group, followed by cheers. Wei Nanbei, overjoyed, asked, "Brother Chun, how much will you invest?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "What percentage can you offer me?" Wei Nanbei, clearly having discussed this matter with the others, stated, "Our valuation is 25 billion, which is our bottom line. We can offer you a maximum of 32% equity, provided you possess the core technology for the flight control chip. 8 billion. Along with the core technology for the flight control chip, in exchange for 32% of Dragon Soul Drone Company, seemed a reasonable price to Zhou Yuqin. If Dragon Soul could replicate the success of the Tianjiang drones from his previous life, the mere 8 billion would be recoverable within 2 months. Zhou Yuqin produced a USB drive, stating, "The technical materials for the drone's flight control chip are contained within this. I can hand it over for your verification." "Nanbei, I mentioned on the plane that I would finalize the chip within 3 months, but I have many matters to attend to, so I must temporarily delegate the related research and development work to you. Once I conclude my current obligations, I will return." Wei Nanbei gazed at the USB drive. "As long as your flight control chip technology is theoretically viable, there will be no issue." Zhou Yuqin nodded and handed the USB drive to Wei Nanbei, who promptly connected it to a laptop and projected the flight control chip technology onto a large screen. Zhou Yuqin, surprised, asked, "Do you all understand chip development?" "Only to a certain extent. The true experts are Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching." As Wei Nanbei spoke, he picked up his phone and dialed a number. Shortly, 2 men in their 30s entered, one bald and the other with long hair, representing 2 stark contrasts. Wei Nanbei remarked, "Old Cheng, old Yuan." Here are the relevant materials concerning the drone flight control chip. Let us study them together. Cheng Zhong, bald and seated, glanced at the large screen and said nonchalantly, "Do you all comprehend this?" His words inadvertently offended everyone present. Zhou Yuqin nearly burst into laughter, mentally labeling Cheng Zhong as lacking intelligence. Wei Nanbei and the others, already accustomed to his manner of speaking, chose to ignore him. Yuan Taiching, adjusting his hair, inquired, "Mr. Zhou, this document must have been brought by you, correct?" Zhou Yuqin nodded in affirmation. Yuan Taiching continued, "Could you elucidate it for us?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "Of course." Wei Nanbei promptly rose to present a laser pointer. Zhou Yuqin accepted it and began to expound on the information displayed on the screen, speaking passionately for over an hour. The others grasped only a portion of it. While Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching understood a significant amount, the two engaged in a prolonged discussion with Zhou Yuqin, posing questions for 2 hours. Zhou Yuqin patiently addressed their inquiries, occasionally delving into more profound realms, effectively conducting a masterclass on chips for the attendees. Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching, both proud individuals, were utterly captivated by Zhou Yuqin's expertise. Their arrogance diminished. As the clock struck 8 in the evening, Zhou Yuqin, feeling hunger pangs, asked, "Teachers Cheng and Yuan, I trust you have grasped the concepts?" After this period of exchange, Zhou Yuqin had assessed their capabilities. According to the Comprehensive Development System S standards, they were above 90% at the entry level, but had yet to attain proficiency. Cheng Zhong quickly interjected, "Brother Chun, you may simply call me by my name. I dare not call you teacher in your presence." Yuan Taiching concurred, "Indeed, you are the true master in the field of chips." Wei Nanbei chuckled, "Have you submitted then?" Yuan Taiching affirmed, "Yes, we are sincerely convinced." Wei Nanbei queried, "Do you believe we can develop the drone flight control chip based on the theories discussed?" Both Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching responded in unison, "Absolutely." Wei Nanbei expressed his delight, "Splendid. I entrust this document to you. Aim to complete it within 3 months." The two agreed without hesitation. Zhou Yuqin stood and asked, "Shall we go for dinner?" Wei Nanbei replied, "Apologies, Brother Chen. We must head to the hotel." On the way, Zhou Yuqin called Shen Jingyan to inform her that he would return the following day, arriving at a 5-star hotel in Sioux City. Zhou Yuqin enjoyed a meal with the others. During the meal, Zhou Yuqin inquired about the other shareholders. Wei Nanbei, somewhat embarrassed, admitted, "To be honest, Brother Chun, 3 shareholders have long requested to withdraw. They simply haven't found successors. If you wish to purchase, it is certainly feasible, given the almost non-existent prospects for drone projects. Securing financing is exceptionally challenging, especially since Wei Nanbei and his colleagues had labored for 6 or 7 years without producing a commendable product or making any market impact. Any investor would likely reconsider their involvement." Zhou Yuqin responded earnestly, "Nanbei, in the realm of drones, I believe Longhun has established a first-mover advantage. Once the product is launched, we must allocate over half of the profits to research and development. Only by continually introducing new products can we propel Longhun forward and maintain our position as a leader." He continued, "My desire to reclaim the shares from the other shareholders stems from my optimism about this industry and the potential for future profit. Additionally, I wish to minimize the presence of extraneous individuals within Longhun to avoid chaotic internal conflicts as the company expands. You need not worry about me contesting your leadership of Longhun. Tomorrow we shall sign an agreement ensuring that regardless of my shareholding in the future, you will retain 100% management rights over the company. I will support all your decisions." Hearing Zhou Yuqin's words, Wei Nanbei felt deeply moved, expressing gratitude, "Brother Chun, thank you for your trust. Rest assured, I will strive to make Tianjiang Drone Company the most formidable entity in the global drone industry." Zhou Yuqin was taken aback. "Tianjiang Drone Company?" Wei Nanbei nodded, "Yes. You previously mentioned on the plane that if you were to invest, the name must change from Longhun to Tianjiang. After returning, I discussed it with the team, and we agreed that Tianjiang indeed sounds far more grand." He added, "Once we sign the agreement tomorrow, I will promptly proceed to the business registration office for the name change." Zhou Yuqin lifted his glass, chuckling, "Let us toast to the future of Tianjiang Drone. Cheers." With Zhou Yuqin's investment of 8 billion and the resolution of the drone flight control chip issue, Wei Nanbei and the others were exhilarated, toasting Zhou Yuqin profusely. Zhou Yuqin accepted every toast, single-handedly ensuring that Wei Nanbei and the others became thoroughly inebriated. Fortunately, Cheng Zhong abstained from alcohol and called the company driver to assist. Otherwise, Zhou Yuqin would have been at a loss regarding how to manage the situation. Although Cheng Zhong's emotional intelligence was not particularly high, he was not foolish. He handled Zhou Yuqin's hotel check-in and escorted him to his room before taking his leave. "Daddy, where have you gone?" As soon as Cheng Zhong departed, Shen Jingyun's call came through, with Xiaoya speaking. Zhou Yuqin glanced at the time. "Sweetheart, it is nearly 11. Why are you still awake? Xiaoya replied, I can't sleep. Daddy, I miss you. Can you tell me a story? Zhou Yuqin's heart melted. Of course. Have your mother put the phone on speaker. I will tell you a story. Okay. Moments later, Xiaoya said, I'm ready for the story. Zhou Yuqin recounted the tale of the Little Mermaid from Andersen's fairy tales. After only 5 minutes, Shen Jingyan picked up the call. This little girl truly cannot be apart from you for even a moment. What? Are you feeling jealous? After I have taken care of her for over 3 years, how can I not feel jealous compared to your mere 4 months? Haha. Then tomorrow afternoon I shall prepare Westlake vinegar fish for you so you can have your fill of jealousy. I appreciate that. How was your day? Was it smooth? It was precisely because it went smoothly that I cannot return. I have arranged for the legal team from Yuechen Game Company to come by tomorrow to finalize the contract with Wei Nanbei. 8 billion for 32% of the shares. If the opportunity arises, I will also acquire the shares from the other shareholders. Your business is truly expanding. I am merely an investor. Wei Nanbei is the core of the future Tianjiang drone. When will you return? I will pick up the little girl tomorrow afternoon. All right. The two conversed like lovers, indulging in half an hour of phone chatter until Zhou Yuqin's phone battery began to dwindle, prompting them to end the call. The following morning, 2 legal representatives from Yuechen Game Company arrived. Zhou Yuqin signed the share transfer agreement for Longhun Drone Company with Wei Nanbei. Brother Chen, I have contacted the other shareholders. They all agree to sell their shares to you at a valuation of 25 billion. Upon hearing Wei Nanbei's words, Zhou Yuqin smiled. It seems they truly view your drone company as a burden. Wei Nanbei smiled wryly and remarked, it's only natural that they can't endure not making any profit for 7 years. Zhou Yuqin inquired, these investors hold 38% of the shares. I can purchase them all. Please have them go to Yuechen Gaming Company this Friday at 10 in the morning, and I will sign the contract with them. Wei Nanbei nodded and replied, all right. After having lunch with the representatives from Longhun Drone Company, Zhou Yuqin visited Zhang Jia at the Longwei Fitness Center to have a brief conversation. From Zhang Jia, he learned that due to a drug trafficking incident, Wu Xiongfei had no choice but to dissolve the transportation company and pivot to a renovation business. However, within less than a week, Wu Xiongfei's subordinates found the renovation work too exhausting and the profits too meager, leading them to leave in droves, leaving only 6 or 7 associates. Although Wu Xiongfei was extremely frustrated, he had liberated himself from the underworld. Zhou Yuqin considered this a fortuitous turn of events for Wu Xiongfei. In reality, Wu Xiongfei's transportation company was not beyond saving. Once Zhou Yuqin's mobile phone battery entered mass production, there would undoubtedly be a substantial demand for transportation vehicles. However, Wu Xiongfei's subordinates were somewhat entrenched in their underworld ways, making Zhou Yuqin wary of employing them. Should any issues arise, it would pose significant complications. After bidding farewell to Zhang Jia, Zhou Yuqin drove back to Yanhai, arriving promptly to pick up Xiaoya from her classroom. Dad, could you please let me know before you go on a business trip? When I can't see you, I start to miss you, Xiaoya. Carrying her little backpack and holding Zhou Yuqin's hand as they strolled through the campus, expressed her discontent. Zhou Yuqin nodded and assured her, I promise, my dear Xiaoya, that I will inform you before any future business trips. Xiaoya then added, shouldn't you express some apology for what happened yesterday? Zhou Yuqin chuckled and asked, ice cream? Xiaoya's eyes sparkled as she vigorously nodded her head. Zhou Yuqin declared, all right, today we shall indulge in ice cream. Yay! Xiaoya exclaimed, jumping with joy, her eyes brimming with delight. Chapter 235, Threats from Hello Gaming Company. At Hello Gaming Company, Wang Yaoding gazed at the vice head of the RD department, Qinji, seated before him, and said, Qinji, I can understand when others choose to leave, but your departure baffles me. Qinji replied coolly, I have been with the company for 6 years, with vacation days averaging less than half a month each year, and working overtime has become the norm. I can no longer endure this work model. Wang Yaoding countered, are you aware that I have already applied to the headquarters for your promotion to head? To succeed Fang Qingxian in managing the RD department? Qinji smiled wryly and remarked, President Wang, let us not jest. I have connections in the Human Resources Department at Hello Group. Wang Yaoding was taken aback by Qinji's unexpected backing at headquarters. A hint of embarrassment creeping onto his face as he said, Qinji, I assure you, if you choose to stay, I will promote you to supervisor within 2 years. Conversely, if you insist on joining Yuechen Gaming Company, your resignation letter may not be well received. With tensions escalating, Qinji no longer held back. He retrieved a stack of documents from his bag and placed them on Wang Yaoding's desk, stating, this is evidence of our overtime work over the years. President Wang, I am officially notifying you on behalf of all the brothers who wish to leave Hello Gaming Company that we expect the relevant procedures to be processed within 48 hours. Otherwise, we will take legal action against Hello Gaming Company for violating labor laws, seeking compensation ranging from 300,000 to 1 million for each of us. Wang Yaoding was taken aback, feeling both alarmed and enraged. He picked up several documents, slammed them on the table, and exclaimed, "Qinji, do you realize what you are doing?" Qinji replied with a cold smirk, "I am fully aware, President Wang. I believe a peaceful resolution would benefit us both. Should this escalate to a court case, I assure you that Hello Gaming Company will become a laughingstock in the gaming industry." Wang Yaoding's face flushed with anger as he retorted, "The legal department at Hello Communications is not to be trifled with. Then let us meet in court," Qinji said as he grabbed his briefcase and turned to leave. Just as he reached the door, he paused, looked back at Wang Yaoding, and declared, "President Wang, let me leave you with this final thought. Hello Gaming Company owes us an apology, not the other way around." With that, Qinji opened the door and strode out confidently. Damn it! Wang Yaoding smashed his beloved cup to pieces in frustration. Half an hour later, he arrived at the office of Ma Xinqing, the president of Hello Communications, with the overtime documentation from Qinji and the others in hand. Ma Xinqing, a tall and refined gentleman of 42, was a prominent figure in the business world, having captivated countless admirers. Wang Yaoding presented the materials to Ma Xinqing and remained standing silently. Before taking over Hello Gaming Company, he had guaranteed Ma Xinqing that he would achieve significant results in the mobile gaming sector within a year. To his dismay, the departure of Core RD personnel occurred almost immediately upon his appointment, providing him with an excellent excuse to deflect blame. After reviewing the documents, Ma Xinqing furrowed his brow and inquired, "Have you contacted Zhou Yuqin?" Wang Yaoding replied, "I have reached out to him." He did not budge and his attitude was quite hostile. Ma Xinqing pointed to the overtime documents and remarked, "This should be his handiwork." Wang Yaoding added, "President Ma, I have consulted with our legal team. If this goes to court, our chances of winning are less than 10%. Ma Xinqing said calmly, "This is not merely a matter of winning or losing a lawsuit. It concerns our reputation and influence. Hello Gaming Company cannot afford such a loss. Going to court against loyal employees, regardless of the outcome, would ultimately reflect poorly on them. The last thing Ma Xinqing could permit was for Hello Gaming Company to become a laughingstock in the industry." Wang Yaoding sighed and admitted, "President Ma, this is my fault. I should not have let Fang Qingxian go." Ma Xinqing waved his hand dismissively and said, "Some things are beyond our control. Yaoding, proceed with their resignation procedures without any underhanded tactics. Let us part ways amicably. I will ensure that the Human Resources Department quickly provides you with replacements." Wang Yaoding nodded and replied, "Understood. President Ma, Yueqing Gaming Company is being rather excessive. Should we not show them a little retaliation?" Ma Xinqing shot him a sidelong glance and stated, "Success in business relies on integrity and strength. Underhanded tactics can never endure. Simply focus on your responsibilities. And do not concern yourself with Yueqing Gaming Company's affairs." "Yes, President Ma," Wang Yaoding responded obediently as he exited Ma Xinqing's office. Ma Xinqing took out his phone and dialed a number, uttering only, "Investigate Zhou Yuqin, the president of Yueqing Gaming Company," before hanging up. Within half an hour, Ma Xinqing received a comprehensive dossier on Zhou Yuqin, the future son-in-law of Shen Qinggang. Ma Xinqing's brow furrowed in contemplation. After receiving Ma Xinqing's directive, Wang Yaoding promptly notified the Human Resources Department to arrange for the resignation of over 70 programmers the following morning. For Wang Yaoding, seeing these individuals depart was a welcome opportunity, as new recruits would be easier to manage than these seasoned veterans. Zheng Tong soon received the news and immediately called Zhou Yuqin. "Brother Chun, Hello Gaming Company is releasing people tomorrow morning." Zhou Yuqin, who was enjoying his lunch, felt elated upon hearing Zheng Tong's words and replied, "It seems that Hello Gaming Company places great importance on its reputation." Zheng Tong chuckled, "Your strategy is indeed effective. Suing your own employees who wish to resign, regardless of the outcome, means that Hello Gaming Company is destined to lose." Zhou Yuqin remarked, "However, this has certainly put us at odds with Hello Communications, a behemoth in the telecommunications sector." Zheng Tong responded, "Brother Chun, our industry is distinct from others. The popularity of games is the sole metric by which major gaming companies are measured. While Hello Communications is indeed formidable, its threat to us is relatively minimal." Zhou Yuqin smiled and said, "I understand. Old Zheng, please notify the HR department to process their onboarding applications tomorrow afternoon. Let's gather for dinner at the Longhu Grand Hotel on Saturday night." Zheng Tong replied affirmatively, "Understood, Brother Chun." The next morning at 10 o'clock, a group of programmers led by Chun Ji departed from Hello Games with their resignation letters and proceeded directly to Yueqing Games. Zheng Tong personally accompanied them to a meal at a restaurant where they completed their onboarding formalities. They were a seasoned group of game developers, and the HR department waived the probationary period, officially making them employees of Yueqing Games. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the company and instructed Zheng Tong to summon Fang Qingxian, Qinji, and 4 other core members into the conference room, utilizing a loyalty detection skill. Zhou Yuqin surveyed the group and felt quite satisfied. Chapter 236, A Bright Future. Fang Qingxian's loyalty exceeded 70%, while the others hovered around 60%. This indicated that none of them were spies sent by Hello Games. Zhou Yuqin smiled and addressed them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yueqin Games. Applause erupted from the crowd. Zhou Yuqin gestured for silence, saying, there is no need for such formality. Yueqin Games is a small company that has been operating for just over 3 months, with only 3 casual games under its belt. Although we have achieved commendable results, sustainability remains a concern. Without Leisure Match, we would likely be facing dire circumstances next month. Fang Qingxian chuckled. President Zhou, your Leisure Match is equivalent to 3 or 4 major online games outside. The others nodded in agreement, resonating with his sentiment. In the past week, Leisure Match had generated a net profit ranging from 12 to 15 million daily, accumulating around 400 million monthly. Such profitability surpassed 99% of game companies. Zhou Yuqin remarked, although old Fang's statement may seem somewhat flattering, I find it quite pleasing. Laughter filled the room. Zhou Yuqin continued, to address our issues with game sustainability. We are currently developing 3 titles, Honor of Kings, Plants vs. Zombies, and Temple Escape. Among these, Temple Escape will be a pure mobile game, while Plants vs. Zombies will launch simultaneously on both mobile and PC platforms. Honor of Kings is a large-scale online game currently in development for PC, with plans for a mobile version once 4G networks become widespread. I share this to convey that Yueqin Games is not a stagnant company. Given 3 years, achieving or even surpassing the profits of Hello Games will be well within reach. Unlike many, I am not a miser. Should our games succeed, your bonuses will multiply exponentially. Once the company is on solid footing, I may even allocate a portion of equity as a reward for everyone. Hence, your decision to join Yueqin Games was entirely correct. Applause and cheers resounded once more. Zhou Yuqin produced the completed game plan for Elite Warfare and distributed copies to each member, stating, this will be our 7th game. Titled Elite Warfare, like Honor of Kings, it will first launch on PC, with a mobile version to follow when the timing is right. I hold high expectations for both Honor of Kings and Elite Warfare. If they become hits, these 2 titles alone could sustain the company for the next decade. Old Fang, I entrust Elite Warfare to your oversight. Fang Qingxian solemnly responded, not a problem. Zhou Yuqin instructed, please take the time to study this thoroughly, and we will reconvene for discussion on Monday afternoon. By the way, this planning document is of utmost importance. It must be safeguarded and not disclosed to anyone. In unison, they acknowledged, understood. On Friday, at 10 o'clock in the morning, Wei Nanbei arrived at Yueqin Games accompanied by 6 shareholder representatives from Longhu Drone Company. Zhou Yuqin signed a share transfer agreement, purchasing 38% of the shares for 950 million. Consequently, he secured 70% ownership of Longhu Drone Company, becoming the de facto major shareholder. After signing the contract, the all-encompassing cultivation system immediately issued him a task. System task, please develop various models of the Longhu, Tianjiang, drone to assist Longhu, Tianjiang, drone company in becoming the dominant force in the drone industry in Xia country, rewarding the player with 100 attribute points and 1 lottery chance. System task, please develop various models of the Longhu, Tianjiang, drone to assist Longhu, Tianjiang, drone company in becoming the global leader in the drone industry, rewarding the player with 500 attribute points and 3 lottery chances. Zhou Yuqin noted that this task mirrored that of the Kunpeng smartphone battery, with identical rewards. Brother Cheng Zhong and the team have already begun developing the chips based on your proposals. As soon as the simulations are successful, we will seek suitable manufacturers. Wei Nanbei informed Zhou Yuqin during lunch. Zhou Yuqin inquired, are there any domestic chip companies that can meet our requirements? Wei Nanbei paused, replying, are you suggesting we find a domestic chip company for manufacturing? Zhou Yuqin nodded, stating, it's preferable for the flight control chips to be produced domestically. Other chips are less critical. Wei Nanbei smiled wryly, saying, Brother Chun, domestic chip companies can only manage up to 90 nanometers, and the yield rates are not high. Zhou Yuqin frowned. While foreign companies have successfully produced 24 nanometers chips, we can't even manage 48 nanometers chips. The disparity is indeed vast. Wei Nanbei added, the future gap may widen further. I've heard that the 3rd generation Orange smartphone will utilize 24 nanometers chips, indicating that 24 nanometers chips are already in mass production. Additionally, Lock Communications Group has made groundbreaking progress in 14 nanometers chip development. Within 2 years, 14 nanometers chips are likely to be mass-produced. Zhou Yuqin lamented, the development and manufacture of domestic chips remain a daunting task. In my previous life, Xia country suffered greatly in the chip sector, and to find ourselves still so far behind in this world is disheartening. A sense of urgency arose within Zhou Yuchen. Previously, he had seen a book in the system marketplace titled The Development of Lithography Machines, detailing both 14 nanometers and 28 nanometers lithography machines, albeit at a steep price of 8,000 attribute points, equivalent to 80,000 popularity points. Zhou Yuchen realized he would need to perform at least 80 songs to potentially exchange for this book. Given the current situation, even if he managed to obtain the book, whether it could lead to successful manufacturing in reality remained uncertain. Nevertheless, Zhou Yuchen felt that once he amassed sufficient funds, he would certainly pursue it. Wei Nanbei asked, "Brother Chun, when can you visit the chip development lab? Cheng Zhong and the team greatly need your guidance." Zhou Yuchen contemplated. Twice a week should suffice, with the schedule determined by their development progress. Wei Nanbei nodded in agreement. All right. That evening, all personnel from Yuechen Games gathered at Longhu Grand Hotel. The atmosphere was charged with excitement, as everyone clinked glasses and exchanged toasts. As the leader of the company, Zhou Yuchen once again became the center of attention for the toasts. He graciously accepted every drink, and after consuming 4 he displayed his masterful acting skills, getting tipsily escorted home by his driver. Chapter 237. The provocation of the music diva. Darling, you can't possibly be drunk, can you? Shen Jingyun asked, offering him a glass of honey water. Zhou Yuchen opened his eyes and chuckled. How could that be? Shen Jingyun handed him the honey water, remarking, your acting skills are getting better and better. After drinking the honey water, Zhou Yuchen stood up and replied, what can I say? In this world, one is often compelled by circumstances. I have a class reunion tomorrow night. Will you accompany me? Shen Jingyun inquired. Without hesitation, Zhou Yuchen affirmed. Even if I have no time, I must make some. Shen Jingyun, puzzled, asked why. He replied, as the saying goes, a class reunion can break up several couples. What if someone tries to take you away? Shen Jingyun laughed and said, I'm not that easily taken. Zhou Yuchen wrapped his arms around her slender waist, saying, it's mainly because you are too beautiful. I can't help but worry. Shen Jingyun pinched her nose and said, could you at least take a shower first? You're starting to smell. Zhou Yuchen made an okay gesture and replied, I'll be right back. After showering and brushing his teeth, he emerged from the bathroom, intending to be affectionate with Shen Jingyun, only to find her cuddling their child asleep, disappointment flickering across his face. Entering his study, Zhou Yuchen opened his computer and accessed one of the 3 major music platforms, T-Online Music. With the explosive success of The Mouse Loves the Rice, 3 Butterflies, and Lilac, Zhou Yuchen had become one of the most renowned online singers, garnering countless fans and causing quite a stir in the music industry. Upon glancing at the comments, he found lively discussions, mostly defending him. It turned out that just yesterday, the music diva Wen Shulan, during an interview, had openly criticized Zhou Yuchen's 3 online songs, claiming their melodies were simplistic, lyrics trite, lacking any artistic merit and detrimental to the development of music. Zhou Yuchen's fans were outraged and flocked to Wen Shulan's social media to demand an apology for her inappropriate remarks. Naturally, Wen Shulan's fans would not comply, resulting in a fierce verbal battle between the 2 factions. Zhou Yuchen had been exceedingly busy and was oblivious to this conflict until he prepared to record a song the next day. He was somewhat taken aback by Wen Shulan's blatant provocation. As the saying goes, rivals are often found among peers. Although he and Wen Shulan could be considered rivals, his songs were offered for free and posed no threat to other artists. Hence he found it perplexing that she would target him. It wasn't until he noticed that his Lilac topped the free download charts, with Wen Shulan's song from her album in 2nd place, that he understood her motives. In light of his rising popularity, Zhou Yuchen deemed it necessary to respond. Thus, he pinned a post in his comment section, announcing that his songs would soon transition to a paid model, with each download costing 0.1 yuan, and all proceeds would go to the Red Cross Society of Xia Country. The next song would be a Xia Country-style piece titled Unrelated to Wind and Moon, and he encouraged everyone to anticipate it. Unrelated to Wind and Moon was a representative work of his favorite artist from his previous life. Known for its exquisite lyrics and melodious tune, a classic in the Xia Country style. Given that this world lacked such a genre, Zhou Yuchen intended to pioneer a new musical style and expand his influence to garner greater popularity. His decision to donate all song earnings to the Red Cross was a well-considered choice. He wished to see if engaging in charity could enhance his popularity. The comment section soon buzzed with excitement. Wow, Master Wujia has finally emerged. All the hard-earned songs are dedicated to charity. Master Wujia is simply amazing. I bet Master Wujia is a millionaire. Regardless of his wealth, his willingness to donate surpassed that of over 99% of singers, including Wen Shulan. Excuse me, what is Xia Country-style music? I've never heard of that term before. Is it a new genre created by Master Wujia? I feel like Master Wujia is about to unleash something big. Clearly, this was a rebuttal to the professional singers. Strong support from Master Wujia. After deciding to charge for his music, Zhou Yuqin promptly applied to the 3 major platforms. He used the name Wujia, fabricated an ID number, and utilized the bank account of the Xia Country Red Cross. Zhou Yuqin was confident that the 3 platforms would not be foolish enough to reject his application. Indeed, upon seeing the account linked to the Red Cross, all 3 platforms approved his request and announced the news online. Fans lauded their idol's decision, flocking to Wen Shulan's social media to demand she also donate her funds to the Red Cross. Naturally, when Shulan would not agree and retreated, her fans also silenced, no longer attacking Wujia. With the charity initiative in place, any further criticism would only make them appear foolish. Xia Country-style music required a wide array of instruments and intricate arrangements. Zhou Yuqin spent an entire night finalizing the arrangement for Unrelated to Wind and Moon. "Honey, are you feeling unwell?" Shen Jingyun entered the kitchen, noticing Zhou Yuqin's pallor, her concern evident. Zhou Yuqin placed a burger on a plate and casually remarked, "I forgot to sleep last night." Shen Jingyun paused, then laughed. "You can even forget to sleep. I'm quite impressed. How about this? After little Yaya wakes up and has breakfast, I'll take her to my parents' house, and you can rest at home. We can go to the hotel for the banquet together in the afternoon." Zhou Yuqin waved his hand, saying, "No need to worry about me. Ever since I started practicing Tai Chi visualization, my energy levels have been exceptionally high. Even going without sleep for 2 or 3 days hardly affects me. However, I do have something to attend to today." "Then you handle your business," Shen Jingyun replied. After breakfast, Zhou Yuqin took his arrangement and headed straight to the recording studio. In just an hour, he recorded Unrelated to Wind and Moon and uploaded it to the 3 major music platforms. The editors of the platforms, after listening to the piece, were astounded and promptly approved it. T-Online Music was the quickest to react, featuring Unrelated to Wind and Moon prominently. With the tagline, "Master Wujia presents the groundbreaking Xia Country style Unrelated to Wind and Moon." The other 2 platforms followed suit, granting Unrelated to Wind and Moon prime recommendation spots. Chapter 238. The new song explodes. The popularity of a song by a singer is measured solely by one standard: download volume. An account can listen to a song once, and if the listeners find it appealing, they will spend money to download it. Generally, a song's listening volume to download volume ratio reaching 10:1 signifies an outstanding achievement. After the release of Irrelevant Romance, it took merely 3 hours for the number of listens to surpass 1 million, while downloads surged past 500,000, achieving a staggering ratio of 2:1. The comments section overflowed with praise. As for Master Wuji's Irrelevant Romance, I can only express my admiration with 3 words: exceptionally remarkable. With this release, the realm of music seems to have reached a zenith. Master Wuji pays homage to the unparalleled Lantinggi Su. Are the lyrics of Irrelevant Romance mere lyrics? No, they are akin to a classical poem. Each line is imbued with poetic charm, and every melody resonates with an ancient elegance, epitomizing the essence of the Summer Kingdom style. In terms of artistic achievement, no other song can compare to Irrelevant Romance. Master Wuji is truly extraordinary. He has indeed pioneered a new genre. Within 3 hours, over 500,000 downloads is nothing short of astonishing. I wholeheartedly recommend Master Wuji's Irrelevant Romance. Countless fans have taken to the internet, fervently promoting the song, elevating its popularity to the front pages of major media outlets. Some musicians, unable to remain indifferent, have analyzed the song's melody and lyrics, ultimately bestowing high acclaim upon it, further igniting its fame. After releasing the song, Zhou Yuqin proceeded to the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing plant. The factory was undergoing a costly renovation, with expenses alone reaching 5 million, a hefty sum indeed. However, in comparison to the over 100 million dedicated to research and development, this amount seemed trivial. At the Nanjing Group's Yinhai branch, Zheng Shui stood before a vast floor-to-ceiling window, gazing down at the pedestrians and vehicles below, reminiscent of tiny ants. A surge of ambition stirred within him. At merely 25, having ascended to the position of general manager at the Yunhai branch, Zheng Shui epitomized youthful talent, undoubtedly positioned at the apex of his peer group. Despite having attained his current status through serving Chu Xian, he believed that a hero's origins are inconsequential. The future achievements are what truly matter. Much like Han Xian, who endured humiliation only to become a great general, he would ultimately be celebrated for his perseverance rather than derided for his past. Suddenly, the figure of Shen Jingyun appeared before Zheng Shui. As the most beautiful woman he had ever encountered, Zheng Shui harbored an intense obsession for her. Yet, in the past, he had reluctantly let her go for the sake of his future, becoming Chu Xian's consort. Now that his relationship with Chu Xian had definitively ended, Zheng Shui contemplated how to win Shen Jingyun back. However, Zhou Yuqin stood as his greatest obstacle. Knowing that both Shen Jingyun and Zhou Yuqin would attend the afternoon class reunion, Zheng Shui devised a brilliant plan to humiliate Zhou Yuqin in front of everyone. perhaps even driving Shin Jingyun away from him entirely. Hello, Boss Su, are you prepared on your end? Rest assured, everything is ready. We may need to negotiate the price a bit further. Zheng Shuai frowned. What do you mean? Mr. Zheng, we are looking for a stunning model with an exceptional figure. Her appearance fee has exceeded our estimates. Of course, we could find someone less impressive at the same price. That won't do. The woman must possess sufficient beauty, otherwise, we cannot gain the trust of others. How much do you need? Name your price. 500,000. If it will achieve my goal, I can offer you 600,000. Mr. Zheng, you are quite generous, rest assured. After ending the call, a radiant smile illuminated Zheng Shuai's face. At 5 o'clock that afternoon, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the government housing complex to pick up Shin Jingyun for the reunion. When Shin Jingyun emerged from the building, Zhou Yuqin was utterly captivated. Today, she was breathtakingly beautiful, adorned in a fitted red dress that reached her calves, certainly conservative. However, Shin Jingyun's figure was exquisite, forming a perfect S-curve that showcased her physique flawlessly. Her long, flowing black hair cascaded over her fair shoulders, and beneath her elegantly arched brows lay a pair of eyes reminiscent of autumn's blooming lotus, brimming with charm. Around her neck hung a sapphire necklace purchased from Hong Kong, its diamonds sparkling brilliantly in the sunlight, exuding a classic and graceful beauty. She wore crystal sandals, each step embodying a sense of graceful allure. The exquisite blend of nobility and seductive charm perfectly melded within Shin Jingyun, leaving Zhou Yuqin utterly entranced by her unparalleled beauty. Only when Shin Jingyun entered the car did Zhou Yuqin regain his composure and sincerely remarked, "Darling, you should change your outfit." Shin Jingyun paused, glanced down at her dress, and inquired, "What's wrong?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "This dress is too stunning. Even I, who am with you daily, find it hard to bear." Shin Jingyun chuckled. "Are you trying to flatter me?" Zhou Yuqin shook his head. "I am merely speaking the truth." Shin Jingyun responded with a smile. "All right, enough teasing. The reunion is set for 6:30, we must hurry." Zhou Yuqin gave an okay sign, started the car, and headed towards the Shangri-La Hotel. At the Shangri-La Hotel, a robust and handsome young man in his 20s stood at the entrance, chatting amiably with Zheng Shuai. This young man, Fan Sheng, was Shin Jingyun's class president during her university years and had organized the reunion. Zheng Shuai, also a finance major, was a level above Fan Sheng and Shin Jingyun. During a previous social gathering, Zheng Shuai had met Fan Sheng, establishing a connection. He learned from Fan Sheng that Shin Jingyun would be bringing Zhou Yuqin to the reunion. "Fan Sheng, do you remember Shin Jingyun? Our school's belle. How could I forget? Almost every boy in our class, myself included, wished to pursue her, yet none succeeded. Why you ended up with her? You were the public enemy of our class. Have you not seen her in recent years?" "No, she never attended any class reunions. It's quite surprising that she is bringing her boyfriend this time." As he spoke, Fan Sheng glanced at Zheng Shuai. "Mr. Zheng, you must be attending the reunion for Shin Jingyun, right?" Zheng Shuai, ever straightforward, admitted, "Indeed. I have always loved her." Chapter 239. Confronting Zheng Shuai just as Fan Sheng was about to respond, two graceful women approached, hand in hand. "Fan Sheng, it's been a year. Why do I feel like you've gained weight?" One of the women smiled. Fan Sheng replied helplessly, "Zhao Yaqing, why bring that up?" The two girls, Zhao Yaqing and Chu Linger, were both beauties from Qinjiang University's finance program. Unfortunately, aside from the captivating Shin Jingyun, the others seemed rather ordinary. Chu Linger asked, "Fan Sheng, where's your girlfriend?" "She's inside. 12 or 13 classmates have already arrived. You two are the latecomers." Chu Linger inquired, "How many people are expected this afternoon?" Fan Xingdao, with 22 classmates and their families, there are a total of 34 individuals. Chu Linger, did you not mention bringing your boyfriend along? Chu Linger shrugged and replied, "My husband is the vice president of Hungli Trading Company. He is currently in a meeting and may be late." Hungli Trading Company is the largest import and export firm in Yunhai, specializing in cross-border trade and retail wholesale, with a reach extending across the Americas, Europe, Australia, and Southeast Asia, boasting an annual revenue exceeding 4 billion. Chu Linger's boyfriend holding such a significant position in such a prestigious company certainly suggests a remarkable background. Fan Xingdao, "Zhao Yaqing, what about you? Still no boyfriend?" Zhao Yaqing gently tucked her hair behind her ear and replied with a hint of pride, "I prefer quality over quantity." Fan Sheng smiled. "At least half of our female classmates have boyfriends, and you remain single." Zhao Yaqing retorted, "Being single has its merits. I would never rush to commit like Jingyun did." Fan Sheng was taken aback and asked, "What's wrong with Shin Jingyun?" Zhao Yaqing responded, "I heard her daughter is already over 3 years old. Is that true?" Fan Sheng exclaimed, turning to Zheng Shuai. Zheng Shuai nodded, affirming, "She indeed has a daughter." It was only then that Zhao Yaqing and Chu Linger turned their attention to Zheng Shuai. Chu Linger felt that Zheng Shuai looked somewhat familiar, but could not place him at that moment. Zhao Yaqing, being Shun Jingyun's roommate and a close friend, had recognized Zheng Shuai long ago but pretended not to know him. It was Zhao Yaqing who had initially informed Shen Jingyun about Zheng Shuai's infidelity with an overweight woman. Fan Xing commented, I didn't expect Shen Jingyun to be in such a hurry. Oh, is that Jingyun? Zhao Yaqing suddenly pointed ahead. Fan Sheng, Zheng Shuai. And Chu Linger immediately turned to look, spotting a stunning beauty in a red gown, linking arms with a man, laughing and walking towards them. Chu Linger confirmed, that's her for sure. Fan Sheng marveled, truly, she is the belle of our school. Even after having a daughter over 3 years ago, she remains exceptionally beautiful. Zheng Shuai stared at Shen Jingyun, his eyes filled with infatuation, completely ignoring Zhou Yuqing beside him. Jingyun, I've missed you so much. Zhao Yaqing hurried forward, arms wide open, to greet Shen Jingyun. Yaqing, it's been a long time. Shen Jingyun smiled brightly as they embraced. Let me take a good look at you. Zhao Yaqing released Shen Jingyun and examined her from head to toe, exclaiming, my goodness, darling, how do you seem even more beautiful than before? Shen Jingyun smiled. I am a mother now. How can I still be considered beautiful? Zhao Yaqing turned to Zhou Yuqing and asked, is this your boyfriend? Shen Jingyun nodded. Yes, this is my husband, Zhou Yuqing. Honey, this is Zhao Yaqing, my classmate and close friend. Zhou Yuqing greeted her with a smile. Hello. Zhao Yaqing returned the smile and whispered to Shen Jingyun, does he mind that you have a daughter? Shen Jingyun laughed. He is the biological father of my daughter. Why would he mind? Zhao Yaqing's mouth fell open. If that's the case, why haven't you two gotten married yet? Shen Jingyun replied, there's no rush. Yaqing, have you finished your conversation? There are still several people here. Chu Linger stepped forward, slightly annoyed. Zhao Yaqing pointed at Chu Linger. Jingyun, do you remember her? Shen Jingyun answered without hesitation. Linger. Chu Linger joyfully exclaimed, I knew you would remember me. After all, I am the only one at Qingjiang University who dares to compete with your beauty. Zhao Yaqing chided. Linger, how can you say such a thing? Chu Linger rolled her eyes. I have every right to say it. The three women chatted for a while before Fan Sheng and Zheng Shuai approached. Shen Jingyun greeted Fan Sheng, but did not even glance at Zheng Shuai. Had she known Zheng Shuai would shamelessly attend their class reunion, she likely would not have come. Zheng Shuai felt embarrassed and somewhat angry, saying, Mr. Zhou, you previously mentioned developing a high-capacity phone battery and the world's fastest charging technology within 3 months. I wonder how that is progressing. Upon hearing Zheng Shuai's words, Fan Sheng, Zhao Yaqing, and Chu Linger all turned to Zhou Yuqing. Zhou Yuqing replied calmly, we are nearing mass production. Zheng Shuai chuckled, teasing, are you dreaming? Zhou Yuqing, showing no regard for Zheng Shuai, bluntly stated, Zheng Shuai, you are merely a pet of Miss Chu Xin from Nanming Group. You should recognize your own place and refrain from prying into matters that do not concern you. Zheng Shuai reacted as if Zhou Yuqing had tread on his tail, furiously retorting, you are talking nonsense. Zhou Yuqing scoffed, in the mobile communications industry. Who doesn't know you became the manager of the Yunhai branch of Nanming Group solely by catering to Miss Chu? Zheng Shuai. Remember this. No matter how high you rise in the future, it won't change the fact that you were a kept man for years. You've brought shame upon us men, yet you dare to brazenly attend a class reunion for my wife's class. Your audacity is astounding. It seemed a confrontation was brewing. Fan Sheng sensed the tension and quickly intervened. Mr. Zhou, do you and Zheng Shuai have some misunderstanding? Zhou Yuqing replied, there is no misunderstanding. While my words may be harsh, they are the truth. Zheng Shuai was nearly choking with rage, gritting his teeth as he said, Zhou Yuqing, what about you? If Shen Jingyun's father were not a government official, would you be where you are today? Zhou Yuqing answered, firstly, my wife's name is not something a man like you should utter. Secondly, my wife does not need to rely on family background to deserve anyone. And thirdly, in business, I have never sought assistance from my future father-in-law. The reason is simple, our fields do not align. Not everyone's success relies on bedroom skills like yours. Chapter 240, The Unrest at the Gathering. Zhao Yaqing and Chu Linger could no longer contain their laughter and burst out. Zhou Yuqing was genuinely sharp-tongued. However, from their conversation, it seemed he was indeed a successful individual. As for Shen Jingyun, her family background also appeared impressive. Zhao Yaqing quietly inquired, Jingyun, what does your boyfriend do? Shen Jingyun replied, he is an entrepreneur, running a gaming company and a mobile battery manufacturing plant. Chu Linger asked, and what about your father? Is he really a government official? Throughout their years of acquaintance, Shen Jingyun had never mentioned her family. Shen Jingyun replied, my father works in the government, just like me. Her answer felt both revealing and evasive, piquing Chu Linger's interest. The verbal sparring between Zhou Yuqing and Zheng Shuai was interrupted by other classmates arriving. Fan Sheng sighed with relief, regretting inviting Zheng Shuai to the reunion for the first time. However, considering his high position at Nanming Group, Fan Sheng felt justified in his decision. Both male and female classmates were delighted by Shun Jingyun's presence, and no embarrassing incidents typical of online novels occurred. Upon entering the private room, greetings were exchanged once more. Zhou Yuqing, feeling out of place among unfamiliar faces, settled down to enjoy some sunflower seeds. In contrast, Zheng Xuei proved adept at socializing, quickly integrating himself with the others. Especially after learning about Zheng Xuei's identity, everyone regarded him with heightened respect. Brother Chun, what brings you here? A familiar voice reached Zhou Yuqing's ears. Turning to look, he was surprised to see Zhou Yu, holding the hand of a young woman who could only be his girlfriend. I came with my girlfriend to attend her class reunion. You're not here for the same reason, are you? Zhou Yu nodded and said, yes. This is my fiancée, Xiao Rou. Dear, this is my boss, Zhou Yuqing. Xiao Rou had an ordinary appearance but exuded a generous demeanor, saying, Mr. Zhou, thank you very much for your generosity. Zhou Yuqing looked puzzled and replied, I don't quite understand what you mean. Xiao Rou explained, if it weren't for the reward you gave Zhou Yu, we would probably need 3 to 4 more years to buy a house. Zhou Yuqing suddenly understood, saying, that is what he deserves. Xiao Rou then inquired, Mr. Zhou, who is your girlfriend? Zhou Yuqing replied, she is the most beautiful one. Xiao Rou glanced over, immediately identifying Shun Jingyun, and exclaimed, our campus beauty, Shun? Zhou Yuqing nodded, affirming, indeed. Xiao Rou smiled, Mr. Zhou is quite fortunate. In contrast to the lively Zhou Yu, Xiao Rou appeared significantly more composed, speaking with great eloquence. After a while, Shun Jingyun approached them. Upon learning that Zhou Yu was from the Yueqin Game Company, Shun Jingyun smiled and said, what a coincidence. Dear, Xiao Rou is also my roommate. Zhou Yuqing responded, is that so? That is indeed quite a coincidence. Xiao Rou added, Jingyun, you must help me persuade your husband to give Zhou Yu a bit more bonus. We are currently burdened with over 2 million in loans. Shun Jingyun lightly swatted her hand, saying, don't say such things. I might not necessarily marry him. Xiao Rou laughed, with a catch like Mr. Zhou. If you let him go, countless young women will flock to him, and by then, you would regret it. Shun Jingyun replied, at that point, who will regret it is still uncertain. Xiao Rou gave her a thumbs up, so confident. Zhou Yuqing could tell that Shun Jingyun shared a strong bond with her classmates. Despite having graduated over 4 years ago, their reunion felt like a return to their university days, filled with animated conversation. The private room had 2 large tables, each accommodating 20 people. Shun Jingyun led Zhou Yuqing to the table on the right, avoiding Zheng Xuei. During the meal, Zhao Yaqing couldn't help but ask, Jingyun, does your partner know Zheng Xuei? Why do they seem like enemies upon meeting? Should I explain your past to him, so he doesn't hold a grudge? Shun Jingyun shook her head. I've already clarified everything with my husband. Our disdain for Zheng Xuei stems from his questionable character. Zhao Yaqing was taken aback. What happened? Shun Jingyun recounted how Zheng Xuei had attempted to sabotage her relationship with Zhou Yuqing, and Zhao Yaqing's brows furrowed in anger. This person is utterly shameless. Shun Jingyun smiled. You know his true nature. Zhao Yaqing nodded. Your husband is right. Zheng Xuei has sacrificed his dignity for money, willingly becoming someone else's toy boy. Truly a disgrace to men. At that moment, the door to the private room was suddenly kicked open. 7 or 8 muscular men surrounded a stunningly beautiful woman with long legs who entered. A smile crept across Zheng Xuei's face. As the organizer, Fan Xing stood up and asked, what do you want? Have you come to the wrong place? The leading man, around 35 or 36, wearing a white tank top with dragons tattooed on his muscular arms, looked imposing. We are here to find someone. Who is Zhou Yuqing? Zhou Yuqing was momentarily stunned and stood up, saying, I am. The man scrutinized him and pointed at the long-legged beauty, saying, this is my sister, Xian Wanru. You should be quite familiar with her. Zhou Yuqing glanced at the woman and replied coolly, I do not know her. You're lying. Xian Wanru, with tears in her eyes, retorted, I've been with you for 2 years, and I'm carrying your child, yet you say you don't know me. Zhou Yuqing, you are truly a scoundrel. This statement caused an uproar in the private room. What? Is this really happening? Eating from the bowl while watching the pot. Men are indeed no good. With a goddess like Jing Yun as a girlfriend, he still seeks affairs outside. What a scoundrel. All eyes turned to Zhou Yuqing. However, he remained calm, picked up his phone, pressed the recording button, and said, your name is Xian Wanru, correct? Xian Wanru, tears streaming down her face, replied, darling, you usually call me Wanru. Zhou Yuqing stated matter-of-factly, Miss Xian, before you slander me, I must clarify 2 things. First, I am recording this entire conversation, and every word we say will serve as evidence in the future court proceedings regarding this defamation case. Under the law, fabricating facts to defame others can lead to imprisonment for up to 3 years if the circumstances are severe. Second, regardless of who sent you, if you leave now, I can pretend this never happened. If you continue to defame me in front of everyone, I will call the police immediately. Tonight. I can accompany you to the police station. Ms. Xian, choose wisely. Leave or go to the police station. Chapter 241, Flaws About. Zhou Yuqing's reversal of roles and composed response earned him silent admiration from everyone present. Those who initially regarded Zhou Yuqing as a scoundrel began to change their opinions. After all, who would dare to confront the police and court without confidence? Xian Wanru appeared flustered, glancing anxiously at the tattooed man. The tattooed man barked, Zhou Yuqing. How dare you act tough? What kind of man are you? Zhou Yuqing ignored the tattooed man completely. He had sensed Xian Wanru's fear, so he raised his phone, shaking it slightly, and said, Ms. Xian, you need not look to others. If the defamation charge stands, they can easily claim they were misled by you to confront me, and you will be the one imprisoned. You are quite beautiful. There should be many suitors after you. I believe it is unnecessary to risk imprisonment over a little money. Seeing the situation deteriorate, the tattooed man quickly advised Xian Wanru, Sister, don't be afraid. Just explain your relationship with him, and let everyone judge. I still don't believe this scoundrel would dare confront us at the police station. Xian Wanru, sensing the threat in the tattooed man's eyes, immediately feigned a pitiful expression and said, I met Brother Chen 2 years ago in Sioux City. He treated me very well, buying me luxury cars and jewelry, spending lavishly on me, which led to our relationship. Later, when he moved to Yunhai, he fell for a beautiful woman surnamed Shun and callously abandoned me. When I told Brother Chun I was pregnant with his child, he even asked me to terminate the pregnancy. With that, Xian Wanru covered her face and sobbed uncontrollably. The tattooed man produced a medical report, declaring, Everyone, take a look. This is the checkup my sister had last Wednesday. Zhou Yuqing was present and, upon learning of my sister's pregnancy, pressured her to terminate it. When my sister refused, he stormed off in anger. The performance by Xian Wanru and her brother left everyone in a state of confusion, uncertain of whom to trust. After a long silence, Shin Jingyun spoke up. May I see the examination report? The tattooed man replied, Of course. Shin Jingyun took the report, glanced at the date, and remarked, This is issued by the First People's Hospital of Yunhai. Ms. Xian, you just claimed that my husband accompanied you for the examination and pressured you to terminate the pregnancy that same day. Am I correct? Xian Wanru, wiping her tears, affirmed. Yes. Shin Jingyun put away the report and promptly dialed the police. Hello, my name is Shin Jingyun, and I am dining at the Shangri-La Hotel. A woman named Xian Wanru, accompanied by several burly men, is publicly slandering my boyfriend, Mr. Zhou Yuqing, severely infringing upon his reputation. I fear for his safety. Please send someone quickly. A female officer's voice responded, Ms. Shun, if they intend to harm you, please ensure your safety. We will arrive shortly. Thank you. Shin Jingyun replied coldly. Ms. Xian, my husband has already given you 2 choices, which were quite generous. Since you insist on making the wrong choice, you shall bear the consequences. The tattooed man extended his hand, demanding, return the report. Shin Jingyun replied, the report is evidence. I will hand it over to the police when they arrive. Xian Wanru, perplexed, asked, What do you mean? Last week, we took the child to Hong Kong for a vacation and returned only on Sunday afternoon. How could he have accompanied you for an examination or pressured you to terminate the pregnancy? Shin Jingyun had not intended to explain, but with her classmates present, she felt compelled to point out the glaring flaw in Xian Wanru's story. I see. This is blatant defamation, someone remarked. It seems the evidence is irrefutable. Someone is heading for jail. The crowd began murmuring. Xian Wanru stammered, I might have misremembered the timing. Zhou Yuqing smirked. Your inconsistencies are far from over. You claimed I bought you luxury cars and jewelry in Sioux City. Tell me, what brand was the car? What brand were the jewels? How much did they cost in total? Xian Wanru replied, a Mercedes and a Fia necklace and bracelet, totaling around 3 million. Zhou Yuqing scoffed. Your information is completely erroneous. Just because I have money now doesn't mean I've always had it. When I was in Sioux City, I worked as a gym instructor with a monthly salary of 12,000. Before coming to Yunhai, I had just over 1 million, earned through fortunate gambling on stones. My sources of income are all verifiable. Even if I were sold, I couldn't possibly afford 3 million for a Mercedes and jewelry. Xian Wanru was left speechless. Zheng Xue, initially eager for entertainment, felt furious. These individuals were utterly incompetent, their fabricated story riddled with flaws. Now, if the police arrived and took them away, it could potentially implicate him as well, leading to serious trouble. His heart raced at the thought. The tattooed man, humiliated and enraged, pointed at Shin Jingyun, demanding, Give me the report. Zhou Yuqing stepped in front of Shin Jingyun, calmly stating, This is a society governed by law. If you dare to make a move, it won't just be a matter of defamation. Zhou Yu picked up a beer bottle, angrily asking, What do you intend to do? Do you want to fight? Fan Sheng shouted, Brothers, someone is trying to bully us. What shall we do? Fight back. The others grabbed beer bottles and stood, glaring at the tattooed man. With a gulp, the tattooed man took 2 steps back, unable to suppress a swallow. Zhou Yuqin stopped the recording and approached the tattooed man, coldly saying, "Have you heard the saying? When gods fight, mortals suffer. If you wish to be a weapon in someone else's hand, be prepared to face the consequences. I will kill you." The tattooed man shouted, raising his muscular arm to strike Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin did not flinch, allowing the man's fist to collide with his chest. Bang! The tattooed man felt as though he had struck a solid slab of marble, his fingers throbbing in pain. "Husband," Shen Jingyun gasped. "I am fine." Zhou Yuqin smiled slightly, saying, "Everyone saw that he struck first. I was merely acting in self-defense." "Damn self-defense." The tattooed man roared, swinging his fist again at Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin chuckled coldly, advancing rather than retreating, delivering a swift strike that landed on the tattooed man's body. Chapter 242, Zhou Yuqin's Might. The tattooed man was sent flying like a rag doll, crashing against the wall 5 meters away before sliding down to the ground. Striking someone is like hanging a painting. This was a skill only a true master of martial arts possessed. Everyone in the private room was left dumbfounded. The tattooed man, towering and muscular, must have weighed at least 200 pounds, yet Zhou Yuqin had sent him flying with a single punch. The sheer power was astonishing. Zhao Yaqing nudged Shen Jingyun, asking, "Jingyun, is your husband trained in martial arts?" Shen Jingyun nodded, replying, "He is proficient in Tai Chi and Xingyi." Zhao Yaqing remarked enviously, "You are truly fortunate." Shen Jingyun looked at her in confusion, unsure of her meaning. Zhao Yaqing whispered in her ear, "Being skilled in martial arts signifies a strong physique, which undoubtedly implies exceptional capabilities in that regard." The implication made Shen Jingyun blush furiously. Upon witnessing their leader's defeat, the tattooed man's subordinates did not scatter but instead charged at Zhou Yuqin, shouting, seeking death. Zhou Yuqin's aura surged dramatically, moving forward like a speeding train. Fan Sheng, Zhou Yu, and others followed closely, eager to assist. However, after just 2 steps, they halted, eyes wide in disbelief. Zhou Yuqin utilized all limbs, akin to a tiger charging into a flock, effortlessly knocking down all 7 of the tattooed man's subordinates, leaving them sprawled on the ground, moaning in agony. Zhou Yu approached Zhou Yuqin, his face a mask of disbelief. In less than a minute, he had easily dispatched 7 burly men. This far exceeded Zhou Yu's and everyone else's expectations. Zhou Yuqin turned to Xian Wanru, stating, "Ms. Xian, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am a technical consultant for the Yunhai Police Department. Shortly, my colleagues will arrive to take you and these 8 individuals into custody. If you wish to avoid imprisonment, it would be wise to speak the truth and reveal who is behind this. Otherwise, I cannot save you." With a thud, Xian Wanru fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. "Mr. Zhou, I am truly sorry. I am left with no choice. My father owes Boss Su over 3 million in gambling debts, and if we cannot repay it within a year, he will take our lives." Zhou Yuqin frowned, asking, "What is Boss Su's full name? Why did he send you to slander me?" Xian Wanru replied, "Boss Su is named Su Fa. He owns 2 nightclubs and over 10 internet cafes, with a large gang of thugs under his command, quite notorious in the underworld. As for why he wanted to defame you, I am not entirely sure. Mr. Zhou, considering I am a pregnant woman, please spare me. I do not wish to go to prison." Zhou Yuqin questioned with suspicion, "Are you truly pregnant?" Xian Wanru nodded affirmatively, stating, "The ultrasound report is genuine." Zhou Yuqin approached the tattooed man on the ground, nudging him with his foot, and inquired, "Does Su Fa operate an underground casino?" Xian Wanru's father owed over 3 million in gambling debts, implying he had certainly participated in gambling. Typically, such substantial debts would only be extended by the house, leading Zhou Yuqin to suspect Su Fa of running an underground casino. The tattooed man lying on the floor closed his eyes and remained silent. At that moment, the door to the private room was pushed open once more, and a throng of police officers entered, led by a man in his 30s with dark skin and piercing eyes. Upon seeing the 8 gangsters sprawled on the floor, the leading officer exhibited a look of surprise and stated, "I am Lu Wenzhong, Deputy Director of the Huangpu branch of the Yunhai Police Department. What transpired here? Who called the police?" Shen Jingyun stepped forward and declared, "I am Shen Jingyun. I made the call." Lu Wenzhong's demeanor softened immediately as he responded, "Miss Shen, could you please explain the situation in detail?" "Of course." Shen Jingyun recounted the entire sequence of events. Lu Wenzhong looked at Zhou Yuqin in astonishment and asked, "Did you incapacitate all of them?" Zhou Yuqin nodded and replied, "I have practiced martial arts for a few days." "Director Lu, I am Zhou Yuqin, the technical consultant for the Yunhai Police Department. They resorted to violence after failing to defame me, leaving me with no choice but to defend myself." A hint of a smile appeared on Lu Wenzhong's face as he remarked, "So you are Consultant Zhou. Your reputation precedes you. Recently, 90% of the Yunhai Police Department had invested in stocks, including Lu Wenjiang, who had made over 100,000, making Zhou Yuqin's name quite familiar to him. Zhou Yuqin modestly stated, "It is merely a name." Lu Wenjiang inquired, "Are their injuries severe?" Zhou Yuqin shook his head and replied, "Not serious. Each has a broken rib. A visit to the hospital will suffice." Despite the broken ribs, Zhou Yuqin's claim of their injuries being minor led Lu Wenjiang to associate him with a certain ruthlessness. "Consultant Zhou, it seems you may not be able to attend the banquet," Lu Wenjiang stated. "I understand. I will accompany you." Zhou Yuqin handed his keys to Shen Jingyun and said, "Dear, after dinner, you should head home." Shen Jingyun insisted, "I will go with you." Lu Wenjiang interjected with a smile, "Miss Shen, Consultant Zhou only needs to take a statement. Once finished, I will drive him home." Shen Jingyun replied, "Then I appreciate your assistance." Zhou Yuqin addressed the group. "I sincerely apologize for disrupting what should have been a pleasant reunion. To express my regret and gratitude for your timely intervention, I will cover all expenses tonight." Afterward, Zhou Yuqin reminded Shen Jingyun, "Dear, do not forget to settle the bill." She nodded, acknowledging his request. As he was leaving, Zhou Yuqin cast a glance at Zheng Xue, sensing that today's incident was somehow tied to him, possibly indicating he was the mastermind behind it. On the way to the police station, Lu Wenjiang asked, "Consultant Zhou, when did you offend Su Fa?" Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow and replied, "I do not even know Su Fa. How could I have offended him? I suspect someone is using him against me." "Director Lu, what kind of person is Su Fa?" Lu Wenjiang pondered for a moment and stated, "He is quite the slippery character in the underworld. I have dealt with him before. One could describe him as elusive. Last year, during a crackdown, we dismantled an underground casino and seized over 6 million in illicit funds. Everyone knows the casino was run by Su Fa, yet we could not find any evidence linking him to it, resulting in a dead end." Zhou Yuqin replied nonchalantly, "I have no interest in Su Fa. My focus lies on the individual who instigated the defamation against me." Lu Wenjiang suggested, "Then we should summon Su Fa. You can speak with him." Zhou Yuqin nodded. "If that is the case, it would be most fortuitous." Lu Wenjiang promptly placed a call to have Su Fa brought in with several colleagues. Upon arriving at the Huangpu branch, the group exited the vehicle. Lu Wenjiang immediately spotted Director Zhang Xianming standing at the entrance of the building and hurried over, asking, "Director Zhang, what brings you here?" Zhang Xianming replied curtly, "The daughter of an old leader called the police, and the future son-in-law is present. Of course, I must show my face." "Wenjiang, you haven't offended him, have you?" Lu Wenjiang chuckled. "Consultant Zhou is merely here to provide a statement, not as a criminal. How could I offend him? That's good to hear." Zhang Xianming extended his hand toward Zhou Yuqin as he approached, saying, "Consultant Zhou, greetings. I am Zhang Xianming, director of the Huangpu branch." Zhou Yuqin shook his hand and replied, "Director Zhang, good evening. I truly appreciate your assistance tonight." Zhang Xianming replied, "Not a bother. It is our duty." "Wenjiang, expedite the statement for Consultant Zhou." "Understood, Director," Lu Wenjiang affirmed. Zhou Yuqin expressed his gratitude and followed Lu Wenjiang into the interrogation room. Without wasting time, Zhou Yuqin produced his phone and played the recording from the incident. After listening, Lu Wenjiang gave Zhou Yuqin a thumbs up, exclaiming, "Impressive." Zhou Yuqin chuckled, "After I exposed him, the tattooed man lashed out in humiliation, striking me, which left me no option but to defend myself, bringing him and his associates down." Lu Wenjiang remarked, "The entire sequence is clear. As long as you retain the recording, the statement is complete." "Consultant Zhou, do you have any suspects?" Zhou Yuqin replied directly, "Yes, Zheng Xue, the general manager of the Nanming Group's Yunhai branch." Lu Wenjiang asked, "What leads you to suspect him?" Zhou Yuqin scoffed. "He has been the kept man of the Nanming Group's heiress, Chu Exine, for 5 to 6 years, yet harbors inappropriate intentions toward my wife. Last time, he brought roses to my wife, and I berated him thoroughly. Subsequently, he edited a picture of my wife, attempting to meddle in our relationship. Meanwhile, I have been focused on my entrepreneurial endeavors, neglecting him. I never anticipated he'd resort to such underhanded tactics. He truly is a scoundrel." Lu Wenjiang noted, "It seems you are quite certain it is Zheng Xue. What of Exine Wanru? She bears responsibility for this incident. You could easily sue her for defamation and damage to your reputation." Zhou Yuqin waved his hand dismissively, stating, "I promised Exine Wanru that as long as she reveals the instigator, I would not pursue legal action against her. In truth, even if she remained silent, I would not act against her as a pregnant woman. After all, the child is innocent." Upon hearing Zhou Yuqin's words, a glimmer of appreciation flashed in Lu Wenjiang's eyes as he remarked, "Consultant Zhou, you are a man of integrity." At that moment, a police officer entered and whispered something to Lu Wenjiang. He nodded and said, "Consultant Zhou, Su Fa has arrived." Zhou Yuqin's gaze sharpened as he asked, "When can I see him?" Lu Wenjiang rose and responded, "Right now." The two proceeded to the adjacent interrogation room. Upon opening the door, Zhou Yuqin beheld Su Fa, a man in his 50s, of short stature, with graying hair and a face lined with wrinkles. What stood out most were his cunning eyes, glinting with mischief. Su Fa clearly recognized Lu Wenzhong and said, "Director Lu, what brings you to summon me at such a late hour?" Lu Wenzhong replied coolly, "Zhuang who has taken people to the Shangri-La Hotel. Are you aware of this?" Su Fa shook his head and replied without hesitation, "I don't know." Lu Wenzhong let out a cold laugh, raised his arm, and made a gesture, causing the monitoring in the interrogation room to be immediately disabled. Su Fa frowned and inquired, "Director Lu, what do you mean by this?" Lu Wenzhong pointed at Zhou Yuqin and asked, "Do you know this individual?" Su Fa glanced at Zhou Yuqin once more, shook his head again, and said, "I don't know him." Zhou Yuqin calmly remarked, "His pupils are constricted, his facial muscles trembled momentarily, and his heart rate increased by 1/3. It seems I have not misidentified him." Su Fa, astonished, asked, "Can you hear my heartbeat?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "My hearing is somewhat more acute than average." Su Fa, "I bear no grudge against you. Why trouble me?" Su Fa laughed, "Young man, I truly have no idea what you are talking about." Zhou Yuqin's gaze pierced with an astonishing intensity, stating, "It's getting late. I have no time for idle chatter. I will ask you one question. Is the person behind this Zheng Shui?" Su Fa's heart trembled violently. Just as he was about to deny it, Zhou Yuqin stood up and said, "No need to respond. Your expression has already revealed the answer. Director Lu, if there is nothing else, I shall take my leave." Lu Wenzhong nodded. "Very well, I will arrange for transportation." Zhou Yuqin expressed his gratitude, casting a deep glance at Su Fa before turning to exit. Lu Wenzhong personally escorted him out of the police station. Upon returning to the interrogation room, Lu Wenzhong noticed Su Fa's grave expression and couldn't help but feel amused. The dominance and assertiveness displayed by Zhou Yuqin had left not just Su Fa, but even Lu Wenzhong himself, utterly astonished. The aura was simply terrifying. Lu Wenzhong lit a cigarette and said in a low tone, "Su Fa, congratulations. You have landed yourself in a serious predicament." Su Fa's heart sank, though his face remained impassive as he replied, "Director Lu, you are just trying to frighten me. This time, I am not merely trying to scare you." Lu Wenzhong fixed his gaze on Su Fa and stated, "Your intelligence network appears to be malfunctioning. Allow me to enlighten you. Zhou Yuqin is a technical consultant for our Yunhai Police Bureau. His girlfriend, Shun Jingyun, is the daughter of our chief, Shun Chenggang. In other words, he is to become our chief's son-in-law." Su Fa abruptly stood up, his eyes wide with shock. He opened his mouth, wishing to say something, but the words caught in his throat. After a moment, he feigned nonchalance and said, "They are merely a couple. They might break up tomorrow." Lu Wenzhong scoffed. "Don't be ridiculous. The child is already over 3 years old. How could they possibly break up without reason?" "Su Fa, you have been led astray by Zheng Shui. This phoenix man, living off others, dares to harbor designs on our chief's daughter. Even I must admire his audacity." Su Fa's face had turned an ashen gray. He had indeed conducted a thorough investigation into Zhou Yuqin, knowing he had a girlfriend and a daughter, but he never imagined that they would be the daughter and granddaughter of the formidable Shun Chenggang. Now, Shun Chenggang had become the highest authority in the Yunhai police system. It would be but a word for him to obliterate a small ant like Su Fa. Chapter 244, Frightening Su Fa Self-Rescue. It was imperative to self-rescue. Su Fa's mind began to race. Lu Wenzhong rose and said, "Since you are unaware of Zhuang Hu's situation, you may leave." Su Fa asked, "Director Lu, when will Zhuang Hu and the others be released?" Without a moment's hesitation, Lu Wenzhong replied, "For provoking trouble, they will be detained for 15 days. Su Fa paused. "Isn't it usually 5 days?" Lu Wenzhong explained, "The duration of detention for provoking trouble varies based on the severity of the situation. This time, 8 people assaulted one. Although they were retaliated against, the severity of the incident warrants the maximum penalty. Furthermore, from now on, any of your associates committing offenses will face the maximum penalties as well. We will keep a constant watch on all your enterprises, 24 hours a day." Su Fa's head buzzed, and he felt utterly despondent, his face contorted in despair. "If you proceed in this manner, what will become of my business?" "Director Lu, I implore you to show mercy." Lu Wenzhong coldly stated, "Rest assured, as long as you conduct yourself properly and run your business normally, we will not interfere." "Su Fa, you must rely on your own fortune." Su Fa pleaded, "Director Lu, could you provide a clear path forward?" Lu Wenzhong snorted, "To untie the bell, one must find the bell ringer. A person as clever as you should be able to devise a solution." Su Fa immediately grasped Lu Wenzhong's implication, pursed his lips, and replied, "Thank you for your guidance, Director Lu. I now understand what I must do." Upon returning home, Su Fa's countenance darkened to an extreme. He was acutely aware that he had reached a perilous junction. A single misstep could ruin the enterprise he had painstakingly built over the years. If my friend dies, I will not perish with him. Su Fa pondered for a long time and finally made a decision. At that moment, his phone rang. Upon checking, it was a call from Zheng Xue. Boss Zheng, who on earth have you recruited? The act was riddled with flaws. The intention was to embarrass Zhou Yuchen, yet it only served to enhance his reputation. Mr. Zheng, I am fully aware of the situation. I sincerely apologize. I did not expect Zhou Yuchen to be so difficult to deal with. Apologies are of no use. The pressing matter is what to do next. I do not wish to be implicated. Rest assured, Zhuang Hu and the others are tight-lipped and will not divulge anything they shouldn't. Mr. Zheng, I understand your anger. How about this? I have 2 fairly attractive female college students here, and I can send them to you tonight to alleviate your frustration. Give me 3 more days, and I assure you I will provide you with a satisfactory resolution. Zheng Xue pondered for a moment and replied, All right, I hope to hear good news from you soon. After hanging up the phone, Su Fa promptly arranged for 2 women to go to room 402 at Xingchuan Hotel. This was Zheng Xue's stronghold, and Su Fa had sent him several beautiful women before. Of course, they were all for a fee. Today was an apology, so it would cost him nothing. Approximately 2 hours later, Zheng Xue changed his phone card and dialed the police. Meanwhile, Zhou Yuchen returned home. Shen Jingyun immediately rushed to him. Honey, are you all right? I'm fine. Why are you back so soon? After you left, I truly lost interest in continuing the party and left the hotel. Where is Xiaoya? She is sleeping at my parents' house tonight. Does your father know about this? I haven't told him. Honey, have you uncovered who is behind this? Guess. Without hesitation, Shen Jingyun declared, Zheng Xue. Zhou Yuchen raised his thumb and chuckled, clever. Shen Jingyun exclaimed with frustration, what a scoundrel. This is the 2nd time. We cannot let this slide. Zhou Yuchen displayed a peculiar expression, saying, Don't worry, someone will avenge me. Shen Jingyun, surprised, asked, Who? Zhou Yuchen replied, The person he hired to slander and defame me. Shen Jingyun, somewhat puzzled, questioned, Why would he turn against Zheng Xue? Zhou Yuchen smiled. I played a game of using a tiger's might. Shen Jingyun immediately became interested. Do tell. Zhou Yuchen recounted the entire process at Huangpu police station. After listening, Shen Jingyun contemplated for a moment and finally grasped his meaning. Individuals like Su Fa may seem formidable, yet in the eyes of someone as significant as Shen Qinggang, they are hardly worth consideration. He was undoubtedly unaware of his own identity before, otherwise he would never have dared to act so recklessly. Once Su Fa learns the truth, he will surely devise every possible means to ingratiate himself with the 2 of us. The question arises, how will he do so? Quite simply, the most effective strategy would be to deal with Zheng Xue and avenge us. Zhou Yuchen's display of dominance at the Huangpu Police Bureau was primarily to intimidate Su Fa, conveying a clear message that he was insignificant before Zhou Yuchen. All of this hinged on Shen Qinggang's formidable presence. Thus, Zhou Yuchen referred to his actions as a clever ruse of leveraging authority. My dear husband, you are truly brilliant. Your ability to discern my intentions so swiftly is impressive, she said. They exchanged glances and burst into laughter. Subsequently, Zhou Yuchen took a shower, donned a pair of loose shorts, and entered Shen Jingyun's study. Observing her engrossed in the English translation of Harry Potter, he embraced her from behind, resting his chin on her fragrant shoulder, and softly inquired, How is the translation coming along? Shen Jingyun leaned against his face and replied, Teacher Chen Chu truly deserves his esteemed place at the pinnacle of the translation world. Not only is his speed exceptional, but his rendition immerses one in the narrative, fully meeting my expectations. Zhou Yuchen remarked, So, the publication of Harry Potter is not far off. Shen Jingyun pondered for a moment and responded, At least a month more. Zhou Yuchen proposed, Then a month from now, let us journey to the land of the lighthouse and enjoy ourselves. Shen Jingyun teased, It sounds as if you do not intend to take Xiaoya along. He kissed her cheek and replied, Isn't it wonderful for us to have a little world of our own for a few days? If Xiaoya were to learn that her beloved father said such a thing, she would surely weep for 3 days and nights, Shen Jingyun retorted. Zhou Yuchen raised an eyebrow and declared, I would never admit to that. My dear, let us not dwell on that. I wish to converse with you for a while. He said. All right, she agreed, promptly shutting her computer, standing up, and looking towards him. Only then did she realize he was completely bare. Could you not wear a shirt? Zhou Yuchen turned his body playfully and boasted, Isn't my physique commendable? Shen Jingyun laughed. You train daily but still lack even an 8-pack. What is there to be proud of? An 8-pack? Zhou Yuchen scoffed. That is merely a facade crafted in a gym, something we martial artists must eschew. Look up the martial arts masters from the Republic era. Even in their 70s and 80s, they remain sinewy and robust. Why? Because we train our sinews and skin, not our flesh. Chapter 245. Zheng Xue is captured. Shen Jingyun shot him a disapproving glance and remarked, I was referring to aesthetics, not utility. Look at how agitated you are. Zhou Yuqin countered. If mere appearance is the goal, that is a simple task. I could conjure not just an 8-pack, but a 12-pack for you. Xin Jingyun, skeptical, replied, you're just boasting. Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow and challenged, let us wager. If I can manifest a 12-pack, you must grant me a favor. Conversely, if I fail, I shall concede to your request. I accept the wager. Show me, she challenged. Watch closely, he said, inhaling deeply and channeling his energy, causing his muscles to swell dramatically. His abdominal muscles rippled like waves in water, ultimately forming 12 unevenly sized muscles. Xin Jingyun gaped in astonishment, unable to resist touching them, exclaiming, goodness, husband, you are remarkable. Zhou Yuqin smiled, by mastering my sinews and skin, I can command all my muscles. Xin Jingyun urged, now transform them into an 8-pack for me to see. With another motion, his 12-pack morphed into an 8-pack. Husband, I am truly impressed, she sighed. Zhou Yuqin replied nonchalantly, that was merely a trivial feat, my dear. It seems I have won our wager. What wager? Xin Jingyun began to feign innocence, walking towards the study door. I never wager with anyone. Zhou Yuqin paused, exclaiming, Xin Jingyun, you deceitful woman. Watch how I will punish you. Laughter erupted as Xin Jingyun dashed into her bedroom. Just as she attempted to lock the door, Zhou Yuqin caught up and scooped her into his arms, laying her on the bed. She continued to chuckle until Zhou Yuqin pressed down upon her, causing her laughter to cease. Husband, what do you intend to do? Her heart raced, and a look of anxiety crossed her face. Zhou Yuqin gently caressed her hair. His eyes filled with affection and softly declared, wife, I love you. Women are inherently emotional beings, and Xin Jingyun was no exception. Upon hearing his confession, she wrapped her arms around his neck and replied, I love you too. Their eyes locked, and before they knew it, they were kissing tenderly, everything falling into place seamlessly. Meanwhile, Zheng Shui was in room 402 of the Xingchuan Hotel, playing poker with two elegantly dressed women. Just as the game reached its peak, the door was suddenly kicked open, and 5 or 6 police officers stormed in. Upon turning on the lights, they were met with the sight of 3 naked individuals, each holding a garment to cover themselves. Zheng Shui's face was a mask of terror. He knew that if he were caught for solicitation, Nanming Group would undoubtedly expel him to protect its reputation. Moreover, Chu Xian would not only refuse to rescue him, but might also take the opportunity to trample on him. The lead officer commanded, put on your clothes immediately. Zheng Shui dressed with the swiftness of his life, while the 2 women were not so fortunate. Their clothes had been torn apart during the game. The officers, left with no choice, borrowed 2 dresses from the hotel owner. Zheng Shui approached the lead officer, ingratiatingly saying, Officer, may I have a word with you? The officer glanced at him and replied, what is it? Zheng Shui feigned difficulty, saying, could we speak privately? I am in a bit of an uncomfortable situation. The officer led him into the restroom, saying, you can discuss anything uncomfortable here. Zheng Shui pulled out his wallet and produced a bank card, stating, Officer, you and your colleagues have worked hard. This card contains 160,000. Please share it among yourselves as a token of my appreciation. The officer took the card, eyeing it with suspicion. Is there really 160,000 in here? Zheng Shui quickly corrected, 166,000. The officer nodded. Since that is the case, you have now committed the additional crime of bribery. Zheng Shui was taken aback, exclaiming, Officer, you. The lead officer sneered, swung open the bathroom door, and stepped out, waving the bank card in front of the camera, stating, the suspect just claimed this card contains 166,000, intending to bribe me and my colleagues. I have recorded this and will submit it upon returning to the station. You have set me up, Zheng Shui roared, advancing towards the officer and delivering a powerful punch to his face. The officer, caught off guard, was struck solidly, his right cheek swelling visibly, blood streaming from his nose. What are you doing? 2 officers shouted, seizing Zheng Shui by the arms and restraining him. Zheng Shui, in a moment of impulsiveness, clenched his fist, but upon regaining his composure, he felt as if he had plunged into an icy abyss. If soliciting prostitution merely warranted a fine and a few days of detention, then the offenses of bribing police and assaulting an officer were of a far graver nature. As the silver bracelets were clasped around his wrists, Zheng Shui shouted, I did not mean to. The leading officer, wiping blood from his nose, retorted with indignation, bribery followed by an assault on an officer, after years of service. I have never encountered such a brazen individual. Another officer, responsible for documentation, chimed in, I have recorded everything. Once organized, I will report directly to our superiors. Captain, shall I take you to a hospital first? Your face is severely swollen. The lead officer replied, first, escort these 3 to the police station. I will see a doctor afterward. Soon, Zheng Shui and the 2 ladies were taken from the Xingchuan Hotel, and this entire scene was witnessed by Su Fa, who was sitting in a car. It turned out that Su Fa orchestrated the entire affair, first sending beautiful women to Zheng Shuai, then promptly calling the police as the chaos erupted, ultimately leading to a timely arrival to apprehend them. A dead companion is better than a living enemy. Zheng, my apologies. I must prioritize my own safety, Su Fa murmured. The following morning, Shen Jingyun slowly opened her eyes. She reached out beside her and, upon discovering Zhou Yuqing was absent, felt a sudden jolt of surprise. Just then, the bedroom door was gently pushed open. Shen Jingyun quickly closed her eyes. Zhou Yuqing sat beside her, noticing her eyelashes flutter, and instantly realized she was awake. Darling, you are simply breathtaking. I can't take it anymore. Let us do it again, he teased. Shen Jingyun, upon hearing this, immediately opened her eyes, only to find Zhou Yuqing smiling at her from the edge of the bed. Chapter 246. Do you still need to avoid me? She playfully scolded. You rascal, all you do is deceive me. Zhou Yuqing laughed. I did not deceive you. If you hadn't woken up, I would have pounced on you. Shen Jingyun huffed. So you succeeded last night. Are you feeling quite pleased with yourself? Zhou Yuqing, without a moment's hesitation, replied, Of course. The most beautiful woman in Yunhai. No, the entire world, Shen Jingyun, has become mine. How could I not be delighted? Shen Jingyun interjected, and then, once you grow tired of me, cast me aside like refuse. Zhou Yuqing was taken aback. Wife, how could you think such a thing? After a moment of silence, Shen Jingyun confessed, I'm sorry. I've been feeling anxious. Sensing her unease, Zhou Yuqing embraced her and solemnly declared, Do not worry. I swear to love you for all eternity. I believe you. She replied. They nestled together, quietly savoring the warmth of the moment. After a while, a burnt smell wafted in from outside, causing Zhou Yuqing to exclaim, Oh no, my ate treasure porridge. Shen Jingyun urged, Quickly check the kitchen. He dashed off, but soon returned with a gloomy expression. After 3 hours of cooking, it's burnt. You go wash up while I prepare something else. Shen Jingyun suggested, Let us eat out, and then pick up the little girl. Zhou Yuqing nodded. That works. I'm going to get dressed, Shen Jingyun announced. Zhou Yuqing, momentarily frozen in place, did not move. Honey, could you step outside for a moment? She requested. Zhou Yuqing pouted. Do you really need to avoid me? We were quite intimate last night. Shen Jingyun, blushing with embarrassment, interrupted him. Zhou Yuqing shrugged. Fine. But only if you answer one question. Were you satisfied with my performance last night? A pillow flew through the air, which Zhou Yuqing caught, laughing as he exited. You scoundrel, Shen Jingyun muttered, suddenly recalling something that made her cheeks flush once more. 20 minutes later, Zhou Yuqing drove Shen Jingyun out of the neighborhood. They found a delightful breakfast spot and casually ordered. While they were eating, Zhou Yuqing's phone rang with an unfamiliar number. Hello, this is Zhou Yuqing. Who is this? Mr. Zhou, hello, this is Su Fa. Zhou Yuqing raised an eyebrow. Su, you truly have quite the reach to acquire my phone number. What is the matter? Su Fa replied. I have some good news to share. Zheng Shuai was caught red-handed playing cards with 2 ladies last night after being reported. It seems he attempted to bribe the police. And upon failing, he lashed out. Assaulting an officer? Zhou Yuqing narrowed his eyes. His audacity knows no bounds, Su Fa affirmed. The officer was taken to the hospital with what appears to be minor injuries. Zhou Yuqing responded, Understood, thank you. Hearing the words of gratitude, Su Fa felt relieved. It was nothing. Mr. Shun, I hope you can overlook our previous misunderstandings and not hold a grudge against me. Zhou Yuqing replied coolly, I have already forgotten. If there is nothing further, shall we conclude our conversation here? The implication was clear. Su Fa quickly grasped Zhou Yuqing's meaning and promptly agreed, Understood. I won't take up any more of your time. After hanging up, Zhou Yuqing smiled, Darling. It seems your father's reputation in Yunhai is even more formidable than I imagined. Shen Jingyun took a sip of soy milk and asked, What happened? Zhou Yuqing explained. Zheng Shuai has been arrested for soliciting prostitution, bribery, and assaulting an officer. He likely won't be out in less than a year. Shen Jingyun's interest piqued. Su Fa? Zhou Yuqing nodded. I suspect those 2 women were arranged by him, aiming to gain my forgiveness to avoid scrutiny from the Yunhai police. Shen Jingyun chuckled. Your ploy of leveraging your connections seems quite successful. Zhou Yuqing replied. Indeed, remarkably so. I have resolved that anyone who dares to cross me will face my father's wrath. Shen Jingyun laughed. I hope that when you visit home later, you will also call him Dad. Zhou Yuqing merely smirked and diverted the conversation. This soy milk is quite delightful. Shen Jingyun rolled her eyes. Coward. Zhou Yuqing feigned ignorance, focusing solely on his drink. A while later, Lu Wenjiang called to discuss Zheng Shuai's situation, which aligned closely with what Su Fa had informed him. Zhou Yuqing remarked. Director Lu, I spoke with Su Fa 5 minutes ago. Lu Wenjiang chuckled. I suspect he was the one who reported it. Zheng Shuai claims those 2 women were introduced by Su Fa, yet they insist they do not know him. Zhou Yuqing smiled. Su Fa is indeed quite cunning. Director Lu, is Zheng Shuai in serious trouble? Lu Wenjiang confirmed. The nature of the offenses is severe. He is likely to face over a year in prison. Zhou Yuqing stated. He fully deserves it. Thank you, Director Lu. Lu Wenjiang's call was clearly an attempt to cultivate a relationship. If his name could reach Shun Qinggong's ears, that would be even better. From this, one can discern the immense power wielded by my future father-in-law. After finishing breakfast, Zhou Yuqing drove to a toy store, spending over 800 yuan on a plush doll that stood half a meter tall. Upon seeing the doll, Shun Jingyun immediately grasped his intention and remarked, "Clever." Zhou Yuqing replied with a smile, "I'm a professional at charming little girls." Half an hour later, the car came to a gentle stop beneath Shun Qinggong's building. Zhou Yuqing, cradling the doll, ascended the stairs with Shun Jingyun. A few knocks echoed as Shun Jingyun tapped on the door. It was Shun Qingang who opened it. "You're here," he said. Shun Jingyun inquired, "Dad, has Xiaya woken up?" Shun Qingang responded, "Yes, your mother is playing with her." Zhou Yuqing promptly handed the doll to Shun Jingyun, saying, "Believe in yourself, you can do it." Shun Jingyun shot him an exasperated glance, took the doll, and entered the bedroom. Initially, the little girl cried a couple of times, but soon her sobs ceased. After a while, the sound of her melodious laughter filled the room, indicating that Shun Jingyun had successfully won her over. Shun Qingang turned to Zhou Yuqing and said, "I heard you were taken to the Huangpu branch last night to give a statement?" Zhou Yuqing nodded. "Zhang Shuai falsely accused me with the help of a woman." Shun Qingang asked, "Was the matter resolved?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "It was." Chapter 247. Shun Jingyun's trap. Shun Qingang did not press for details, stating, "When I learned that Jingyun was dating Zhang Shuai, I conducted an investigation. The conclusions I drew nearly drove me to despair. The terms high aspirations but low abilities, self-serving, shameless, and spineless aptly describe him. This incident has left me profoundly skeptical of Jingyun's judgment in choosing a boyfriend." Zhou Yuqing felt a stirring in his heart and said, "Uncle Shun, Jingyun's ability to see through Zhang Shuai so quickly must have had a significant impact from you, right?" Shun Qingang replied quietly, "Of course. How could her roommates have uncovered Zhang Shuai's misdeeds without my help?" Zhou Yuqing gave a thumbs up, exclaiming, "Uncle Shun, you are truly wise." Instead of confronting Shun Jingyun directly about Zhang Shuai's faults, Shun Qingang chose a more diplomatic approach, preserving her dignity and avoiding conflict between father and daughter, a truly sagacious decision. Shun Qingang sighed, saying, "If I were truly wise, I wouldn't have let her fall victim to someone else and end up benefiting you." Zhou Yuqing countered, "Uncle Shun, you are gravely mistaken. I believe this is fate orchestrated by the heavens. Our paths were meant to cross. After all, where else would you find such a delightful granddaughter? And where would I find a son-in-law as exceptional as myself?" Shun Qingang burst out laughing, pointing at Zhou Yuqing. "I remember when I first met you at the hospital. You were so arrogant, dismissing even me. What has changed?" Zhou Yuqing chuckled. "I have learned that those who recognize the times are the true heroes. Consider this. If I were to marry your daughter and my arrogance displeased you, preventing you from consenting to the marriage, wouldn't that be a disaster for me? Therefore, my primary task now is to flatter you. If you are pleased, my future will be secure." Laughter erupted from Shun Qingang, who doubled over in mirth. "What did little Zhou say to make you laugh so hard?" Daiwan emerged from the bedroom, cradling Xiaoya, her curiosity piqued. Zhou Yuqing stood up, saying, "I just shared a joke with Uncle Shun." "Daddy," Xiaoya asked, "what about the gift you bought for me?" Zhou Yuqing paused. "Didn't Ti buy you a plush doll?" Xiaoya replied, "That was a gift from Mommy. Mommy said you bought me a present too. Where is it? I haven't seen it." Realizing he had been outmaneuvered by his wife, Zhou Yuqing quickly said, "I bought it yesterday, but forgot to bring it this morning. When we get home, you'll see it." Xiaoya's expression brightened. "Great. Daddy, what did you get me?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "It's a secret. It's a surprise from Daddy." Xiaoya beamed, her eyes narrowing into slits of delight. "Thank you, Daddy. You're the best." Zhou Yuqing opened his arms. "Come here, sweetheart." Xiaoya hopped down from Daiwan's embrace and rushed into Zhou Yuqing's arms. Shun Jingyun emerged from the bedroom with Xiaoya's old clothes, and Zhou Yuqing shot her a fierce glare, to which Shun Jingyun responded with a triumphant smile. At noon, the trio dined at Shun Qinggong's residence. After several rounds of drinks and dishes, Zhou Yuqing's phone rang. Upon checking, it was a call from Cheng Zhong. During his time in Sioux City, Zhou Yuqing had exchanged contact information with Cheng Zhong, offering assistance whenever he faced difficulties. "Old Cheng, what is up?" Cheng Zhong replied. "Brother Chun, I have several questions I'd like to consult you about." Cheng Zhong proceeded to ask over 10 questions in one breath, some trivial and others quite profound. Hearing Zhou Yuqing seemingly discussing chip technology, Shun Qingang interjected in surprise. "Jingyun, has Xiaozhou already started developing chips?" Shun Jingyun replied, "They are drone chips. Just a few days ago, he invested 18 billion to acquire 70% of a drone company's shares." Shun Qingang, unfamiliar with drones, asked, "Is there really a market for this?" Shun Jingyun shook her head. He believes the global drone market is vast. If successful, the market value could easily surpass 100 billion. Shen Qinggang remarked, "This young man certainly knows how to dream big." Dai Wan chimed in, "If he can dream well, that's a talent in itself." Recently, the game Casual Elimination developed by Yuechen Gaming has become the favorite pastime of our office teachers, hailed as a miraculous stress reliever. I've played it a few times, and it's quite enjoyable. Shen Jingyun added, "Casual Elimination has become the most profitable game in his company." Shen Qinggang, intrigued, inquired, "How much does it earn in a month?" Shen Jingyun replied, "The daily profit ranges between 12 to 15 million. How much?" Even Shen Qinggang, usually composed, gasped in astonishment. Daiwan was equally taken aback. "Is that for a day or a month?" Shen Jingyun laughed. "That's a day?" Daiwan calculated. "So, Casual Elimination must earn at least 40 billion a year. That's simply astonishing," Shen Jingyun remarked. "I've heard from Yuchen that the game's success stems from it being the first elimination-style game in the world, pioneering a new genre. However, in a couple of months, as numerous similar games launch, Casual Elimination's profits will likely decrease, stabilizing around 7 to 8 million daily." Shen Qinggang sighed. 7 to 8 million a day translates to over 2 billion a month and around 20 to 30 billion a year. It's hard to believe that a simple casual game can achieve such heights. Shen Jingyun smiled. "Dad, this is just the beginning. Their company is currently developing 4 more games, and once they are released, conservatively speaking, the annual profit could surpass 100 billion. 100 billion at a conservative estimate." Shen Qinggang and Dai Wan exchanged glances, each recognizing the profound shock emanating from the other's eyes. They simultaneously contemplated the prospect that their daughters might one day become the wives of affluent families. Zhou Yuqin devoted more than half an hour elucidating the queries posed by Cheng Zhong. Initially, Shen Qinggang had intended to wait for him to enjoy a drink together. But as time passed without his arrival, he reluctantly poured himself a drink. After concluding the call, Zhou Yuqin turned to Shen Qinggang, who had remained seated at the dining table, and apologetically remarked, "Uncle Shen, I sincerely apologize. I did not anticipate they would contact me at this moment." Shen Qinggang waved his hand dismissively and replied, "Work comes first, I understand. I heard from Jingyun that you have invested in a drone company?" Zhou Yuchen nodded, saying, "Indeed. Originally, I aspired to establish my own drone company, but unexpectedly, I encountered an entrepreneur with a similar vision on a flight to Hong Kong Island. They have been operating for 7 years, with technology that is quite advanced, which led me to collaborate with them. I anticipate that our first drone product will be launched in about 6 months. Shen Qinggang expressed his interest. "I find drones quite fascinating. Could you elaborate on their applications?" Zhou Yuchen proceeded to discuss the various civil applications of drones. After listening, Shen Qinggang marveled. "Indeed, expertise lies in specialization. I had no idea the drone market was so vast." Zhou Yuchen responded with a smile. "We are in an era of technological explosion. Drones are merely one facet. The future will encompass clean energy, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering, collectively heralding the 4th Industrial Revolution. Those who seize the lead in these fields will shape the world anew and redefine global order." Shen Qinggang was taken aback by such a theory, his face reflecting sheer astonishment. Not only he, but even Dai Wan and Shen Jingyun, who were seated on the sofa, were equally stunned. "Do you believe our country can become a leader in the 4th Industrial Revolution?" Shen Qinggang inquired. Zhou Yuchen replied earnestly, "We must. The Lighthouse Nation led the 3rd Industrial Revolution and emerged as the world's most powerful country. We have no choice but to relentlessly pursue and catch up. In my view, among nearly 300 countries worldwide, only 2 possess the conditions and capabilities to lead the 4th Industrial Revolution, the Lighthouse Nation and our own." Shen Qinggang gazed deeply at him and remarked, "You mentioned wanting to establish Kunpeng Technology Group. Do you aspire to be a pioneer in the 4th Industrial Revolution?" Zhou Yuchen answered without hesitation, "Absolutely. I once envisioned becoming a university professor. Venturing into business was a matter of circumstance. Now that I have chosen this path, I will strive to excel. I hope that in the future, Kunpeng Group will emerge as a global technological leader, enabling me to realize my personal aspirations while assisting our nation in breaking free from Western technological oppression and reviving the illustrious era of the Han and Tang dynasties. Having arrived in this world with a gaming system, if I do not accomplish something meaningful, it would truly be a disservice to the fortune bestowed upon me by fate." Shen Qinggang opened his mouth, momentarily rendered speechless. Zhou Yuchen's ambition far surpassed his expectations. If realized, Zhou Yuchen would undoubtedly be immortalized in the annals of our country's history. After a brief pause, Shen Qinggang poured a drink for both himself and Zhou Yuchen, solemnly stating, "Young Zhou, I wish you success." Zhou Yuchen raised his glass, clinking it with Shen Qinggang's, and replied, "Thank you, Uncle Shen." The two raised their heads and drained their glasses in one go. After a satisfying meal, Zhou Yuqin and Shun Jingyun left with little Ye. Shun Chenggang remained on the sofa, the echoes of Zhou Yuqin's grand aspirations resonating in his mind. Old Shun, Daiwan nudged him, inquiring, "What's wrong? Have you had too much to drink? I've called your name several times, yet you did not respond." Shun Chenggang came to his senses and sighed. "I feel as though I am truly aging." Daiwan smiled, feeling overwhelmed. "Are we?" Shun Chenggang nodded, admitting, "I underestimated your future son-in-law. His lofty ambitions stirred something within me. I am profoundly impressed. In comparison, those so-called young talents pale in significance." Daiwan remarked, "I do not concern myself with his ambitions, as long as he treats Jingyun and little Ye well. Have you noticed anything different about Jingyun?" Shun Chenggang paused. "What do you mean?" "Forget it. Discussing this with you is akin to casting pearls before swine." From the moment Shun Jingyun entered the house, her radiant demeanor made Daiwan realize that her relationship with Zhou Yuqin had indeed progressed significantly. However, as a mother and a university professor, she felt hesitant to inquire further. Her hope was that if their relationship truly blossomed, they would promptly obtain a marriage certificate to avoid any prolonged uncertainty. With a son-in-law as exceptional as Zhou Yuqin, Daiwan was determined not to let her daughter lose him. After departing from Shun Chenggang's home, Zhou Yuqin, Shin Jingyun, and little Ye visited Xingyuan Mall to watch an animated film. With 40 minutes remaining until the film concluded, Zhou Yuqin informed Shin Jingyun of his intention to leave the cinema. He entered a newly opened toy store on the second floor, selecting a Princess Linsha building block set after much deliberation, spending over 1,000 yuan, and placing it in the car. Upon returning to the sixth-floor cinema, he coincidentally spotted the mother-daughter duo exiting. The three strolled through the mall for a while, enjoyed a meal, and then drove home. In the underground parking lot, Zhou Yuqin retrieved the Princess Linsha building block set from the trunk, exclaiming, "Oh dear, little Ye. It seems the gift I brought for you was in the car all along." Upon hearing this, little Ye promptly turned around, her face alight with joy. "It's the Princess Linsha building block set. My classmates say it's incredibly fun." Zhou Yuqin feigned disappointment. "Unfortunately, I had hoped to surprise you." Little Ye insisted, "Daddy, this is a super-duper big surprise." Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "Let us hurry home and see if little Ye can assemble the Princess Linsha." Little Ye raised her tiny fist, declaring, "I can definitely do it." Having been silent until now, Shun Jingyun finally understood that Zhou Yuqin had left the cinema early to procure the Princess Linsha building block set for little Ye. He had remembered this detail. Zhou Yuqin raised his eyebrows at Shun Jingyun, earning a charming yet scornful glare in return. The influence of the song Irrelevant to Love and Moonlight far surpassed Zhou Yuqin's expectations. In less than 48 hours, the song's downloads exceeded 30 million, securing the top position on 3 major music platforms. An increasing number of renowned musicians praised the song, deeming it a pioneering creation of a new genre, Xia country style. The fans, too, did not hold back, elevating Irrelevant to Love and Moonlight to a pedestal in various music forums. Zhou Yuqin, however, was indifferent to the accolades. What truly mattered to him was the popularity. Player, Zhou Yuqin physique, 142, average person, 10, mentality, 11, average person, 10, popularity, 2. 82 million attribute points, 33 skills, national martial arts, master level 7, hacking skills, master level 2, chip development, master level 1, investment skills, master level 2, Tai Chi visualization, mental discipline, loyalty monitoring, special skill, culinary arts, expert level 99. Singing skills, expert level 99. Items. None. Upon witnessing his popularity surge by over 280,000, Zhou Yuqin could not contain his joy. Free song releases garnered a maximum of 100,000 popularity points, while charging for songs under the guise of charity could earn him over 300,000. The disparity was indeed significant. Zhou Yuqin speculated that his elevated popularity might be attributed to the charitable donations. Earlier that morning, the Red Cross had published a letter of gratitude on their official website, acknowledging Master Wuji's contributions, thereby crowning Zhou Yuqin with the title of the most beautiful musician. 30 million downloads equated to 3 million yuan, of which 60%, or 1,800,000, belonged to the Red Cross, who were undoubtedly elated. Chapter 249, Are You Wuji? Unrelated to romance, I await your return. With a poised pen, the waves crash upon the shore. As Zhou Yuqin prepared to forge ahead and create a second summer national-style piece, the melody of Unrelated to Romance suddenly filled the air. Turning to look, he saw Shen Jingyun entering while playing the song on her phone. "Darling, let me play you a truly beautiful song. Unrelated to romance." "Oh, so you've heard it already?" "Of course." Zhou Yuqin extended his arm, wrapping it around Shen Jingyun's slender waist, pulling her onto his lap. "What do you think of this song?" The melody is imbued with ancient charm, and the lyrics are exquisitely profound. Their combination is simply magnificent. How did you come to know of this song? Yang Lei told me. She mentioned that you have a rival. I looked it up, and the creator and performer of Unrelated to Romance is named Wuji, while your stage name is Zhou Wuming. Do you musicians enjoy such peculiar names? How could that be? I am the only one in all of Summer Nation who favors such a name. Now there's one more, huh? Shen Jingyun suddenly realized something, her eyes widening in surprise as she gazed at Zhou Yuchen. You mustn't tell me that you are both Wuming and Wuji? Zhou Yuchen raised an eyebrow and replied. Is that so unacceptable? Shen Jingyun exclaimed. So, 3 butterflies, The Mouse Loves the Rice, Lilac, and Unrelated to Romance are all sung by you? You can sing? Zhou Yuchen chuckled. Of course. In my spare time, I recorded a few light-hearted songs I had written in the past, merely for amusement. I never expected to be belittled by a professional singer a few days ago, which prompted me to write Unrelated to Romance, regarding the release of songs under the name Wuji. Zhou Yuchen felt no need to conceal this from Shen Jingyun. My dear, you are truly remarkable. Shen Jingyun turned off the music on her phone and said, after listening to Unrelated to Romance twice, I was taken aback by the creator's talent, only to discover it was you. How did you conceive such a style? Zhou Yuchen replied. I simply thought it through. Shen Jingyun playfully pressed Zhou Yuchen's hand away from her clothing, chiding, remove your hand. I'm trying to have a serious conversation. Zhou Yuchen withdrew his hand. Speak. I'm listening. Shen Jingyun continued. You previously asked what I wanted to do. I've made up my mind. I wish to write and sing. Writing can follow a gradual process, but singing is crucial. I want to be an anonymous online singer, donating all earnings to the Red Cross. What do you think? Shen Jingyun had always harbored an attachment to music, evident from her eagerness to assist Yang Lei as a backup singer. Now, realizing that Zhou Yuchen had clandestinely pursued music without disrupting their usual life, she felt a spark of excitement. Zhou Yuchen smiled. You mean for me to write songs while you sing them? Shen Jingyun raised an eyebrow. What? Are you unwilling? Of course not. If you desire my songs, you must show some sincerity. What sincerity? Shen Jingyun inquired. Zhou Yuchen donned a mischievous expression. You're clever enough. Can't you figure it out? You lecherous man, Shen Jingyun scolded, attempting to escape. Zhou Yuchen seized her, unwilling to let his prize slip away. Soon, peculiar sounds resonated from Zhou Yuchen's study, persisting for an hour and a half before ceasing. After a while, Zhou Yuchen carried Shen Jingyun into the bedroom she shared with Xiao Yeya. The following morning, Zhou Yuchen practiced for over an hour. Upon returning home, he showered, prepared breakfast, and called Shen Jingyun. Perhaps due to last night's exertion, fatigue was etched across Shen Jingyun's face, with numerous red marks adorning her neck. It was needless to say that these were Zhou Yuchen's doing. Zhou Yuchen, how am I supposed to face people today? Shen Jingyun pointed to her long neck, expressing her discontent. After their relationship had transcended the final barrier, the usually composed and reserved Shen Jingyun displayed a newfound casualness in front of Zhou Yuchen, even her tone carrying a hint of playfulness. Zhou Yuchen asserted confidently, these are symbols of our love. Why should they be hidden? He added, moreover, my dear, you need to exercise more. If you're exhausted after just half an hour, your stamina clearly needs improvement. Upon hearing this, Shen Jingyun recalled the previous night's intimate moments. Her face flushed crimson as she playfully retorted, you should be quiet. Zhou Yuchen chuckled, darling, your bashful demeanor is simply breathtaking. Her cheeks reddened further, and with a glare from her glistening eyes, she lowered her head to eat, ignoring him. After breakfast, Zhou Yuchen presented Shen Jingyun with a song titled Possible, which had become a sensation across major short video platforms in his previous life. After reviewing the sheet music, Shen Jingyun furrowed her brows. The lyrics are lovely, but the melody seems somewhat simplistic. Zhou Yuchen explained, a simple melody is catchy. As long as you record this song well and upload it to music websites, I assure you, you'll become an overnight sensation. Shen Jingyun replied, becoming popular isn't what matters. What's important is whether people enjoy it. Zhou Yuchen laughed. It's essentially the same thing. Will you handle the arrangement yourself? Or shall I assist you? Without hesitation, Shen Jingyun declared, I'll do it myself. You can write the lyrics and compose the music, while I will arrange and perform. If you do everything, it loses its appeal. Zhou Yuchen nodded in agreement. That makes sense. My dear, how about we set up a recording studio? Shen Jingyun's eyes sparkled. That sounds wonderful. However, this place doesn't seem suitable. Zhou Yuchen suggested. Then let us purchase a detached villa and convert one of the rooms into a recording studio. Given the current trend, property prices are just beginning to soar and have not yet reached their peak. The current villa prices represent the lowest point we'll see for quite some time. Zhou Yuchen predicted that in 3 years, prices would at least double. And in 10 years, it would be even more difficult to find properties for sale. Shen Jingyun remarked. Didn't you say we should wait until Xiao Yeya finishes kindergarten before buying? Zhou Yuchen responded. The issue is that property prices are rising too swiftly. 2 years later, a house worth 100 million is expected to sell for 2 to 300 million. My dear, don't concern yourself with this matter. Leave it to me. Shen Jingyun sighed and remarked, to be honest, I never dreamed I would one day reside in a villa. Zhou Yuqin chuckled, if we go back 4 years. Let alone a villa, just having a 40 to 50 square meter apartment in Yunhai would have been a luxury for me. Chapter 250, Choosing a Villa After Breakfast. Zhou Yuqin picked up his phone and called Zhang Xia to inquire about some villas for sale. Although Zhang Xia no longer worked as a real estate agent, her connections were still intact, and reaching out to her was certainly a wise choice. Indeed, just 2 hours later, Zhou Yuqin received an email from Zhang Xia. There were 6 villas in total, each occupying more than 5 acres, with building areas ranging from 1,500 to 2,300 square feet, complete with gardens and lawns, all situated primarily within the 3rd ring road. Zhou Yuqin called Shen Jingyun into the study, pointed at the computer screen, and said, Dear, please choose a villa. We will go visit this afternoon. Shen Jingyun was taken aback and asked, Are you really going to buy one? Zhou Yuqin replied with a smile. Of course. As a billionaire, purchasing a villa is a trivial matter. Shen Jingyun shook her head and said, Husband, I feel like you are becoming more and more like a nouveau riche. Zhou Yuqin stood up and gently pushed Shen Jingyun into a chair, saying, Have you ever seen a nouveau riche who personally cooks for his wife and children? Indeed, she had never seen such a thing. Shen Jingyun couldn't help but laugh, her eyes sparkling with happiness. After lunch, Shen Jingyun chose a high-necked long dress that concealed the strawberry mark Zhou Yuqin had left on her delicate neck. Zhou Yuqin smiled slightly, only to receive a playful eye roll from Shen Jingyun. Among the 6 villas recommended by Zhang Xia, Shen Jingyun was particularly fond of 3, all of which shared a common feature: their proximity to the best elementary and middle schools in Yunhai. Half an hour later, the family arrived at the entrance of Fengsong Villa District. Zhang Xia was already there waiting with a 30-something woman wearing glasses. Upon exiting the car, Zhang Xia promptly introduced them. This dashing gentleman is my classmate and boss, Mr. Zhou Yuqin. This stunning lady is our future matron, Miss Shen Jingyun. And this adorable little one is their daughter, Xiao Yeye. The bespectacled woman greeted them warmly, saying, Mr. Zhou, Miss Shen, and little Yeye hello. My name is Wenju, from Linhe Real Estate Agency. Zhou Yuqin smiled and replied, Thank you for your help, Ms. Wen. Mr. Zhou is too polite. It is my honor, Wenju responded. Then turned to Shen Jingyun, saying, During our previous conversation, Zhang Xia mentioned that Ms. Shen is the most beautiful woman she has ever met, bar none. I was just pondering what kind of woman could truly deserve that title, and now I finally understand. Shen Jingyun replied, You flatter me. Wenju earnestly said, Ms. Shen, I am not merely offering flattery. This is a heartfelt compliment. You are far more beautiful than any movie star, truly deserving of the phrase stunningly beautiful. Mr. Shen is indeed fortunate. Zhou Yuqin laughed heartily. I agree wholeheartedly. Shen Jingyun shot him a sidelong glance, a hint of shyness gracing her features. The Fengsong Villa District was completed in June of the previous year, consisting of 18 standalone villas, each occupying about 54 acres, with a building area of approximately 1,800 square feet. Once released to the market, these 18 villas quickly attracted the attention of wealthy buyers, selling out in less than a week. Currently, 3 villas are being resold, numbers 15, 19, and 21. The numbers above 18 were chosen as the developer omitted the less auspicious numbers 4, 14, and 18. Wenju recommended villa number 15 to Zhou Yuqin. Upon pushing open the 4-meter-high gate, a beautiful garden filled with various plants came into view, lush and vibrant. In the distance stood a 3-story villa, its white walls complemented by a red roof, exuding an air of nobility and elegance. The villa's decor was grand and luxurious, with a living room significantly larger than Zhou Yuqin's expansive flat, furnished with the finest brands of sofas, coffee tables, lighting, carpets, and various appliances. Several exquisite oil paintings adorned the pristine white walls, creating a warm and sophisticated atmosphere. The villa comprised 12 rooms, the smallest around 30 square meters and the largest exceeding 60 square meters, all exceedingly spacious. What pleased Zhou Yuqin most was the basement, which housed a gym, a cinema, and a swimming pool. As soon as Xiao Yeye saw the swimming pool, her eyes sparkled with excitement. She had previously enjoyed swimming for half an hour every evening in the balcony pool of the Limei Hotel in Hong Kong and often reminisced about it after returning to Yunhai. Now, with a swimming pool in this villa, her delight was palpable. Daddy, I absolutely love it here. Zhou Yuqin inquired. Why is that? Xiao Yeye replied. Because there is a lawn, a garden, a playroom, and a swimming pool, and the house is so big. Zhou Yuqin chuckled. The other 2 villas have these features as well. Let us finish looking before deciding, shall we? Xiao Yeye nodded. Okay. Shen Jingyun asked Ms. Wen, How much is this villa? Wenju promptly stated, 180 million. Shen Jingyun gasped in disbelief. It was exorbitantly expensive. Even those with assets in the tens of billions would find it challenging to produce 180 million in liquid funds, let alone an ordinary person. Conversely, Zhou Yuqin viewed this villa as quite reasonably priced. Given its prime location in his previous life, it would have been unimaginable to acquire it for less than 4 or 500 million. Zhou Yuqin refrained from commenting on the price and suggested, "Let us take a look at the other two villas." Wenju replied, "Certainly." The other two villas were located at the edge of the Third Ring Road, slightly less favorable in location compared to Fengsong Villa District, though their land and building areas were similar, featuring lawns, gardens, and swimming pools that Xiao Ye adored, yet priced 4 million lower. After touring the final villa, Zhou Yuqin still felt that the first villa was the best. Upon exiting the last villa complex, Wenju asked, "Mr. Zhou, it's still early. Would you like to see the other 3 standalone villas?" Zhou Yuqin waved his hand and said, "No more. Their locations are unsuitable. Ms. 1, we'll discuss this at home and give you a response within 2 days." Wenju smiled, "No problem. We can communicate by phone." After bidding farewell to Wenju and Zhang Xia, Zhou Yuqin drove his wife and child home. During the journey, Zhou Yuqin asked, "Dear, which villa do you like best?" Shen Jingyan replied without hesitation, "I like them all." Xiao Ye chimed in, "I like them all too." Zhou Yuqin laughed, "Sweetheart, how about I buy them all?" Xiao Ye clapped her hands joyfully, "Yes." Zhou Yuqin declared, "Then it's settled." Chapter 251. Are you planning to hoard properties? Shen Jingyan sensed that Zhou Yuqin was not jesting. Her expression shifted slightly as she asked, "Are you serious?" Zhou Yuqin affirmed, "Absolutely serious." Shen Jingyan sat up straight and exclaimed, "Are you out of your mind?" Zhou Yuqin chuckled, "I am not mad. Not merely these 3 villas. I shall also secure a loan from the bank to acquire other properties situated in prime locations. In 2 years' time, I plan to sell them all at double the price." Shen Jingyan remarked in astonishment, "You intend to hoard properties?" Zhou Yuqin nodded affirmatively, stating, "Indeed. Besides Yanhai, I will also purchase courtyard houses in Yindu. As both locations currently lack purchase restrictions, I must swiftly acquire 100 units." Upon hearing Zhou Yuqin's words, Shen Jingyun's heart raced uncontrollably. What does 100 units signify? Based on the current property prices, it would amount to at least 8 billion. If the locations are exceptional, surpassing 10 billion is not out of the question. "Darling, are you so certain that the real estate market will surge? What if it declines? Wouldn't that be a substantial loss for you?" Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "The price of land remains steadfast. Even if there is a drop, it cannot exceed 20%. Including loan interest, at most, I would incur a 30% loss, which would not significantly affect me. Conversely, if future property trends align with my predictions, I could earn a minimum of 60%, perhaps even exceeding 100%. Shen Jingyun remained silent for a considerable time before saying, "I finally understand why you bought a trust fund for Xiao Ye. It's because you individuals are quite mad, engaging in such reckless ventures." Zhou Yuqin replied, "Thank you for the compliment." Shen Jingyun inquired, "When will you go to Yindu?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "It will be at least a month from now. Securing a bank loan of nearly 10 billion without collateral is absolutely impossible." Zhou Yuqin's plan was to use the success of the Kunpeng mobile phone battery as collateral for the bank, combined with the intrinsic value of the properties, ensuring a smooth loan of 10 billion. As for the funds resting in the bank, Zhou Yuqin had other intentions for them. At 10 o'clock that evening, Wenju, who was applying a facial mask, received a phone call from Zhou Yuqin. "What? You intend to purchase all 3 villas?" Wenju swiftly removed her mask, standing up in shock. "Indeed, Ms. 1. What is your commission rate?" 0.5, she replied without hesitation, quoting the minimum fee. The total price for the 3 villas was approximately 440 million, allowing Wenju to earn around 2,200,000. Zhou Yuqin casually remarked, "Zhang Xia was able to introduce you to me," indicating a remarkable relationship. Wenju immediately grasped Zhou Yuqin's implication, saying, "I will offer her 30% of the commission." Zhou Yuqin continued, "I am somewhat busy tomorrow and lack ample time. Let us meet at the Four Seasons Cafe across from the Hongxing building at 2 in the afternoon with the 3 property owners to sign the contracts simultaneously. I hope you can negotiate the lowest price. If any owner is inflexible, I will withdraw." Wenju hesitated for a moment before asking, "Mr. Zhou, will you be paying in full or financing?" "In full." "What is your target price?" "I have no target price. Here's the deal, based on the current price. For every million you negotiate down, I will give you 200,000. Mr. Zhou, I will contact the owners immediately. Await my good news." After hanging up, Wenju vigorously swung her arm. She knew her opportunity had arrived. The following morning at 9, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the Yunxing Game Company, summoning Zheng Tong, Fang Qingxian, Chen Ji, and others to the conference room for a seminar on War Elite. It must be said that this group possessed considerable experience in developing large online games. Upon receiving the proposal for War Elite, They dedicated the weekend to thorough research, collaboratively producing a 50-page development report. As Zhou Yuqin reviewed the report while listening to Chun Ji's presentation, he found their thought processes remarkably aligned with his own. Chun Ji took an hour to present the report, and all eyes turned to Zhou Yuqin. He set down the report and gave a thumbs up to everyone present, exclaiming, "Clear thinking, well-defined roles, splendid job." Applause erupted as everyone expressed their delight. Zheng Tong, seated beside Zhou Yuqin, exhaled softly. During Chun Ji's report, Zhou Yuqin had maintained a serious demeanor, leading Zheng Tong to believe there were issues with the report. Now, hearing Zhou Yuqin's praise, the weight on his heart was lifted. While the overall direction is sound, I have differing views on some details. Let us start with page 6. Zhou Yuqin then discussed 16 issues within the report. While he termed it a discussion, it was, in reality, a correction process. Every issue he identified was pointed and precise. Occasionally, Fang Qingxian and others would attempt to provide explanations, but their clarifications fell flat before Zhou Yuqin, who consistently devised more efficient solutions. Eventually, the conference room transformed entirely into Zhou Yuqin's classroom, leaving Fang Qingxian, Chun Ji, and others drenched in sweat. They had hoped to use the War Elite Development Report to showcase their abilities, intending to impress Zhou Yuqin. However, they were dismayed to find that the report contained as many as 16 issues. Their attempt to boast resulted in significant embarrassment. Yet they could not help but admire Zhou Yuqin's expertise. It was no wonder he could develop 3 globally successful games. His planning and development capabilities surpassed those of all present. The seminar continued until 11 o'clock before concluding. Zhou Yuqin sipped his tea and asked, "I have finished my remarks. Does anyone have any objections?" Everyone exchanged glances and collectively shook their heads. A hint of bitterness appeared on Fang Qingxian's face as he said, "Mr. Zhou, we require an afternoon to reorganize. We will officially commence development on War Elite tomorrow." Zhou Yuqin inquired, "That is your issue. What I wish to know is how long it will take to resolve." Fang Qingxian pondered briefly, stating, "If we can engage an outsourcing company, it would take approximately 8 months. If we rely solely on our team, it will take at least a year and a half. In the previous timeline, War Elite took nearly 5 years to complete. However, in this world, thanks to Zhou Yuqin's comprehensive proposal, the need for trial and error was nearly eliminated, allowing Fang Qingxian to confidently assert a quicker completion. Zhou Yuqin replied, "We can seek a reliable outsourcing company to assist with some of the more complex tasks. 1 year should suffice." "Lao Fang, do you have confidence?" Fang Qingxian declared loudly, "Absolutely. Then let us strive for success." Meeting adjourned. Chapter 252. Acquiring 3 villas in one breath. Zhou Yuqin stood, grabbed his phone, and walked out of the conference room while answering a call. It was Wenju. She had negotiated with the 3 property owners, resulting in a 5 million reduction from the owner of Villa 15 Fengsong, while the other 2 owners agreed to reductions of 3 million each. Zhou Yuqin was quite pleased with this outcome. He understood that, in a climate of ever-increasing property prices, achieving a reduction of 3 to 5 million was a commendable feat. Meanwhile, Fang Qingxian, Chun Ji, and others returned to their desks, their spirits notably dampened. Zhou Yu sensed a shift in their mood and approached Chun Ji, curiously asking, "What is the matter?" At the Friday gathering, Zhou Yu and Chun Ji had engaged in a drinking contest, each consuming over 2 gin, ultimately succumbing to the effects. After the battle between the 2, there was a mutual admiration, which is why Zhou Yu chose to seek information from Chun Ji. Chun Ji sighed, saying, "Originally, I was confident in the game development report, but after just one reading, President Zhou pointed out 16 issues. Ah, how humiliating." Upon hearing this, Zhou Yu burst into laughter, his face displaying a gleeful expression as he remarked, "How does it feel? Do you feel embarrassed and somewhat defeated?" Chun Ji retorted, "You seem rather pleased." Zhou Yu replied, "Of course, joy shared is joy multiplied." Chun Ji raised an eyebrow and inquired, "Have you also experienced such setbacks?" Zhou Yu corrected him, stating, "Not just once, but frequently. To be honest, we have become accustomed to it. Whenever we hold a game seminar, we come prepared with pens and notebooks, ready for class." Chun Ji nodded, acknowledging, "Indeed. The latter half of the seminar does feel quite reminiscent of a lecture. It's astonishing that you, President Zhou, are merely 25 and yet so formidable." Zhou Yu sighed, expressing his resignation. Perhaps this is the distinction between genius and the ordinary. At 2 in the afternoon, Zhou Yuqing met with Wenju and 3 homeowners at the Four Seasons Cafe, accompanied by 2 legal representatives from the Yuechen Game Company. After some polite exchanges, Wenju presented the printed housing contracts to the 4. Zhou Yuqing glanced at the figures and promptly handed the contract to the 2 lawyers. 10 minutes later, the 4 parties confirmed that there were no issues with the purchase contract and signed their names. Zhou Yuqing initially intended to have Shun Jingyun co-sign the contract for the Fengsong No. 15 villa, as they had decided to make it their family's residence. However, Shun Jingyun declined, stating she preferred to add her name after their marriage. Recognizing her resolute stance, Zhou Yuqing refrained from further persuasion, knowing it was merely a matter of time. After finalizing the agreement, Zhou Yuqing instructed the company's finance department to transfer the funds into the homeowners' bank accounts. The journey from Yueqing Game Company to the real estate office took only 15 minutes, when Zhu had already coordinated with the staff there in advance. Upon arrival, they completed all the paperwork in just half an hour. Zhou Yuqing was highly satisfied with Wenju's efficiency, and once the three homeowners departed, he promptly handed her the agency fee along with a 20% bonus. Wenju suppressed her excitement and said, "Mr. Zhou, I am grateful that you chose me as your real estate agent." Zhou Yuqing smiled and replied, "You should thank Zhang Min." Wenju understood Zhou Yuqing's implication and responded, "I have already arranged to have dinner with her this evening." Zhou Yuqing nodded, stating, "It's getting late. I need to pick up the child from school. Should there be any future real estate matters, we can collaborate again." Wenju replied, "Certainly, take care." After Zhou Yuqing drove away, she enthusiastically punched the air twice, overwhelmed with excitement. This real estate transaction marked the smoothest of her career, yielding over 4 million in just 2 days, akin to picking money off the ground. As a shrewd and generous woman, Wenju recognized that her good fortune stemmed largely from Zhang Min. According to their agreement, she was to give Zhang Min 30% of the commission, equating to 660,000. However, feeling that was insufficient, she rushed to the bank and transferred 1 million into Zhang Min's account, subsequently sending her a text message. Upon entering his home with little Yaya, Zhou Yuqing's phone rang. Checking the caller ID, he saw it was Zhang Min. "Dear President Zhou, I am absolutely enamored with you." Zhou Yuqing smiled slightly, replying, "Fortunately, my wife isn't here. Otherwise, she would surely misconstrue your words." Zhang Min explained, "I was simply overwhelmed with excitement. Goodness, I merely introduced Wenju to you and ended up earning 1 million. How dramatic." Zhou Yuqing's expression turned astonished as he asked, "How much did Wenju give you as a referral fee?" Zhang Min responded, "A full million." It nearly dazzled my eyes. She also mentioned that this amount was a requirement from you. Zhou Yuqing raised an eyebrow. "As per our agreement, Wenju only needed to give you 660,000. Zhang Min was taken aback. 660,000? No, Wenju gave me 100. And the remaining 340,000 is her token of gratitude. Clearly, Wenju was quite generous. Zhou Yuqing had previously worried that she wouldn't provide Zhang Min with a suitable reward, but to his surprise, she had given even more, which enhanced his fondness for her. During dinner, Zhou Yuqing informed Shen Jingyun that he had purchased 3 villas. "Wife, we need to prioritize the renovation of Fengsong number 15 villa. As the lady of the house, what are your thoughts?" Shen Jingyun had evidently contemplated this and replied, "Although the bed, sofa, and toilet appear quite new, they have been used by others, and it would be best to replace them. Otherwise, I'll always feel uneasy." Zhou Yuqing nodded, affirming, "That is essential. Tomorrow, I will find a moving company to remove and sell anything that can be moved. Once cleared, we will refinish the flooring, repaint the walls, and refurbish the villa inside and out." Shen Jingyun expressed surprise. "Isn't that a bit excessive?" Zhou Yuqing responded, "If we don't do it now, it will be a hassle to address it after we move in. I think it would be best for you to find a reliable renovation company to redesign and decorate according to your vision." After some thought, Shen Jingyun agreed. "That makes sense. Do you have any specific requests?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "Just a spacious study will suffice. Everything else is secondary." Shen Jingyun smiled, "Not only a large study, but also an oversized bookshelf. Otherwise, in 2 years, your precious books will have nowhere to go." Zhou Yuqing chuckled, "You truly understand me, my dear wife." Chapter 253. Zhang Shui's astonishment. Little Yaya, who had been battling with her food, suddenly looked up and said, "Mommy, I want a toy house." Shen Jingyun smiled, "All right, dear, after dinner, let us head to the villa for a closer look." Zhou Yuqing agreed, "No problem." An hour later, the family of 3 arrived at Fengsong No. 15 villa. This time, Zhou Yuqing and Shen Jingyun scrutinized the place carefully, deliberating for over 2 hours before finalizing the general renovation plan. Shen Jingyun asked, "Should we buy a few pieces of calligraphy or paintings to hang in your study?" Zhou Yuqing promptly declined, "Let us skip that. I have no interest in calligraphy or paintings." Shen Jingyun pouted, "I had planned to hang a couple of paintings in the study, but hearing you say that makes me feel a bit embarrassed to do so." Zhou Yuqing laughed, "What? Afraid I'll accuse you of being pretentious? My dear, you really are too modest." Shen Jingyun shot him a glance. "Compared to you, everyone's skin is rather thin." By the time they returned home, it was already past 10 in the evening. Shen Jingyun did not give Zhou Yuqing the chance to cause any mischief. She bathed little Yaya, then cuddled with her to sleep, leaving Zhou Yuqing feeling quite uncomfortable. Thus, he retreated to the study and picked up a book titled Development and Design of Software Products. During this period, Zhou Yuqing had been engrossed in literature on software design. Having a solid foundation, he achieved a mastery level of 89 solely through his own efforts, without the aid of any system. The primary motivation for elevating software development skills to a master level is to create a mobile communication application. In a previous life in the Xia Nation, the most significant mobile communication software was the Mixin app. Mixin boasts a multitude of features. Communication and chatting are merely one aspect, encompassing social circles, payments, mini-programs, public accounts, entertainment, lending, and more. With the formidable traffic generated by the Mixin app, the small penguin company reaped annual revenues soaring to hundreds of billions, with net profits exceeding 150 billion. Such a substantial pie is not one that Zhou Yuqing intends to let slip away. Once his software development skills reach a master level, Zhou Yuqing will select a partner to embark on the development of Mixin and QR codes. The need for collaboration stems from the challenges involved. While developing Mixin is not inherently difficult, the real challenge lies in attracting users. In his past life, the small penguin company leveraged its near monopoly in the communication sector and spared no expense on advertising, thus introducing the public to Mixin. Should Zhou Yuqing aim to expand Mixin's reach and influence, he is confident that within 3 years, he could establish it as an indispensable communication tool for mobile users in the Xia Nation. However, Zhou Yuqing does not wish to invest his time and energy into a mere application, even one that could be financially rewarding. Armed with an all-encompassing development system, Zhou Yuqing has a clear vision for himself to ascend the heights of technology and delve into realms others have yet to explore, such as GPUs, chips, artificial intelligence, and new energy batteries. Only by doing so can Zhou Yuqing feel justified in having traversed to this world. In the visiting room of the Yunhai First Detention Center, Zhang Xuwei sat in a chair, his face haggard, exuding an aura of despair that starkly contrasted with his former arrogance. Opposite him sat Fan Mingda, the chief attorney of the Nanming Group, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, his hair meticulously styled, radiating vitality and forming a stark juxtaposition to Zhang Xuwei. Extracting a pen and a notebook from his briefcase, Fan Mingda spoke in a deep voice. "Manager Zhang, please elaborate on the specifics of the situation." Zhang Xuwei gritted his teeth and replied, "I was harmed by Zhou Yuqing." Fan Mingda furrowed his brow, stating, "What I require is a detailed account of the entire incident, not your subjective opinion." Taking a deep breath to suppress his frustration, Zhang Xuwei recounted the events of that night in full. He understood that whether he faced sentencing hinged on Fan Mingda's input, thus he dared not conceal any detail. Upon concluding, Fan Mingda remarked, "You mentioned that Su Fa sent you 2 women, correct?" "Yes." "Then why do you attribute your misfortune to Zhou Yuqing? He should have no knowledge of your hotel." "Only Su Fa knows the precise location of the hotel. He likely acted under Zhou Yuqing's instructions to betray me," Zhang Xuwei asserted. Fan Mingda set down his pen and said coolly, "It appears you are not entirely foolish. However, you have misjudged one matter." "What matter?" "Zhou Yuqing did not instruct Su Fa to take any actions. Su Fa's betrayal was entirely his own decision." "Why would he do that?" "Because Shun Jingyun's father is Shun Qinggang, ranked 6th in the Yunhai government. Su Fa had to involve you to curry favor with Zhou Yuqing and Shun Jingyun for his own protection." "Manager Zhang, you once dated Shun Jingyun during university. Surely you are not entirely oblivious to her family background? How could this be?" Zhang Xuwei sat there, stunned, his pale face betraying disbelief. Years ago, he had inquired about Shun Jingyun's family situation. She had told him her father was an ordinary police officer and her mother a university professor, with a younger brother still in high school. Had he known that the ordinary police officer was such a significant figure, he would never have betrayed Shun Jingyun for a woman who was both overweight and unattractive. The thought left Zhang Xuwei filled with regret. "Manager Zhang, your situation has already spread throughout the business community. Miss Chu Xin is extremely displeased, and the company's image has been significantly affected." Zhang Xuwei had anticipated this outcome, asking, "Then why are you still willing to represent me?" Fan Mingda replied, "Although Miss Chu is angry, she still remembers some past affections, which is why she sent me personally." Zhang Xuwei inquired, "How long will I be sentenced?" Fan Mingda responded, "Your most significant trouble lies in assaulting a police officer, resulting in minor injuries. According to legal regulations, your sentence could range from 1 to 3 years. Zhang Xuei's face turned ashen, his eyes filled with despair. He knew that Zhou Yuqing would not let him off the hook for his actions, and his sentence was likely to be 3 years. Today, Miss Chu will meet with Zhou Yuqing. Zhang Xuei's heart quivered at this revelation, incredulously asking, "She would plead for me with Zhou Yuqing?" Fan Mingda replied coolly, "Do you believe that is possible?" Zhang Xuei sighed, a bitter smile forming. "Impossible." Fan Mingda stated, "It is already a significant favor for Miss Chu to allow me to represent you. She will certainly not plead with Zhou Yuqing for leniency. She cannot afford to lose face. Chapter 254. The frantic Zheng Xue. A glimmer of malice flickered in Zheng Xue's eyes as he said, "If that is the case, then there is nothing more to discuss." "What do you mean?" Fan Mingda asked. "Lawyer Fan, please inform Miss Chu that I possessed some rather compromising videos of her on my phone. Should anything happen to me, those videos will promptly surface online." Fan Mingda's expression shifted dramatically, his voice sharp as he demanded, "Do you understand the gravity of your words?" Zheng Xue, seemingly deranged, gritted his teeth. "Of course I understand. At this juncture, do you think I have anything left to lose?" Fan Mingda regarded Zheng Xue with a deep stare, saying, "It seems we have underestimated you. State your demands." "I do not wish to serve time." Without hesitation, Fan Mingda replied, "You are dreaming. Do you think the injured officer will forgive you? This matter is beyond his control." Zheng Xue rose from his seat, declaring, "I do not care. I will be in there for no more than a month. Otherwise, we shall perish together. Let me tell you, those videos of Miss Chu will be explosive. Once released, she will never be able to show her face again." With that, Zheng Xue shouted towards the door, "I want to go back." The door creaked open. A police officer entered and escorted Zheng Xue away. Fan Mingda's face turned ashen. He realized the gravity of the situation. Upon exiting the detention center, Fan Mingda immediately got into his car and called Chu Xian. At that moment, Chu Xian's convoy was less than 10 kilometers from the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing plant. The news of Kunpeng Group's development of ultra-large capacity batteries and rapid charging technology had already spread throughout the communications industry. Chu Xian's initial reaction was disbelief, prompting her to send someone to investigate. Once the information was confirmed, she promptly brought over a dozen experts to the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing plant. The second-generation smartphones of the Nanming Group were preparing for mass production. If they were the first to utilize the large capacity batteries and rapid charging technology, it would secure a competitive edge in the market. "Lawyer Fan, you need not report on Zheng Xue's situation. I will not inquire further. Miss, he may have recorded some videos of you." "What?" Chuxin's expression instantly darkened to an extreme, and she asked, "Did he threaten you?" "Yes," Zheng Xue replied. "He said that if he goes to prison, he will immediately upload those videos online and take you down with him." "Bastard," Chuxin couldn't help but curse, her eyes blazing with fury. She never imagined that the usually obsequious Zheng Xue, who had been almost subservient to the point of degradation, would dare to film her. Fortunately, Chuxin was not an ordinary person. After her rage, she took a deep breath to calm herself. "Are you certain he has my videos?" "Not certain, but I believe it is better to err on the side of caution." Chuxin's reckless behavior was no secret within the Nanming Group and the telecommunications industry. If Zheng Xue truly possessed those videos and uploaded them online, it would spell disaster for Chuxin. "I cannot remain under Zheng Xue's threat indefinitely. Lawyer Fan, Zheng Xue is an orphan. Few people gain his complete trust. I will investigate his social circle and purchase that video. Make haste." "Understood." After hanging up, Chuxin's expression was as dark as water. Zheng Xue's actions filled this proud heiress of the Nanming Group with an unprecedented sense of humiliation. She silently vowed that once she obtained the video, she would make Zheng Xue pay a devastating price. Soon, the convoy arrived at the Kunpeng battery manufacturing plant. As Chuxin stepped out of the vehicle, her demeanor had returned to its usual aloofness. "Haha, President Chuxin, good to see you again," Zhou Yuqin greeted with a smile. Chuxin appraised Zhou Yuqin and extended her hand, saying, "President Zhou, you truly astonish me." After a brief handshake, Zhou Yuqin withdrew his hand quickly, stating, "It is an honor for me and Kunpeng Group to receive your acknowledgement." After exchanging pleasantries, Chuxin asked directly, "President Zhou, has your production line achieved mass production?" "Yesterday, the first production line was completed and put into operation," Zhou Yuqin replied. "I would like to take a few batteries directly from the workshop for testing. You have no objection, I hope?" Chuxin inquired. Zhou Yuqin smiled, "Of course not." Without even having a cup of tea, Chuxin, accompanied by Zhou Yuqin, went to the workshop. They took over 10 batteries from the production line and entered the laboratory. More than 10 experts from the Nanming Group, working in pairs, conducted performance and safety tests on the Kunpeng batteries. Half an hour later, the tests concluded, revealing that the battery capacity reached an impressive 4,000 mAh, with safety features far exceeding those of batteries available on the market. A smile finally graced Chuxin's face as she remarked, "It seems our wager has resulted in my defeat." "The wager is unimportant. Cooperation is what truly matters," Zhou Yuqin replied. As one of the largest smartphone manufacturers in Xia country, Nanming Mobile was about to launch its second-generation smartphone. The first generation had sold an astonishing 85 million units. If they chose to use Kunpeng batteries and chargers, it would undoubtedly be a boon for Zhou Yuqin. Furthermore, should the Nanming Group switch battery suppliers, other groups would likely follow suit, thereby opening up the market. This was precisely why Zhou Yuqin had personally come to accompany Chuxin. Chu Xin then produced a check for 10 million and handed it to Zhou Yuqin, saying, "Cooperation is essential. And so is the wager. I, Chu Xin, am not one to accept defeat lightly." Zhou Yuqin accepted the check with a smile. "Thank you." Following this, Chu Xin had her experts test the fast-charging technology. A completely drained lithium battery was charged to full capacity in just 28 minutes, featuring an automatic shut-off function that prevented any safety issues, even if the charger was forgotten. This left both Chu Xin and the more than 10 experts from the Nanming Group astounded. Such rapid charging technology could be described as unparalleled. "President Zhou, I believe we need to discuss the terms of our cooperation," Chu Xin suggested. Zhou Yuqin pointed to Wang Guangzhong beside him, saying, "If President Chu Xin is inclined to choose us as the battery supplier for Nanming Mobile, you can directly contact General Manager Wang, as he oversees all matters concerning Kunpeng batteries." Chu Xin glanced at Wang Guangzhong, commenting, "It appears President Zhou has great trust in General Manager Wang." Zhou Yuqin replied with a smile, "One should not suspect those they employ." "Then I look forward to General Manager Wang's guidance in the future," Chu Xin said. Wang Guangzhong responded, "You jest. If anyone should be guiding, it is you and the Nanming Group guiding us." "President Zhou, it's already noon. Shall we go for a meal?" he added. Chapter 255. The unconventional Chu Xin was a woman who walked an unconventional path. "Is there a cafeteria here?" she inquired. Wang Guangzhong looked startled, replying, "Yes. I would like to sample the food from your factory's cafeteria," Chu Xin stated. Wang Guangzhong glanced at Zhou Yuqin, who smiled. "President Chu Xin is our first client. Her request must be honored." "Then I'll have the chef prepare a few dishes," Wang Guangzhong said. Chu Xin waved her hand. "No need. I prefer communal dishes." Observing a company's operations through the lens of its cafeteria, logistics, and security departments was Chu Xin's favorite method of assessment. These often overlooked departments could reveal a company's management level. Zhou Yuqin's eyes reflected surprise and admiration at Chu Xin's choice. Previously, he had thought of her as a spoiled heiress, but her actions today shattered that impression. Efficient and decisive in her actions, it was clear that Chu Xin's ascent to the position of vice president of the Nanming Group was not solely due to being Chen Ming's daughter. Upon entering the factory's dining area, the employees had already formed 4 long queues. Chu Xin approached the serving window to examine the dishes. To her astonishment, the offerings included 4 meat dishes and 4 vegetable dishes, along with milk and fruit, far more sumptuous than the meals at their own Nanming Group mobile manufacturing facility. Wang Guangzhong did not pretend to queue up, demonstrating their strict management. Instead, he handed Chu Xin and her party a tray directly. Each person selected their preferred dishes and found an unoccupied area to dine. Zhou Yuqin and Chu Xin took a seat at a secluded corner table. "President Chu Xin, is there something on your mind?" Zhou Yuqin asked. "Zheng Xuei," Chu Xin replied succinctly. Zhou Yuqin's face registered understanding, and he succinctly explained. "Su Fa is concerned I might retaliate against him, so he sold out Zheng Xuei. Is there any possibility of releasing him?" Chu Xin queried. Zhou Yuqin shook his head, saying, "Soliciting prostitution is one thing. The bribery and assaulting a police officer charges change the nature of the entire incident. Not even my future father-in-law can intervene. As the entire Yunhai police system is monitoring this situation, no one dares to pull any strings here. I apologize, but I truly cannot assist you." After a moment of silence, Chu Xin said, "He is using some of my videos to threaten me, and I find myself in a predicament." Zhou Yuqin was taken aback by Chu Xin's disclosure of such a significant matter. It was a display of considerable trust in him. "Are you certain?" he asked. "Who would risk incurring your wrath by posting videos online when they are about to go to prison? Even if someone did, it certainly wouldn't exceed 3 individuals. Even if we find that person, who can guarantee Zheng Xuei hasn't made backups? Once he is released, I will still be in trouble." Zhou Yuqin gazed at her deeply, smiling as he remarked, "President Chu, you jest. If we cannot resolve such trivial troubles, it is unlikely that Nanming Group would have reached this juncture." Chu Xan narrowed her eyes and replied, "First it was Su Fa, and now it is me. President Zhou, your skill in utilizing others to do your bidding is truly unparalleled." Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "Zheng Xuei is merely a clown. I have never regarded him seriously. Thus his fate holds no significance for me." After enjoying their lunch, Chu Xian and her party toured the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing plant before departing. As they watched the convoy gradually recede, Wang Guangzhong inquired, "President Zhou, will Nanming Group collaborate with us?" Zhou Yuqin smiled and said, "Have a bit more confidence. Remove the word if. Old Wang, spread the news of President Chu's visit to our battery plant." Wang Guangzhong immediately grasped Zhou Yuqin's intent, affirming, "I will handle it right away." That evening, Lang Yan, the vice president of Xingchen Group, who had previously crossed paths with Zhou Yuqin, called. "President Zhou, have you developed high-capacity batteries and fast-charging technology?" Zhou Yuqin scoffed inwardly at Lang Yan's inquiry, for news of their successful battery and charger testing had long circulated within the mobile industry. With Xingqian Group's extensive information network, how could they possibly remain unaware? President Lang, today President Chu led an expert team to our Kunpeng battery plant. After thorough testing, it has been confirmed that our battery capacity is 4,000 milliamp hours, requiring only 30 minutes for charging. In at most 3 days, we can commence mass production. Truly, heroes emerge in youth. Is President Chu preparing to equip the second generation of Nanming phones with your Kunpeng batteries? She merely harbors such intentions. Whether or not we will collaborate remains undetermined. President Zhou, I plan to lead a team to visit your facility tomorrow. Would you welcome us? Zhou Yuqin replied. What a question. Xingqian and Nanming phones are the top-selling models in Xiaogua. How could we not welcome you? Lang Yin laughed heartily. Then it is settled. Before Zhou Yuqin could place his phone down after concluding the call, it rang again with an unfamiliar number. This is Zhou Yuqin. May I ask who is calling? Hello. President Zhou, I am Rin Jiuzhou from Xiaoguan Communications Group. Zhou Yuqin's expression shifted to one of surprise as he pondered why Rin Jiuzhou would contact him. Given their lack of business ties. President Ren, how may I assist you? I have heard that you have developed high-capacity batteries and super-fast charging technology. We would like to visit your factory tomorrow. Would that be convenient for you? Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow. President Ren, has your company ventured into mobile manufacturing? We have developed our first generation of Xiaoguang smartphones and are seeking suitable battery suppliers. Rin Jiuzhou, realizing he could not hide the truth from Zhou Yuqin, decided to be forthright. President Ren, you have truly surprised me. I suspect both Xingqian Group and Nanming Group will find themselves in a predicament. This matter has yet to be disclosed publicly, so I kindly ask for your discretion. No problem. However, President Lang from Xingqian Group is scheduled to visit our manufacturing plant tomorrow. If your company also attends, this secret may be compromised. How about tomorrow evening? Very well. I shall await your arrival. After hanging up, a radiant smile graced Zhou Yuqin's face. President Chu's visit had successfully drawn the attention of both Xingqian Group and Xiaoguan Communications Group. As long as one of the three companies agreed to cooperate, the others would have no choice. Given that the performance of the chips used was largely similar, with only differences in phone design. If one party were to gain the advantage of Kunpeng batteries and fast-charging technology, the outcome would be inevitable. Chapter 256, A Bounty of Rich as Honey. What has brought you such joy? Do share. Shun Jingyun, clad in her favorite light red silk nightgown, emerged from the bedroom after soothing little Yaya to sleep. Zhou Yuqin's eyes brightened as he embraced Shun Jingyun's slender waist, smiling as he declared, our mobile batteries have found a market. Naturally, I am elated. That is indeed splendid news. Which company? Nanming Group, Xingqian Group, and Xiaoguan Communications Group. I am familiar with Nanming and Xingqian, but what is the situation with Xiaoguan? They have been developing smartphones, and it seems they have finally succeeded. Once all three companies adopt my Kunpeng batteries, other mobile manufacturers in Xiaogua will surely come seeking collaboration, allowing me to monopolize the entire battery and charger market. The question is, when that day arrives, will your production capacity keep pace? My factory can produce a maximum of 200,000 batteries per day, which will undoubtedly fall short. What then? Acquire other battery factories? Zhou Yuqin shook his head. Those who eat alone seldom meet with good fortune. I intend to partner with 3 reliable large-scale battery manufacturers. I will provide the technology while they handle production. As long as we can ensure a daily output of over 800,000 units, it will suffice to meet market demand. But your profits will diminish significantly. A reduction in profits means a corresponding decrease in my pressures. The Kunpeng mobile battery is merely a preliminary endeavor when the time is ripe. I shall develop batteries for electric vehicles, so you have been preparing all along. Of course, my dear, let us not dwell on such trivialities. I am feeling somewhat unwell. Concerned, Shin Jingyun asked, what ails you? That area is troubling me. With that, he swept Shin Jingyun into his arms and dashed into the bedroom. The following morning, Zhou Yuqin welcomed Lang Yin and his team at the Kunpeng battery manufacturing plant. Like Chu Xin, Lang Yin also brought along a group of experts to conduct performance and safety tests on the batteries and chargers on the production line. At 8 in the evening, Xiaoguan Communications Group CEO, Xiang Qinghong, arrived with 6 experts. After confirming that the batteries and chargers posed no issues, Xiang Qinghong placed an order for 10 million units with a 3-month delivery timeline, delivering a considerable surprise to Zhou Yuqin. Following Xiaoguan Communications Group's order, both Nanming Group and Xingqian Group swiftly placed their orders as well, with quantities reaching 30 million units, reflecting their greater confidence compared to Xiaoguan Group. Zhou Yuqin informed them of his limited production capacity, but suggested collaboration with their respective battery manufacturing plants, proposing a profit-sharing ratio of 7:3 in his favor. Without hesitation, both Nanming Group and Xingqian Group agreed. Kunpeng Group promptly dispatched 2 teams of skilled personnel to upgrade the battery production lines of both companies. Naturally, Zhou Yuqin would not divulge the core technology to them. In fact, even if they learned of it, it would pose no issue, as he had already applied for domestic and international patents. Yunhai First Detention Center dressed in a suit, Fan Window once more met with Zheng Xuei. With his impending verdict due tomorrow, Zheng Xuei felt anxious in recent days, believing that Chu Xin had disregarded his threats and was prepared to fight to the bitter end. Upon seeing Fan Winda, Zheng Xuei finally breathed a sigh of relief. Have you managed to resolve the matter? Fan Winda raised an eyebrow and inquired, what have you accomplished? Zheng Xuei coldly responded, are you feigning ignorance? Is this amusing? Fan Winda replied, Zheng Xuei, you must have heard the saying that wealth can move mountains. To speak frankly, we have acquired that video from Qiu Fang for a sum of 3 million. Zheng Xuei's expression changed dramatically. This is impossible. Qiu Fang was Zheng Xuei's clandestine partner, and they had grown up together as childhood friends. Zheng Xuei trusted her implicitly. Fan Wenda continued, now that I have mentioned Qiu Fang's name, you should be able to discern the veracity of this matter. After all, 3 million is sufficient for Qiu Fang to enjoy several years of comfort. Taking a deep breath, Zheng Xuei replied, even if Qiu Fang handed over the video to you, what of it? I still have several backups. Fan Wenda shook his head, saying, you truly are stubborn. Your so-called backups amount to merely 3, one on a cloud drive, and the other 2 on encrypted USB drives. Am I correct? Zheng Xuei's face paled, stammering you. Fan Wenda added, there is one more thing. We have uncovered that you have misused your corporate position to accept substantial bribes. We will be prosecuting you for commercial crimes. No, you cannot treat me this way. Zheng Xuei was utterly panicked, his eyes filled with fear and despair. Fan Wenda stood up, stating, I have come today primarily to advise you to seek a new lawyer and prepare mentally for the prospect of dying in prison. With that, Fan Wenda strode out, leaving Zheng Xuei's anguished cries behind. I want to see Chu Xin. Fan Wenda paused, turning back with a cold retort. You will have plenty of time for such daydreams in the future. The successful development of high-capacity mobile phone batteries and rapid charging technology propelled Kunpeng Group to prominence within the industry. In addition to Nanming, Xingchen, and Xiaoguang, over a dozen other mobile manufacturers sought to negotiate partnerships. Zhou Yuqin welcomed all inquiries, yet orders were stacked behind those of the 3 major companies. Wang Guangzhong calculated that these orders could yield an astonishing profit of 3 billion for Kunpeng Group, which had total assets of only around 2 billion. Overnight, Zhou Yuqin emerged as a new titan in the communications market, amassing wealth beyond measure. Conversely, more than a dozen battery manufacturers faced the peril of bankruptcy due to lost orders. Zhou Yuqin initially planned to seek another factory for outsourcing, but was dissuaded by Wang Guangzhong and others. They believed the future belonged to smartphones, asserting that as long as they maintained technological superiority, orders would continuously flow in. Given that orders were not lacking, why divide 30% of the profits with others? Wang Guangzhong and the senior executives aimed to capitalize on the impending closures of mobile manufacturing plants, intending to acquire a few at low prices and increase daily battery production to 600,000 units. Zhou Yuqin, not stubbornly clinging to his original plan, entrusted the matter entirely to Wang Guangzhong. Brother, I have exciting news. I have obtained my driver's license. On that day, Zhou Qing called Zhou Yuqin, her tone brimming with excitement. Zhou Yuqin chuckled, then I have good news for you too. The car I prepared for you has been gathering dust in the underground parking lot. What? Zhou Qing retorted, is that your idea of good news? Chapter 257. Zhou Qing's excitement during her driving lessons. Zhou Qing had spent nearly every day browsing cars online. She had already chosen a model and was planning to persuade her brother to buy it for her, only to discover that Zhou Yuqin had taken it upon himself to purchase one. This left her feeling quite frustrated. Zhou Yuqin queried, have you already decided on a car? Do share. Zhou Qing replied helplessly, a red Baoche Mini. Zhou Yuqin scoffed dismissively, a car worth 30-some thousand? What is there to be excited about? Zhou Qing retorted, what car did you buy for me? A luxury vehicle worth millions? Zhou Yuqin teasingly replied, not quite. I knew it. Just tell me. I need to prepare myself. A red Ferrari sports car, valued at over 30 million. Huh. Zhou Qing could hardly believe it and exclaimed, brother, are you referring to Zimbabwean currency? Zhou Yuqin replied nonchalantly, is it difficult to comprehend that a billionaire like myself would purchase a luxury car for a young girl? I assure you, the Ferrari is currently parked in the space beneath our parents' building. When will you come over? What? Zhou Qing could not contain a shriek. Brother, are you telling the truth? Zhou Yuqin retorted, believe it or not. I believe it. Zhou Qing cried, I'm not waiting. I'm heading to Yunhai right now. You're crazy. It's nearly 4 in the afternoon. There's a bus at 4:30. I'll arrive at Yunhai bus station by 6. Prepare some of your signature dishes, and I will certainly arrive before 7. With that, Zhou Qing hung up. Zhou Yuqin muttered, "That crazy girl." He picked up his phone and called Xian Yanhai, instructing him to send someone to the highway entrance to pick up Zhou Qing. He then informed Zhou Qing to get off at the highway entrance, where a driver would escort her home. After picking up Xiao Yeye from school, the father and daughter ventured to the seafood market. Although Zhou Yuqin often spoke to Zhou Qing rather brusquely, he held deep affection for her in his heart, knowing that Zhou Qing adored seafood. He planned to prepare a lavish seafood feast for her. "Dear, didn't you say we were having noodles this afternoon? Why the sudden switch to seafood?" Upon returning home, Shen Jingyun was astonished to see the crabs on the table. Zhou Yuqin emerged from the kitchen with a plate of braised sea cucumbers, saying, "Zhou Qing, that crazy girl. We'll be home shortly." Shen Jingyun paused for a moment, asking, "Hasn't she been learning to drive? Has she really obtained her license so quickly?" Zhou Yuqin sighed. "She just got her license this afternoon. She initially planned to come to Yanhai tomorrow. Blame me for mentioning the Ferrari." Shen Jingyun smiled. "And now she can't wait to come." Zhou Yuqin nodded. "Exactly." Just then, a knock echoed from outside. "That must be her," said Zhou Yuqin. He went to open the door, and Shen Jingyun found Zhou Qing standing at the entrance in a light red short skirt, holding a suitcase, looking graceful and charming. "Sister-in-law, I've missed you so much." Upon seeing Shen Jingyun, Zhou Qing immediately dropped her suitcase and enveloped her in a warm embrace. Shen Jingyun laughed, scolding, "Oh, spare me. It's been 3 or 4 weeks since the holiday began, and you haven't come to Yunhai to visit." Zhou Qing released her hold, giggling. "Wasn't I focused on learning to drive? Sister-in-law, did my brother really buy me a Ferrari?" Shen Jingyun nodded, "Yes. After dinner, I'll take you to see it." "That's wonderful." Shen Jingyun grabbed Zhou Qing's suitcase, saying, "Stop lingering at the door. Come inside quickly." Entering the living room, Zhou Qing gasped at the lavish seafood spread on the dining table, exclaiming, "Wow, this is too extravagant." Shen Jingyun smiled, "Your brother knows you love seafood, so he prepared this just for you." "Really?" Zhou Qing called toward the kitchen, "Brother, I love you. Keep your voice down." Zhou Yuqin stepped out and was suddenly struck by the sight of Zhou Qing in a short skirt that nearly revealed her thighs. "What are you trying to do dressing like that? Filming a movie? Quickly change into a pair of pants," he admonished. Zhou Qing glanced down at her skirt and replied, "Do you understand? This is the trendiest short skirt this year. Many girls at our school wear it." Zhou Yuqin frowned. "I don't care about others. I only care about you. Hurry and change, or the Ferrari matter ends here." Upon hearing this, Zhou Qing was alarmed and quickly replied, "No, I'll change right away." In less than 5 minutes, Zhou Qing emerged in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans that showcased her exquisite figure. Zhou Yuqin nodded in satisfaction. "Now that is more like it." Zhou Qing pouted and asked, "Where's Xiaoya?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "She's playing with building blocks in her room." Zhou Qing expressed her displeasure. "That little girl knows I'm here, and yet doesn't come out to see me. Just wait until I teach her a lesson." Not long after, laughter from Zhou Qing and Xiaoya resonated from the bedroom. During dinner, Zhou Yuqin inquired, "Wife, didn't you call Shiryan?" Shen Jingyun replied, "I did, but he is busy." Zhou Yuqin wondered aloud, "What has that guy been occupied with lately? It feels like I haven't seen him in ages." Shen Jingyun sighed, "Not just you. My parents haven't seen him for half a month either. I recently checked the gold futures market, and it's been performing poorly, dropping for 10 consecutive days." "Really?" Zhou Yuqin looked up in surprise. "Has the gold futures market reversed?" He had been preoccupied with the Kunpeng phone battery and hadn't monitored the financial market. Zhou Qing interjected, "Not only have gold futures reversed, but oil futures and the stock market have as well." Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow. "You've been keeping an eye on financial news?" Zhou Qing replied proudly, "Of course. I've shorted gold futures with my allowance, and it's already risen by 6%. Zhou Yuqin's expression darkened. "Why are you dabbling in gold futures instead of focusing on your studies?" Zhou Qing inwardly scolded herself for speaking out of turn and chuckled. "I've been taking a finance management elective, and doing futures is just practical application, not for profit. Besides, it's only a few thousand yuan. Even if it multiplied several times, it wouldn't be enough to buy a single tire for a Ferrari." Zhou Yuqin eyed her skeptically. "Is that true?" Zhou Qing assured him, more truthful than pearls. "Brother, I'm out of pocket money. Have some pity on me." Zhou Yuqin shot her a glance. "Didn't I give you tens of thousands before? You spent it all?" Zhou Qing lamented, "Mom confiscated it all." Zhou Yuqin said coolly, "I'll call Mom and ask." Zhou Qing immediately urged, "Then hurry and call." Seeing her unperturbed demeanor, Zhou Yuqin feigned generosity. "Fine, I'll take your word for it." Suddenly, Shen Jingyun couldn't help but laugh. It was entertaining how these two siblings, who rarely met, engaged in a battle of wits whenever they did. After dinner, Zhou Qing eagerly asked Zhou Yuqin to take her to see the car. The family arrived at parking space 86 in building number 7. Zhou Qing was instantly captivated by the sleek red Ferrari before her. "Oh my goodness, it's absolutely stunning." Shen Jingyun pulled out the keys and offered them to her with a smile. "Dare to take it for a spin?" "I dare," Zhou Qing replied. taking the keys and opening the door to sit inside. Zhou Yuqin, feeling a bit uneasy, took the passenger seat. Zhou Qing cautiously started the engine and slowly drove around the parking lot, her expression a mix of nervousness and excitement. After completing a lap, she parked back in the original spot, exhaling deeply. That was amazing. Zhou Yuqin retorted, you can stop right there. The illustrious Ferrari was driven like a tractor. I'm impressed. Zhou Qing huffed, give me 2 days, and I'll drive it at 200. Zhou Yuqin replied, stop boasting. Tomorrow, I'll find you a reliable female instructor to practice with for a couple of days and improve your driving skills. Zhou Qing beamed, brother, you're so good to me. This is your reward. With that, Zhou Qing leaned in and planted a kiss on his cheek. Hey, Zhou Yuqin exclaimed, wiping his face and protesting, how old are you? Do you even know what no physical contact between men and women means? Zhou Qing dismissed him with a scoff. Giving you a kiss is a privilege, so don't act like you're above it. Zhou Yuqin replied, I don't need your approval. Shun Jingyun interjected with a smile. Zhou Qing, your brother bought a villa. Would you like to see it? Zhou Qing's eyes widened in surprise. A villa? My goodness. Zhou Yuqin, you're becoming quite the nouveau riche. Shun Jingyun laughed heartily at Zhou Qing's words. Zhou Yuqin, unimpressed, said, enough chatter. Are you going or not? Zhou Qing answered eagerly, of course. I've never been in a villa before. Xiaya chimed in. Annie, the villa Dad bought is really big, with a lawn, garden, and swimming pool. I love it there. Zhou Qing asked, then why haven't you moved in? Xiaya replied, because a lot of uncles are renovating it. Recently, Zhou Yuqin had entrusted all matters regarding the villa's renovations to Shin Jingyun. She hired a reliable design team, who completed the blueprints in 2 days. Then, she hired the top renovation team in Yunhai at a premium to execute the plans. Every evening, Zhou Yuqin would drive Shin Jingyun and Xiaya to check on the villa. At the current pace, it was estimated that it would be completed in about a month. Half an hour later, Zhou Yuqin drove the 3 ladies to Villa Fengsong No. 15. As soon as they entered, Zhou Qing, much like Lu Laolao exploring the Grandview Garden, was endlessly praising the place. After a tour, she linked her arm with Zhou Yuqin's and, employing her best act of charm, said, brother, I don't want a flat anymore. I want a villa in the future too. Zhou Yuqin nodded, no problem. When you get engaged, I'll gift you a villa. Zhou Qing protested, that's too late. Zhou Yuqin retorted, if there's no one to accompany you, would you dare live in such a large place by yourself? Aren't you afraid at all? Suddenly, images from a movie flashed in Zhou Qing's mind, causing her to shiver. Forget it, pretend I didn't say anything. Shin Jingyun smiled, Zhou Qing. There are many rooms here, you can choose one. Since it's under renovation, you can design it yourself. Zhou Qing's eyes lit up, sister-in-law, you're the best. I'll go choose one right now. Shin Jingyun replied, I'll accompany you. After some deliberation, Zhou Qing ultimately selected a room on the east side of the second floor, approximately 40 square meters in size. Concurrently, Shin Shiyin was at the airport seeing off Qin Yuyu. Besides him, there were 2 other young men of similar age. Judging by appearance alone, these 2 were slightly less distinguished than Shin Shiyin, yet they exuded a more composed demeanor. Both young men were celebrated talents in the Yunhai business circle. One was Mei Lin, the heir of the Mei Group, and the other was Fu Yonghui, who had just become the CEO of a southern logistics company. The 3 individuals are rivals in love, all vying for the affections of Qin Yuyu, leading to mutual disdain among them. However, it is worth noting that Qin Yuyu had confided in only Shin Shiyin about her plans for the evening. The 2 share a mutual fondness for one another, existing in a realm that transcends mere friendship yet has not quite blossomed into romance. Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui's presence was entirely orchestrated by Qin Yuyu's father, Qin Kuan. At just under 50 years of age, Qin Kuan maintains a remarkable physique, likely a result of his lifelong dedication to martial arts. His hair is entirely devoid of gray. His square face exudes an intense gaze, and his commanding presence is palpable, instilling respect without a word of anger. After offering a few admonitions to Qin Yuyu, Qin Kuan stepped aside, granting the 4 young adults the space to interact. Qin Yuyu politely acknowledged Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui before pulling Shun Shiyin aside and directly inquiring, do you like me? Without hesitation, Shun Shiyin responded affirmatively, yes, I do. Qin Yuyu replied, I like you too. From this day forth, you shall no longer be my pretend boyfriend. You are officially my boyfriend. During my time studying abroad, you are not to engage in flirtations with any other women. Is that understood? Shun Shiyin nodded, affirming, understood. Rising onto her toes, Qin Yuyu boldly kissed Shin Shiyin, prompting astonished glances from surrounding travelers as the young couple unabashedly embraced their affection. Qin Kuan's expression darkened, while Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui seethed with indignation. I'm leaving, Qin Yuyu declared as she released Shun Shiyin and approached her father, enveloping him in a hug. Dad, you mustn't bully Shiyin. Taking a deep breath, Qin Kuan remarked, You are driving me to the brink. Qin Yu retorted. One must conduct oneself with decisiveness and clarity. There should be no ambiguity, as you have always taught me. Qin Kuan, somewhat exasperated, replied, You've absorbed much of what I've imparted, yet you seem to remember only this lesson. All right, be on your way. Don't forget to call me once you arrive. With a simple affirmation. Qin Yu nodded at Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui before blowing a kiss to Shen Shiyan as she made her way to the boarding gate. As she gradually faded from view, Shen Shiyan remained rooted to the spot, feeling a profound emptiness. Mr. Shun, President Qin requests a word with you, announced Huang Qishan, Qin Kuan's personal bodyguard, as he approached Shen Shiyan. Shaken from his reverie, Shen Shiyan's face betrayed his growing anxiety. Very well, he replied. In a cafe at the airport. Shen Shiyan found himself seated across from Qin Kuan. Xiaoshen, your father is Shen Qinggang, correct? Indeed. Why did you not choose a political path? Qin Kuan's voice was gentle yet firm, imposing considerable pressure on Shen Shiyan. My temperament is ill-suited for it. There are many young talents pursuing Yu. What makes you believe you stand out among them? Take Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui, for instance. Both hold prominent positions in their respective companies and are well known in the business realm. Our family, the Shuns, lacks prominence in business, and I must start from scratch. Thus, I require time to prove I can provide Yu with a good life. I have conducted an investigation into you, and the assessment I received was rather unflattering, arrogant and frivolous, ambitious yet lacking substance. Were it not for the fact that he was seated across from Qin Kuan, Shen Shiyan might have unleashed a torrent of indignation. Such disparaging remarks were utterly outrageous. Regaining his composure, he responded, Uncle Qin, I reiterate, I need time. Qin Kuan nodded before continuing. What are your thoughts on your future brother-in-law, Zhou Yuchen? Shen Shiyan paused contemplatively before stating, I do not harbor fondness for Zhou Yuchen. Yet I must concede that he is exceptional, a benchmark I must strive to surpass. Qin Kuan found amusement in Shen Shiyan's candor. He built his fortune from the ground up in less than 6 months, emerging as a magnate in both the gaming and telecommunications industries. With a net worth exceeding 100 billion. Such an extraordinary individual has merely earned your acknowledgement of being exceptional? Xiaoshen, your aspirations are quite lofty. Rising from his seat, Qin Kuan gazed down at Shen Shiyan, asserting, were you to possess even half of Zhou Yuchen's capabilities and achievements, I would wholeheartedly approve of your relationship with Yu. With that, Qin Kuan departed the cafe, leaving Shen Shiyan feeling a mix of determination and indignation. Old Huang, what is your opinion of Shen Shiyan? Qin Kuan asked abruptly in the car. Huang Qishan smirked disdainfully. He is inexperienced and lacking self-awareness, yet harbors grand aspirations. Shen Qinggang is a formidable figure, yet it is unfortunate he has not properly guided his son. Sighing, Qin Kuan lamented, indeed, a tiger begets a dog. Yet, he has fathered a daughter and found a fine son-in-law. A glimmer of interest flickered in Huang Qishan's eyes. Zhou Yuchen is indeed impressive. I shall seek him out in a few days. His instincts honed through years of training. Huang Qishan had sensed a palpable danger when he encountered Zhou Yuchen at the airport. Had a confrontation ensued, he believed he would have undoubtedly faced defeat. Thus, he had been diligently practicing, aiming to refine his skills to confront Zhou Yuchen in a fair fight. With an air of resignation, Qin Kuan replied, Old Huang, it would be wise to abandon that notion. He is a billionaire and has no reason to risk himself in a contest of strength with someone like you. Huang Qishan retorted coolly, I shall not grant him the opportunity to decline. Qin Kuan's brow furrowed. Old Huang, we live in a society governed by law. Do not revert to the ways of the past. I understand, Huang Qishan replied. To outsiders, their relationship appeared to be that of employer and bodyguard, yet in truth, Huang Qishan was Qin Kuan's genuine apprentice, having grown up together, closer than brothers. Huang Qishan was a martial arts enthusiast, passionately devoted to his practice. In his youth, he had clashed with a notorious gang leader, leading to devastating consequences when his girlfriend was tragically killed while attempting to save him. Consumed by rage, Huang Qishan exacted revenge, resulting in a 12-year prison sentence. Upon his release, he had remained by Qin Kuan's side, unmarried to this day. Old Huang, you are 44 now. Perhaps it is time to seek a partner, Qin Kuan suggested. A shadow of sorrow crossed Huang Qishan's face as he replied, where can I find another Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi was the name of the woman who had sacrificed herself for Huang Qishan. With a heavy sigh, Qin Kuan chose to remain silent on the matter. Feeling wounded in his pride, Shen Shiyan lingered in the cafe for 20 minutes before finally emerging. Upon reaching the parking lot, he was confronted by Mei Lin and Fu Yonghui, each driving a sports car that effectively blocked his vehicle. What are you doing? Shen Shiyan frowned. Mei Lin stepped out of her car, a cold smile gracing her lips. Shen Shiyan, do you truly believe you are worthy of Yu? Shen Shiyan, not one to back down, retorted in an infuriating tone, Whether I am worthy of Yu is not for you to decide, but for Yu herself. I am delighted that Yu believes herself worthy, which is why she has become my girlfriend. However, you too, regardless of your wealth, cannot compare to Yu, for she harbors no affection for you. Fu Yonghui, without even stepping out of his car, disdainfully remarked, Yu is merely enchanted by you. Once she realizes that the only admirable trait of the man she fancies is his affluent father, she will undoubtedly leave you. Indeed, Mei Lin interjected. A person in their 20s, lacking both charisma and career, what distinguishes you from refuse if not for your prominent father's status? Shun Shiyan retorted sharply. I believe those words would serve you both just as well. Mei Lin, incensed, exclaimed, what do you mean by that? Shun Shiyan interrupted. A good dog does not obstruct the path. Begone. I refuse to engage in idle banter with two forlorn suitors. As Fu Yonghui and Mei Lin prepared to respond, a cacophony of honking erupted from behind. A taxi driver leaned out, shouting, are you leaving or not? Mei Lin then realized that their sports car was obstructing the road, with several vehicles lined up behind them. Left with no option, Fu Yonghui and Mei Lin drove away. Shun Shiyan muttered bitterly, how lowly one's vision can be. While it appeared that Shun Shiyan held the upper hand in their verbal sparring, he alone recognized the sting of their barbed words had indeed affected him. Chapter 260. Intoxication. At 1 o'clock in the morning, Shun Jingyun's phone vibrated unexpectedly. Since giving birth to Xiaoyu, she had taken to silencing her phone at night to avoid waking her child. Hello, Shirtu, is there something wrong? Shun Jingyun stepped out of her bedroom to answer the call. This is Hu Zhe, the owner of the Huiguang bar. May I confirm that you are Shin Xiao's, no? Shin Shiyan's sister? Indeed. Hu Zhe, why do you have my brother's phone? Ms. Shun, Mr. Shun has had quite a bit to drink. I had no choice but to find your number in his contacts to notify you. Thank you for letting me know. I will go fetch him right away. After hanging up, Shin Jingyun walked into Zhou Yuqin's study and pushed the door open. Zhou Yuqin was engrossed in his reading. Hearing the noise, he turned to look at Shin Jingyun. My dear, what time is it? Why are you still awake? Darling, Shirtu is utterly intoxicated at Huiguang bar. Could you please help me bring him back? Upon hearing this, Zhou Yuqin immediately stood up and said, I will go at once. Do you know where Huiguang bar is? Shin Jingyun asked. Huiguang bar is the most renowned establishment on Yunhai Entertainment Street. Though I've never been, I have certainly heard much about it. That's good. Be careful and return swiftly. Rest assured, Zhou Yuqin replied with an okay gesture, slipped on his shoes, grabbed his keys, and departed. Half an hour later, Zhou Yuqin arrived at Huiguang bar. The cacophony of noise crashed into his ears like a tidal wave, with the thumping music deafening. The scene before him was awash with flashing lights, as numerous scantily clad young men and women danced energetically on the floor. In a previous life, Zhou Yuqin had been among them, but now he felt strangely out of place in this atmosphere. His keen gaze quickly located Shin Shiyan, slumped over a table in slumber. Beside him sat a man in his 30s, seemingly engrossed in a game on his phone. I am Zhou Yuqin, Shin Shiyan's brother-in-law. You must be Hu Zhe. Indeed. I am Hu Zhe. Mr. Zhou, Shun Xiao has consumed quite a lot of alcohol here. Will you be settling his tab or covering it yourself? I'll cover it. Zhou Yuqin replied. How much is it? 263,000, Hu Zhe stated. How could it be so much? Zhou Yuqin's face displayed shock. Hu Zhe explained that Shin Shiyan often frequented the bar with his wealthy friends, staying out until the early hours, and the exorbitantly priced drinks had accumulated rapidly. Upon entering the bar that night in a foul mood, he ordered 2 bottles of Ace of Spades for every table. While a bottle might cost a few thousand outside, within the bar, it reached a staggering 20,000. May I review the surveillance footage? Of course, Hu Zhe anticipated Zhou Yuqin's request and led him to the monitor. After reviewing the footage, Zhou Yuqin extracted a clip of Shun Shiyan buying drinks for everyone and sent it to his email. Hu Zhe, please bring me Shun Shiyan's IU. I will settle his debts. Zhou Yuqin produced a black card as he spoke. Hu Zhe, well-versed in such matters, immediately recognized the card from the commercial bank of Xia Country, with a limit of 100 million. Only those with substantial fortunes could obtain such a card. Realizing that this young man was not ordinary, Hu Zhe's demeanor grew even more respectful. Certainly, please wait a moment. Before long, Zhou Yuqin settled the bill. With the assistance of security personnel, he helped Shun Shiyan out of the bar. As soon as they stepped outside, a gust of wind prompted Shin Shiyan to vomit profusely. The stench unbearable. 2 security staff members found their trousers splattered. Zhou Yuqin frowned and apologized to them. The guards, accustomed to such occurrences, assured him it was no trouble, helping Shin Shiyan into the car. Feeling somewhat guilty, Zhou Yuqin took out 600 yuan from his wallet, giving 300 to each of the security staff before departing with Shin Shiyan. Perhaps due to the expulsion of alcohol, Shin Shiyan seemed somewhat more lucid, chattering incessantly on the way home. Upon arriving, Shin Jingyun rushed forward with a cup of honey water. Wait, Zhou Yuqin gestured for her to pause, guiding Shun Shiyan to the bathroom, positioning him in front of the toilet, and gently patting his back. Shun Shiyan retched 3 times, and after the 4th, with nothing left to expel, Zhou Yuqin flushed the toilet and helped him to the sofa in the living room. Sure to, drink some honey water, Shun Jingyun softly urged. As if recognizing her familiar voice, Shun Shiyan opened his mouth and drank the entire cup of honey water. Sis, am I a failure? Shun Shiyan asked, tears streaming down his face as he looked at Shun Jingyun. Shun Jingyun quickly realized that her brother was struggling with deeper issues and reassured him, sure to. You have only recently returned and already earned over 100 million. If you are a failure, then I am far beneath even that. Shun Shiyan cried out. The only reason I can earn such money is because Zhou Yuqin provided the funds. Sis, do you know? I detest him. I despise him so much. Shun Jingyun turned her gaze to Zhou Yuqin, who shrugged, displaying a look of helplessness. Sure to, why do you harbor such disdain for Zhou Yuqin? Shun Shiyan wept even more, exclaiming, because Zhou Yuqin is so exceptional, I feel like a fool in his presence. Shun Jingyun took a tissue, wiping his tears as she said, sure to, you are you. He is he. We need not compare ourselves to him. Shun Shiyan shook his head and said, sister, do you know? Today, I met Yu's father. He looks down on me, belittling me to the point of worthlessness, stating that if I possessed even half the ability and achievements of Zhou Yuqin, he would consent to my relationship with Yu. Ha ha ha. Upon hearing this, I felt an overwhelming urge to slap him hard across the face. Shun Jingyun furrowed her delicate brows and remarked, that man is utterly despicable. Shun Shiyan replied, indeed, he is insufferable, but the problem is that I simply cannot measure up. Zhou Yuqin became a rising star in both the gaming and telecommunications industries within a mere 4 to 5 months, amassing a fortune exceeding 10 billion. And what about me? Even if granted 4 to 5 years, I doubt I could achieve that. Sister, I do not want to lose Yu. My feelings for her are profound. Shun Jingyun quickly reassured him, sure to, as long as you are willing to put in the effort, you will surely be able to be with Yu. Chapter 261. Shun Jingyun's defenses crumbled, uncertain if Shun Jingyun's words of comfort had any effect. Shun Shiyan cried until he eventually fell asleep. Zhou Yuqin carried him to the guest room's bed and said, darling, it's getting late. You have work tomorrow, so hurry and get some rest. Shun Jingyun glanced at her inebriated brother and remarked, this is the first time I have seen Shurtu in such a state. Zhou Yuqin chuckled, what? Are you feeling sorry for him? Shun Jingyun retorted, he is my little brother. How could I not feel for him? Zhou Yuqin smirked and said, do you know how carefree your little brother is when he's out there? Shun Jingyun was taken aback, asking, what do you mean? Zhou Yuqin replied, let us go outside. The two made their way to the living room, where Zhou Yuqin pulled out the receipt Shun Shiyan had signed at the extravagant bar, waving it in the air. 3 rounds of drinks, 263,000. Shiyan truly exemplified the phrase spending money like water. 263,000? Upon hearing this figure, Shun Jingyun was momentarily stunned, her first thought being that it was impossible. However, upon seeing the receipt in Zhou Yuqin's hand, doubt began to creep in. I have already settled his debts. Take a look. Receiving the receipt from Zhou Yuqin, Shun Jingyun scrutinized it closely. After reading it, a layer of frost appeared on her enchanting face, a clear sign of her extreme anger. Shun Jingyun could hardly fathom that Shun Shiyan had indulged so recklessly. 3 trips to the bar, spending 263,000, was utterly beyond her comprehension. It was a sum that a typical family would take a lifetime to earn. I'm going to wake him up. Shun Jingyun returned the receipt to Zhou Yuqin, her anger propelling her towards Shun Shiyan's bedroom. Zhou Yuqin quickly embraced her, saying, darling, don't act impulsively. Shun Jingyun's eyes turned red, declaring, our parents sacrificed everything to fund his studies abroad, depleting their entire life savings. And he squandered 263,000 on 3 rounds of drinks. I must give him a piece of my mind. Zhou Yuqin countered. Firstly, Shiyan is already intoxicated. Even if you were to beat him, it would be futile. Secondly, he has just faced a setback, and his self-esteem has taken a significant blow. Troubling him now would only exacerbate the situation, potentially leading to even greater issues. Serves him right, Shun Jingyun spat bitterly. With his frivolous lifestyle, having yet to earn a dime while living lavishly, no one would agree to marry their daughter to him. You weren't saying that earlier. Zhou Yuqin thought to himself, then said, darling, it's just over 200,000. It's not a big deal. Some wealthy young masters spend millions on a birthday party. Shun Jingyun replied. They have the means. He has nothing. He possesses nothing at all. Zhou Yuqin laughed. But he does have me as his brother-in-law, doesn't he? Shun Jingyun retorted. It is precisely because he has you as a backing that he dares to spend money so recklessly. Enough of this. Let us not dwell on it. We can discuss it tomorrow. Zhou Yuqin managed to coax Shun Jingyun back to their bedroom, a smile creeping onto his face. Having known her for so long, Shen Jingyun had always presented herself with intelligence and grace, yet this was the first time Zhou Yuqin had seen her defenses crumble. Nonetheless, even in her fury, she remained strikingly beautiful. As Zhou Yuqin returned to his study, he cast a glance at Zhou Qing's bedroom. That little girl was undoubtedly awake, but stubbornly refusing to come out. How clever of her. The next morning, Zhou Yuqin descended the stairs to practice martial arts. After about half an hour, Zhou Qing appeared before him, clad in athletic attire, with her fair skin, long legs, and curvaceous figure accentuated by her youthful beauty. Zhou Yuqin suddenly realized that the little girl who used to follow him around was now all grown up. "Brother, what happened last night?"